Alright guys, hope you're all doing well. Welcome to the stream. We're going to be doing a classic single faction tournament, and today I'm going to be casting games. So we're going to be going through and jumping into a bunch of interesting matchups and trying to give you guys a nice diverse range of things to watch. Should be good. How you doing? Welcome, welcome. Alright, so first game we're going to be casting, of course, we have to start with our tradition, which is going to be casting a Professor Pone game. So as soon as he gets a spec slot set up for me, we will jump in and cast his match. He is Skaven today, so I figured we'd start with a little bit of rad action. Pone, I need a spectator slot. Set it up, brother, and hopefully your opponent shows up. I saw your opponent in Discord, so I think we should be good. The curse should finally be lifted. Greetings, yes, yes. Yeah, it's doing okay, Hadri. He's probably not good enough to play, though. I know I could play maybe 3 or 4 games, but if I did make it to the semis, it might start to be a problem. So I'm just gonna cast today. Yeah, we're just banning top 5 today. If it were a normal tournament, like one where you could do picks and bans, there wouldn't be any restrictions except ogres. But in single faction tournament, it's pretty unfair to allow just the really oppressive factions because there's no counter picking against them, so it's tough. It's tough. You're still watching the Dune video? Dude, that was a really fun game. It was a really, really fun game. Greenskins and Beastmen are banned because they're top 5 factions and they're way stronger than most factions. And extremely easy to play too, to boot. My favorite faction's the Empire, yeah, somebody in chat asking. All right, so we're going to jump in, spectate this game. I know we tried to start a little bit earlier today. Feels good. I mean, I definitely dig it. All right, so first map, I believe, is going to be Gates of Ekrund, and it is going to be Skaven facing off against, I believe his opponent was Big JP from Discord, so let me see what he signed up as. All right, no drama here, and scrolling up, where's this going to go? Norska. All right, interesting. Rats getting run over by mammoths, all sorts of good stuff like that. Should be fun. Hope we see vampires. I don't know if we had any vampire count players sign up today. Granted, I mean, they could be good. Vampire counts are a weird one. I've always been kind of bad with them. They've always been the antithesis of everything I like to play. But so we got Skaven Norska here in this match. And yeah, Pone's going to bring some wild stuff. He's a man of the people. It's going to be fun. Bob says Lizardmen got... So Bob, here's my opinion of Lizards overall and their strength. Yeah, so you're saying Lizardmen got boosted to top 5 because Tim went with like 20 and 1 with them. Here's another thing. I've started playing Lizardmen as well in tournaments, in like best of 3s and in 3x3 format, and they're extremely strong and very easy to play too. As a matter of fact, I won a tournament like a week or 2 ago. I can't remember. I was in the grand finals and it was game 2. And I ended up winning the tournament against Beastmen with Lizardmen. And I had not even played Lizardmen in like 6 months. But I had seen what people were doing and just emulated it. And they're just smooth, easy to play, durable, stalwart infantry, good magic. I mean, they're just very strong. Nothing on their factions like broken per se, but they're definitely top tier. Yeah, they're definitely top tier. In land battle, it's different. In land battle, it's not so easy for them. I mean, I think it's a bit of a different beast. In Dom, though, Lizardmen are very, very good. All right, all right. So, Skaven are ready. Oh my god, Pone's already all set to go. Let's see what Big JP is going to be bringing to the table here in Norska versus Skaven. Pone is using the clan Eshin flag, which makes me think that there could be some Eshin shenanigans afoot. But again, we will have to see. Yeah, Saurus are really good at fighting on objectives. They are for sure. I'd be curious to see how Lizards are doing in land battle. Be kind of interesting to see. Do we think, so we're talking about Pharaoh, but we'll need more resources for war. I think Warhammer 3 is going to be supported. It's like the safe revenue stream for CA, so I assume that I don't think there's going to be any diminishing of support for Total War Warhammer or for, you know, the inevitable 40K game they're going to make, in my opinion. But I do think that like the failure of a game potentially, like let's say that Pharaoh doesn't make its money back or doesn't do well for them. I think that could affect perhaps other similar titles and more historical stuff. Pharaoh to me kind of came across more like a saga game. Like I think they just called it something else and charged full price for it. But to me, Pharaoh felt like a mini expansion. It didn't feel to have like the scope or depth. I mean, the campaign is pretty complex in it though, from what I've heard. I've heard good things about it also. Like I've heard mixed things, but for me, it felt more like a saga game. I don't know. Yeah, it's just my opinions there. Yeah, it's true, Bob. It's true. Can you explain why Saurus have 52 weapon strength? And yeah, they're Saurus hit very hard. I mean, they're 9 foot tall steroid lizards. So All right, it is time. Yeah, that we were finally right. I mean, I always suspected lizards would be really good in Dom, but I don't even know what it is. I guess it's just the ebbing and flowing of factions, and eventually they found a meta in which they can settle in, but they really don't have too many bad matchups. Empire can go fisticuffs with lizards. Grenade launchers are pretty good, but lizards have like good poking they can do as well. Like ancient salamanders with good micro and access to healing can be extremely disruptive. Yeah, extremely disruptive. Pharaoh is Troy reskinned. Well, some of you guys have probably played it. I've only played a couple battles on it, and I didn't enjoy the battle, so that's why I'm not, covering the game or doing any tournaments or anything like that. Do you think Vampire Coast will get DLC? I don't know if Vampire Coast will get a full DLC, but I think like when we get things like Nagash, I can see Creative Assembly adding a couple units to Vampire Coast as like FLC that go along with like undead updates. So like if there's a DLC, like a Nagash DLC that does like, a Nagash faction, vampire counts, I can see Vampire Coast being included in that, and maybe they're one of the DLC factions also, but I can see them getting some units from that type of a thing as well. All right. It is time, ladies and gentlemen. It is time. All right, guys. So here we are. We have Skaven versus Norska. It's going to be Deathmaster facing off against Wulfric. Very fun. And the Skaven army is certainly not standard. Pone is a true gentleman. He's not going to be abusing essentially a bug and power grab to win tournament games. So he is here with actual Deathmaster. He has a Warlock Engineer of Ruin. Probably going to be rocking Cleansing Ruin against Norska. Very good. Norska can have nasty blobs. And or Warp Lightning. Howling Warp Gale against Manticores probably is a good call. And it looks like there is going to be an Assassin as well. Very cool stuff indeed. We got a bunch of little rats and slingers all around. Good times to come. Good times to come. So the idea for the rat army essentially is just going to be waves and waves of rats that you have to deal with, supported by weapons teams, which is very standard Skaven. Natty Boobos can do a ton of damage, but not the best at clearing out infantry, that's for sure. And for the rest of the force, we have a Deathmaster as well as an Assassin, so a pretty good goon squad. Like if Wulfric overextends into enemy lines, I mean, he's going to get absolutely annihilated by Deathmaster as well as the Assassin teaming up on him. So we'll have to kind of keep tabs on the Skaven shenanigans as we go. Night Runner Slings are just a good source of anti-large or anti-light DPS. So Berserkers, Marauders, Skin Wolves, Trolls, whatever. They just sit back there and they're pretty respectable fighters if need be as well. So looking over at the hordes of Norska, the Northern Barbarians, Warhammer Vikings, it is going to be Ye Old Wulfric. And Wulfric's great here. He's a good assassin of Skaven characters, because Skaven characters usually don't have a ton of armor. And also he does have Sea Fang, which can clear out hordes of clan rats. And yeah, that's pretty much it. Firecaster is very standard. Burning Head, excellent at just tearing down the Skaven ranks. And the rest of the army is going to be pretty infantry focused. Marauders, Berserkers, and Ice Trolls in the back. Ice Trolls are really good. Extremely hard hitting. They regenerate as well. So if you don't manage to chase them off the battlefield, they come back. They do good work for you and can be a problem for sure. Pone is going to need to call in some sort of anti-infantry killing tools, though. His army does lack infantry killing power. He has the Jezzails, which can potentially take down things like Norscan Ice Trolls, but he does not have anything that's going to be excellent against the Norscan Chaff Infantry right now. So I would wager he'll call in either a Plague Claw Catapult, some sort of a Globadier unit, maybe Avalanche Mortars. Ironically, a Doom Wheel would actually not be terrible here. Doom Wheels are a little bit overpriced, but they still do wreck infantry. If they're able to get in there and shoot their laser beams and do all that sort of good stuff. So it's just time. Let us know your predictions. Who do you think is going to win? Is it going to be Big JP or is it going to be Professor Pone here on this side? Let us know who your champion is in chat as we progress here into the battle at the gates of Ekrend. A little bit of slideshowing going on, and it's probably... I play with Pone all the time, and we pretty much have zero lag, so it's probably the dreaded Big JP over here. Could be wrong, though. Could be wrong. Maybe one of us is having internet acting up here today. You're picking Norska to win. See some folks rooting for both sides. Very cool. Wulfric scooting up. And I would imagine Deathmaster is going to be watching him eagerly. You could see, oh, I love this. Wulfric might poke up here. Because, people are so used to Skaven just abusing the power grab bug in games that they're not used to actual Skaven lords being in play. So there's a pretty substantial chance that maybe these assassin characters could catch Wulfric unaware. I don't know, man. It could be the case. Now, what is the first call-in going to be for Pone? It's got to be like some big, hard-hitting anti-infantry unit, like Avalanche Mortars or something. Avalanche Mortars would be excellent at taking down these Marauder Berserkers and these different units. On the other side, probably just going to be a couple Norskins going to grab that point. Marauders will decisively defeat clan rats in combat. It looks like it's Skaven Slaves. Okay, so just throwing some very cheap bodies over there to try and grab it. And in the back, we have Death Globes. Okay, so Death Globe Bombardiers are not bad. They hit really hard. They're 950, so you certainly need to invest more into protecting them as opposed to the poison winds, but they actually do a substantial amount of damage. God, I wish we could just get, it's like, you know, I've been playing some other games lately where we have like dedicated servers, and it's just like, oh, it's such a godsend. If only CA had done that, man. That would have been so nice for our old multiplayer community. Over here, we do have Wulfric the Wanderer sitting up on the point, and he's thinking he's safe. The assassins could come in for a gooning, and honestly, it probably would be a good call. Norsca has no way to heal, right? So any sort of damage you can get on their characters is going to be pretty good. But the rest of the Skaven horde advancing up. Looks like they might actually even try and take the home objective of Norsca as the Deathglow Bombardiers are rapidly approaching the front line. Pretty quick. 34 speed on those little rats isn't bad. Faster than heavy infantry. Norscan infantry, though, I believe the Marauders are in the mid-30s. Yeah, they have 35 movement speed, so kind of in a similar ballpark as well. All right, so we see this. This is really funny. Look at this. We got the Assassin and Deathmaster, very, very lore-friendly here, sneaking around, preparing an ambush on the Wanderer, but it looks like Wulfric is going to be pulling away, or maybe he's thinking about staying and fighting. Warlock Engineer, rocking Flensing Rune, as well as Howling Warpgale. I mean, honestly, Wulfric could get insta-killed if things go according to code. Pone saving up a lot of resources. Big JP, what are his call-ins? His call-in is going to be what appears to be more trolls, if I'm not mistaken. We see Wulfric sitting on the objective, but the assassins moving in. They have concealment bombs, so they're going to get very, very close. And there's going to be a Flensing Rune going down on him as well. Oh my god. Is this actually going to work? Oh man. Come on, baby. Come on, here we go. Give us the full bounty. We see Wulfric turning to run. Pone's going to snare him right now. Deathmaster Sigil going down. He's going to take a little bit of damage. It's a very short snare, though. It's only like 6 seconds or something like that, but some damage for sure will connect here. So Wulfric immediately starts taking some damage. He's taken about 10%. Weeping Blade's going down, and also the Flensing Rune as Deathmaster continues to shank him. And Wulfric is a good fighter all in his own rights, but he's not going to want to stay here. He's going to be taking some heavy damage. And overall, he's going to be forced back to the tree line. Flensing Rune is going to be lasting a while longer. And overall, he'll be taken down to about half health from that, maybe like 60%. Call-ins for the rats, what are we going to get? Rat Ogres, yeah, always a good call. Rat Ogres hit hard and give Skaven the mass that they often lack because people like to bully Skaven since they're little rat people. So having access to mass and Rat Ogres isn't going to be bad. And we do see Wulfric getting pretty beat up. Yeah, going down to half health there certainly isn't fun. He actually runs into his army and spreads the Flensing Rune on top of some of the trolls because it is a contagious thing here. Of course, Skaven making some nice contagions. And Wulfric already down to half health is a very, very good start here for Professor Pone, who's anchored down on this objective here. A little bit of light fighting in the woods. We do have the Marauders battling it out with the old Skaven slaves. So there they are. Those guys are shanking it out, doing backflips, all sorts of good stuff like that. And the Skaven slaves going to get any kills? They might actually get a kill or two. Man, people need to stop playing on Wi-Fi. I'm telling you, dude. You just plug straight into the wall, and everything's going to be good. That was a nice poke. It was a good poke indeed. So Skaven happily holding on to the objective here. They have their Deathglow Bombardiers and their Jezzails on standby. Jezzails, you probably would want to park them like right here, just sit them in the tree line and have them be able to cover like this. And as far as like being ambushed from the woods, there are some Marauder Berserkers, which, you know, could push in. But if you just move the Globadiers over there, they're going to be able to easily shut those down. So easily be able to shut them down. So are the rats going to retreat? It looks like they might. Man, Wulfric is on death's bed already, dude. I'm too weak. He did take some heavy shanks from Deathmaster, and that Flensing Rune did do a hell of a lot of damage. So really, really like that strategy. Pretty fun. Trolls are gathering up for Big JP, also the Manticore. So that's a big goon squad there. This is a lot of stopping power, these trolls and this Manticore. I wonder if they're going to be moving up to the point. Skaven might just sit back and value trade right now and wait for Norsca to grab. Pone should keep a couple clan rats up on the point to make it harder for Norsca to cap, so they have to expose more stuff out of the tree line, right? Absolutely. So moving up, Marauders heading up to objective number 2 here. And no, we haven't done that yet, Meow. It will come in time. You just wait. A couple Rout Ogres in the tree line. Rout Ogres don't want to fight Berserkers in a straight-up fight, especially in the trees. They're going to be penalized, and the Berserkers will actually beat them. Although there are going to be some Slingers peppering in, so that will help kind of spread the love in terms of the DPS trade there. But Berserkers still have super high melee attack and 57 weapon strength, so they will probably beat a Rat Ogre in straight-up fighting. Rat Ogres are a unit that typically wants a little bit of support. Burning Head going down from Norsca, and it is going to be cooking some of the rats here. And the Deathglow Bombardiers, do they have a target? Yeah, it looks like they're being given an attack order on those Marauders there, so they should be able to hold their own. This is good play here by Pwn. Parking a Clan Rat on the objective is going to be mitigating the Norscan capture, letting the Rats get even more of a points lead here, which is going to be pretty substantial. In the bushes, we have Skaven Slaves probably waiting to pounce on the far side objective. Globadiers doing some nice work, but now there is going to be a heavy push coming in as the Troll Toll is getting ready to be paid. So a lot of big Norscan Ice Trolls on their way in, and Clan Rats moving up with the Spears to try and intercept them with Rat Ogres. And this is where you want Rat Ogres. Rat Ogres stacked with Clan Rat Spears is a really nice combo. Pwn's also going to need to retreat these Globadiers if they stay in the front line and keep getting bashed by Trolls. That's going to be a pretty big gimme for his opponent here. It looks like another Burning Head's going to go down, and that one's not going to be too devastating. It will hit one Clan Rat, but maybe it'll tickle this other Clan Rat here and do some DPS to them, but nothing too bad. Warp Lightning Cannon coming out for Pwn, definitely a mistake. The Warp Lightning Cannon is going to have really rough line of sight on this map, and if you're being pressed super hard like this, it's going to be hard to defend. Maybe. I mean, there are a couple units of Spheres behind it, but even still, that Warp Lightning Cannon would probably not... I think just bringing in other modalities of anti-large would be a little bit stronger, and using like a Plague Claw Catapult instead to clear out all of the Marauders and different chaff units. But so far, Pwn is holding on pretty well. Wulfric, we haven't seen in action in quite some time. He's basically just cackling in the back and shouting orders to his Norskins. He's basically role-playing a Skaven here, but now we see Norscan Ice Trolls moving into the backfield. Adibubo Sharpshooters still ripping some shots into what appears to be the Famir Balefiend back here. So going after the caster, which Deathmaster was hunting down. Deathmaster using Slippery. Look at that. He's coming after Wulfric. Wulfric on the run. Total War slideshow is on, baby. And yes, the old Wulfric man going to be trying to escape, but Deathmaster might be able to get him, but there is a Manscore protecting him, so the Manscore and Wulfric might be able to turn around and actually win that duel. Flensing Rune is for sure in the back pocket, and he's going to take the fight here. Looks like he does go for the kill. Yeah, he does go for the fight here. Flensing Rune being cast on the Manscore. No, Howling Warp Gale from Professor Pwn. Big plays right there, ladies and gentlemen, as the Deathmaster's Sigil goes down. So that was such a good play by the Professor. He snares down the Feral Manticore so it can't help, and then he comes in and starts prison shanking Wulfric. So Wulfric is getting absolutely smashed, also shot by the Jezzails, and he might actually break and just run off the battlefield right now. He's wavering, he stabilizes. If there was a Flensing Rune available, he would basically be dead at this point, but the Jezzails might be able to break his leadership. He's sitting at 900, 800 HP. Deathmaster does get blocked up here by the Marauders, and Norska is still pressing the back objective pretty hard, but the Skaven do appear to be holding, and Wulfric is going to be shattered, most likely, or broken by the Jezzails. So he is indeed broken. He's at 598 HP, and is very likely going to be running off the battlefield. Now, as far as the back objective goes, it's a little bit chaotic. There's a lot of Rats trying to hold, but the Berserkers and Trolls are getting some really good momentum. Warp Lightning Cannon shooting directly into the Feral Manticore here, and now we get Vixtran's Death Squad being called in, and, you know, not super good against Trolls, but it looks like the Trolls kind of ran out of steam as Pwn did call in some Wolf Rats and Rat Ogres to try and keep those guys at bay, but the Vixtrans will be very good at clearing out infantry units, and that is pretty much it. Over on the backside, Wulfric does come back. Very fortunate here for Big JP. Big JP is going to need to probably unsummon him at this point. I don't think it's worth keeping him on the battlefield. It's a little bit too risky with Deathmaster and all these ranged assets that could snipe him. I mean, you could camp him in the tree line and maybe save him for the very late game, but probably unsummoning him and even resummoning him wouldn't be the worst idea in the world. So here we do have Clan Rat Spears fighting shoulder to shoulder with Deathmaster. Wavering, sitting on very low leadership. Those Berserkers are going to be chewing through them. Big JP coming and putting good pressure on the backfield. Pwn is really on the back foot in terms of this fighting here. A lot of his value is tied up in Wulfric. But as far as the army trading goes, a lot of the Skaven army is pretty compromised. Warp Lightning Cannon here barely holding on. And we do get the Feral Manticore rampaging and doing some nasty work. And now Vixtrans is going to be attacked by a lot of Marauders. And though Vixtrans are a good anti-infantry tool, the Marauder Hordes are going to be able to put some big DPS. And oh, that's a nice play by Big JP right there. He's going to be dropping a fat burning head on the Vixtrans. Talk about a value cast. And now the Warp Lightning Cannon is going to be broken and running. And Skaven could be in a little bit of trouble, to be completely honest. In the backfield, we got Wolf Rats and Clan Rats trying to move up. Deathglow Bombardiers on their way. A lot of Skaven are going to be rallying in the darkness, and we will see what they can do. Yeah, here comes some Wolves. That Burning Head going all the way into the back. Manticore Disruption, really nasty. And yeah, the Skaven are really struggling in terms of the objective play. They went pretty hard in on the sniping of Wulfric, and he has managed to live. On the other side, it looks like Professor Pwn did go for a little Skaven Slave pressure, but overall, the Norscan Ice Doggies are going to be able to get that down. Wulfric sitting here with 598 HP. I can't help but think the Warp Lightning pick was a little bit weak, and that it kind of gave, it's just like this big vulnerable piece, like 1,000 value, that Norska was already really heavily on your doors. So that's going to be a hard one to protect, right? And Deathmaster is shaken. He's actually getting his butt kicked pretty bad here. He's being hunted down by Berserkers as well as Norscan Ice Trolls, who are basically playing ping pong with him. So he's going to be at -11 leadership and probably breaking here. Are there any rats coming to save him? Vixtrans is here trying to help their boy out. Maybe they can. Overall, that's going to be a very, very tall order. In the backfield, we do see some Norscan Ice Wolves being fended off by Clan Rat Spears. And a couple waves of Clan Rats and Wolf Rats trying to move up to the point. But Norska does have that Manticore. And will Deathmaster survive? That's the big question. He's certainly going to be needed as this game does progress. Vixtrans trying to peel for him. These Marauders have insane leadership. Marauder Berserkers, that is. They, of course, have a very, very stalwart, staying power. Aside from their melee defense, of course. And Deathmaster might rally here. It's going to be pretty close. The Trolls do get ambushed by the Vixtrans. They get their nice shanks in there. Pwn only ahead by 600 value right now, which is probably not even, true because of the Troll healing on the battlefield. And will Deathmaster rally? If he runs off the battlefield, that's going to be the death knell for the Skaven for sure, because it's going to penalize their leadership. Which is certainly something Skaven don't like. And it looks like Deathmaster is going to be running back to his little assassin's rat's nest to try and scheme. Do the Skaven have any opportunities of getting back on the objectives? So we do see objective number 1 perhaps coming back here, as the rats do have a very slight second wind. Deathglow Bombardiers trying to throw at the Manticore here, but they won't do that much damage. It'll do a couple hundred, yeah, but really they're better against infantry units. But they do try and pepper him down. Marauder Berserkers in the backfield are going to be pushing those guys back, or basic Marauders, excuse me, not Berserkers. At this point, very comfortably held by Big JP. He does have his Marauders hanging out here, and they got their spears for the Spear God. So if Ogres or anything of mass tries to come in, even Clan Rats will probably take some time to get through their 37 melee defense. And Norskins do have some of the better infantry units in the game. The fact that they all have that enrage mechanic is very, very good. I think this one's probably in the bag for Norska. Deathmaster going down was pretty big, and a couple faulty summons for old Pwn I think is a little bit too much for him to come back from. For example, if the Warp Lightning Cannon hadn't been called in, let's say like a Rattling Gunner to shoot the Manticore down would have been way stronger. And also things like Plague Claw Catapults could have been more useful in the backfield. Things like that. But yeah, there were some nice plays on both sides this game. Little assassination attempts, but I would probably say that Pwn doesn't have too many avenues to come back here. He is now down by about 300 points. His opponent's going to be eclipsing 1,000 here. He's still in a territory where he could get like a double cap, but man, that's not going to be easy. Norska probably knows they can just win on 2 objectives and can just play very, very defensively right here and hang out in the backfield. So looking at objective number 3, not being pressed at all. Skaven, like a really, really good play would be not a Warp Lightning Cannon, but a Plague Claw Catapult back here to start softening these guys up. So then you can just call in some Wolf Rats to go clean them up once they're at 20, 30%, something like that. But I don't think that's going to be going down here. In the meantime, Skaven may be going to be able to re-secure a point, which is certainly on the road back to getting into this game here. Globadier Fire, not bad. Does actually break some of those Norscan Ice Wolves on the charge. They're sitting at -5 leadership, but they actually stabilize. Wow, brutal. So those Wolf Rats going to need to get up and save them. Pwn pushing in with Clan Rats and Rat Ogres. The lighting on this part of the map is tricky. I guess there's like a giant mountain, so the shadow of the mountain makes sense, but in terms of casting, it's a little bit tough. Moving up, Norska pressing actually, which is a bold strategy, Cotton. They don't need to. Norska should sit back on their home objective so they can have more efficient reinforcements, for sure. Norscan Doggies here do nibble down the Globadiers, but not before some Rat Ogres come in and try and push them away. Really good micro here from Big JP, is able to pull these bad boys back. And we got the Death Runners as well as the Clan Rats all hanging out and trying to scheme their next play. Wolfric getting away was a big one. That is a big one here. The fact that he's running around and just cackling with 500 HP, if the Skaven had taken him out, that would have tanked the leadership of the Norscan army. Just like the Skaven are suffering right now. We could see a Deathmaster resummon. Very, very much in the table here. Warlock Engineers going to be heading up. Clan Rats also going, but Pwn's basically run out of time. He would need to do something on objective 3, like some sort of a tertiary play. What also would be very good is some Skaven Slave Slingers or Night Runner Slingers or something like that. You move in there with some of those and you just kind of start pebbling down these spears who only have 15 armor and no shields and no missile resist. So that would give you a good option to kind of play a triple cap. Pwn's probably going to move up for like a last desperate play here, but there's still a Burning Head caster who most likely has enough for Burning Heads. Wolfric is still around. He may still be wielding a Sunfang. I mean, things can get pretty crazy here for sure. Sly, thank you for being a member for 7 months. Love the work. Glad to see streaming and keep on with the Total War Warhammer 3. Thank you, man. Thank you. I really appreciate that. And we're going to keep the good times rolling. So Rats are moving up, and like I said, Burning Head in the back pocket, going to be pouring in and tearing through the Clan Rats. Trolls going to be coming in, making them pay the Troll toll. Norscan Trolls will beat a Rat Ogre in straight combat. I mean, they just have better stats, they regenerate, they hit harder. Rat Ogres are much cheaper, though. They cost several hundred less, and that's why they typically are stacked with Clan Rats, and that's where you really have your best success. A lot of pebbles coming down from these bad boys and nibbling away at them. Rat Ogres on their way up. Opponent is going to be running out of steam here as we do approach the final quarter of the game. Flensing Runecast going down, not really going to be hitting much except that Bale Fiend. A bit of a miscast there from Pwn. Probably should have actually targeted a unit instead of just going after an individual piece like this. But Rats are desperately going. These are the bravest clan rats in all of Clan Eschen. They're moving up and they're going to be trying to get that objective for the Horn Rat. The Northern Barbarians are going to be there to meet them, and it is going to be a clash of fur and flesh here as these two do battle. And the Clan Rats are going to get absolutely massacred. Norska claims the game. GG, well played. All right, guys. That was a fun match. Honestly, could have gone either way. I think with a couple different call-ins on either side, it could have been a different match. The Skaven went up to a pretty nice lead. Very, very big setback for Norska. But then Big JP was able to remain calm under pressure, get some big swarms, pick off the weapons teams and the catapults in the backfield, and that could have been it. GG, well played. All right. All right, so let's see how we're looking here. Where are we at? And let me see if they started yet. All right. Somebody in chat asked, are we giving Deathmaster a range attack? No, I don't think it'd be OP, honestly. Deathmaster is nowhere near being OP. So look at the value. Deathmaster did good. Weapons teams underperformed, only 400 here. And yeah, the Warp Lightning Cannon got 157 value. So this is what lost Pwn the game. The poor value on the globes, poor value on Warp Lightning Cannon, and poor value on the Jezzails. Those are like your big breadwinners for Skaven. Like your weapons teams, your monsters are usually what win you the game, while the rats just hold things in place. But none of the breadwinners performed. None of them did. They basically all did poorly, and clearly Norska is going to win if that's the case, right? And for Norska, it was pretty much a team effort. Just all the different marauders and just the pressure. Skin Wolves are obviously pretty good in this matchup too. We didn't see too many of them in action, but they tear apart Rat Ogres very effectively, as well as Molder monsters. And the Trolls are pretty neat too. Yeah, a Hellpit Abomination could have been interesting here. As far as Storm Vermin go, somebody in chat talking about Storm Vermin. No, Storm Vermin would be pretty terrible because the Trolls would just annihilate them, and also the Marauders with Great Opens would uptrade into them super hard. That's not the way you do it. There's plenty of ways that Skaven can beat Norska. And, honestly, with a slightly different composition, I think the Jezzails are a bit of a mistake. You could probably just use Slingers to take down the Trolls, get like 4 Night Runner Slings to kill the Trolls, and then I love the Deathmaster play, though. That was really, really fun by Pwn. Let me check here. All right, so it looks like they're going, and let's take a look at the brackets for today. Thank you all for joining. We have a little bit of time until the match next round begins. So let's go here. Let's refresh this bad boy over on Total Tavern. We'll take a look at win rates and other things like that. So, all right, so let's go to the bracket. Most people are done. We have 3 games yet to finish, and it looks like the rest of those have won. As far as game 1 round victories, we have Ghoul Baby, been one of our big tournament champions lately. House Cat of War, Serkia, Hadries, Noctrum, Stinger, Scrambled Egg Special for Poland, Icarus, Big JP are our round 1 winners. All right, so we're off to a good start as far as these stats go. Today's tournament is going to be banning the top 5 factions. So Ogres, Lizards, Kislev, Beastmen, and Greenskins, because without pick and bans being available, these factions have very few bad matchups, so they're just going to be massively favored since the format of a single faction tournament is a random opponent without picks and bans. So it's made the single faction tournament, in my opinion, a way better format when you ban the top 5. Because most of these other factions have like plenty of bad matchups and plenty of good ones, so it's a little bit more fair. Whereas these guys, like if you look at Lizardmen, have you noticed? Oh my god, Lizardmen literally only have like one matchup that is like negative for them, and that's Greenskins, which makes sense. Greenskins are very OP right now. But look at that. Like Lizardmen do not have any bad matchups right now. That is crazy, except Greenskins and probably Ogre Kingdoms. But again, Ogres are just bugged and broken. So yeah, so you see Lizardmen, like they're pretty good. I mean, they have a lot of 50% matchups, which is good. But they don't have anything that's bad. So you can see in a single faction tournament, like that could be tough, right? Kislev also, Kislev is another one that doesn't have too many bad matchups. Greenskins and Beastmen. So the only thing that Kislev kind of struggles with are the other OP factions, right? And Dwarves. Dwarves are like the meta killers for sure. And Dwarves aren't that like, they have a good win rate, but I feel like Dwarves, like you can outplay them for sure. I mean, Dwarves have a losing record against Khorne in Skaven, even though it's only a couple games in Tzeentch and Slaanesh, factions that aren't like super meta, super strong. So yeah, fun times. Greenskins are OP because I'll show you. So let's go here. They have some really strong units. All right, so number one, Greenskins have, let me go here to the army setup. Let's go to the Greenskins. So Greenskins have, Wurzag is the main reason they're OP, okay? So every single time he casts a spell, which what you do is you just bring the cheapest spells. You do like Brain Bust and Fist of Gork. And you just alternate between spam casting these two spells, and it is going to be giving your entire army plus 12 melee attack. So pretty much for like 75% of the game, your entire army, every shithouse unit you have, like an Orc Boy, whatever, is going to be having plus 12 melee attack. And if you get plus 12 melee attack to like an Orc Boy, it puts it up to a completely different tier of infantry. For 430 gold, you have a guy, an Orc unit that is rocking 40 melee attack, which is insanely good for 400 gold. That is insanely good. Okay, so Wurzag is basically what breaks the faction. But on top of that, Greenskins have some really cost-effective units in Squigs, which they used to cost 500 gold in Warhammer 2. I don't know, they went going down to 350. It was crazy. And they also have Boarboy Biggins, which are some of the best like cav like bullies in the game. Good armor, and normally Orc Boarboy Biggins, you're like, oh, well, their weakness is their melee attack being terrible, but that's not the case. When you have Wurzag on the battlefield, their melee attack is good, and they will crush pretty much any other cavalry unit for their point. I mean, sure, they might lose to like a Demogryph Knight Halberd, but they'll trade up super hard into those, like for the 850. So that's why Greenskins are really busted. It's mainly just Wurzag. Wurzag like basically ruins the whole roster. He makes it so like none of the other lords are viable. If you're picking any of these lords in competitive, you're just severely setting yourself back. Severely. Yeah, so that's pretty much that. I know. Peeling. We need a steam tank with a flamethrower, right? And yeah, as far as why the Beastmen are OP, so the Beastmen had a really scary roster before, right? A lot of very cost-effective units. They have access to good magic and some pretty awesome characters between Malagor, Great Bray Shaman, Morkur, all very, very good. They had some great support pieces. Centaurs are awesome. Razorgore herds are top tier. They have really good Minotaurs. But the one thing that was always kind of keeping the Beastmen in check was the fact that their infantry didn't have armor, except for Bestigors, which are just terrible. But then they got Zangors, which are undercosted, high armored, extremely cost effective. So Beastmen went from having a weakness, which was their infantry, to not having a weakness. So now Beastmen are good in every facet of the game. Their frontline fighting, their mobility, Ungor Raiders are extremely good, mobile shooting. So Beastmen don't really have any weaknesses anymore. They used to have like a definitive faction weakness, which I think was good. But now that they're going to be getting Zangors, Pestigors, Korngors, Slangors, most likely, like all these different god-specific gores, they're just going to be insane. All right, let me see how we're looking on the tournament here. See if I need to advance to the next round. Yeah. Yeah, if Wurzag lost his AoE buff, if his buff was like localized instead of map wide, the Greenskins would probably be balanced. They would be like a solid 50% faction. They would have to work for it. All right, 2 games still going, and what time? We started at 2:15, so they have 11 minutes left in the round. What I've suggested for Beastmen is reducing the cost of Bestigors by like 100, and then adding a cost increase to Zangors, like of 50. I think that would help a lot. Raiders probably need a cost increase. There's plenty of things in the Beastmen roster that you can buff also. Yeah, and they also got access to like the Elemental Incarnate. It doesn't get used too often, but Beastmen now have a Mortis Engine on their roster, which the Beastmen used to struggle against vampire counts, but not anymore, dude. Like Beastmen can roll up with like 4 Zangors against vampire counts, a Mortis Engine on the Incarnate Elemental, and then they can bring a Traitorkin caster to just like nuke vampire count blobs. Like Beastmen will just absolutely dump on vampire counts now, in my opinion. Like some like build like this is going to be super foul, right? Like something in this area. It's extremely hard to snipe Wurzag. It's extremely hard. How are you going to snipe him? You know, he has a snare built in. So even if you catch Wurzag, he can snare you down. And Greenskins are a really good peeling faction. Like they can use Spider Riders. They have tons of arrow poke. So if you try and overextend, they have trolls to protect him. It's very, very tough to snipe Wurzag. Extremely tough. Morkur is only a Mortis Engine in campaign. But yeah, Beastmen will crush vampire counts now in my experience. So yeah, the Jabberslythe is just terrible compared to the Elemental Incarnate. Like if you look at these two monsters, let's look here. So going over to the Beastmen again, where are they? Yeah, so the Elemental Incarnate costs 1,800. The Jabberslythe is 17. Look at the weapon strength difference. 450 on the Jabberslythe against 650 on the Incarnate Elemental. But you might be like, oh wait, well the Jabberslythe is a good anti-infantry monster, right? Like it has this bonus. Like, okay, so it's better against infantry. Well, it's not, because the Elemental Incarnate has a built-in Mortis engine that kills infantry exponentially more effectively than the Jabberslythe would. The Jabberslythe has been power crept in pretty much every way. The solution for that would be to just cost reduce the Jabberslythe. I don't think it should cost 1,700. It could probably cost 1,600 or 1,500 on the Jabberslythe, and that would give it some variance, like a cheaper monster option, right? Absolutely. So, all right. So checking on the round. Let's see how we're doing. It looks like 2 games still going here. Yeah, the Vampire Counts definitely did not have fun this patch, because a lot of the meta factions, like Kislev crushes Vampire Counts now. Beastmen crush Vampire Counts. Who else? Who else got DLC? Tzeentch will probably defeat Vampire Counts pretty easily with a Mutalith Beast. There's Vampire Counts basically just got owned this patch. All right, let me make sure nobody's dropping. Looks like we're all good. Advancing to the next round, and here we go. All right. Yeah, Vlad is good. He's good. Now, Wurzak doesn't warrant a ban, but I think Greenskins can be beaten, but you want to just ban them in single faction tournaments, in my opinion. All right. So round 2 is live, ladies and gentlemen. Let's go ahead and jump in and cast another game here. So let me find the players, and next round is live. Next round is live. Good luck, have fun, ladies and gentlemen. Yes. Best scores definitely need a cost reduction. They should cost like a little bit more than great swords. Great swords are 825. Best scores should be like 900, and that would be like a really, really nice place for them. They shouldn't be 1050. That's just like grossly overpriced. All right, so now we are on the next round of games. Hopefully you guys enjoyed the ranting, and we have our matches here. Yes. All right, here we are. The glorious duels of fate. Who do we cast though? What do we want to see? That really is the big question. Let's do Supreme versus Subutai could be fun. Let's do, those are both individuals who've won tournaments before. So let's cast their game. Subutai, we'll cast yours. Lobby, please. Subutai is my homie. We're going to play some Magic cards this weekend. So let's see what they're playing. Subutai locked in as Tzeentch, and Supreme locked in as, let's see. Trying to figure it out here. What did Supreme lock in as? Although, wait a second. I know Supreme can have some connection issues. Wait a second. Wait a sec. I'm going to probably cast a different one. I know that he might have a little bit of a shaky connection, so we'll probably cast a different game, actually. Ooh, Catholic versus Hadries will be fun. Hell yeah, let's do that. That'll be a good one. Lobby code, please. All right. Here we go. All right, so Hadries is playing Dark Elves today, going back to his roots. Hadries, for a long time in Warhammer 2, was probably the best Dark Elf player around. He was very good. He hasn't played them as much in Warhammer 3, but even still, that should be fun. Catholic is playing, what is Catholic playing here today? Trying to find him here. Hadries on Dark Elves, and Catholic usually plays Elves too, so... Oh, is that a Dark Elf mirror match? Oh, never mind. No, it's a Dark Elf mirror match. Okay, we'll do something different. Yeah, I don't. This is the whole point of this is like the spice of life, right? Lobby code, please. All right, we're still exploring matches. We're trying to find one. No, you're good. You guys just play. I don't feel like doing a mirror match today. That's I'm all right. Let's see if we can get one here from Stingers. Let's jump out and go to the multiplayer battles. We do have some spec slots. Professor Pone's game. And Noctrum, let's see what this matchup looks like. This could be a good one. So joining in here. No, dude. No, we don't want mirror matches. Here we go. High Elves versus Bretonnia. That's what I'm talking about. All right. This is going to be a fun one, actually. Road to Talipine. We have Noctrum on Bretonnia. And Singers is going to be on the High Elves here. No mirror matches. Stop with this. You guys don't actually want to see it. You guys just want me to suffer. Yeah, great swords are in a nice place right now. They are. They're a really good support piece. You don't want to use them as like your whole front line, but having like 2 great swords mixed in with most Empire armies is actually pretty good in a lot of matchups. Yeah, we're going to just see Soul Stealers rubbing against each other. Is that what you guys really want to see? High Elves versus Bretonnia. This will be a fun matchup. Dude, by the way, did you guys see the new Bretonnian models? The old world is, apparently the release date is pretty, it's coming up. Yeah, it's going to be in like January or February, so... for Warhammer, the Old World Tabletop, which of course we'll be doing a separate channel for that, which as soon as we have any details, We haven't gone too hard into it yet. Let's see, explore games. Trying to find it. Yes, there we are. Trying to find the range, the article they did. All right, so there was an article on all the new Bretonnian models. So let me find that here when I can. All right, where are we at? Here we go. The Kingdom of Bretonnia revealed. It's awesome. Yeah, I'm so excited. This is like tangible stuff, you know? So check it out. So here's the new Bretonnian Lord. He's a new model, Lord on a Pegasus, which is going to be, I mean, look how awesome that is. That's so cool. Oh, it's so cool. And if you scroll down, you could see they have like a couple different kits. You can do like helmetless. I think this is, yeah, let's see here. Yeah, that's so cool. Oh my God, look at that. It's so much better than Age of Sigmar. Look at this. And then you have Knights of the Realm on foot. So this is a cool thing. It kind of makes me think we'll get these in Warhammer. Knights of the Realm on foot. But these are basically foot squires, I guess. But yeah, they have some some Knights on foot. Some new Bretonnian models, which are really, really cool. Check that out. Yeah, and then here, it looks like they're wielding like a halberd variant. So you have the sword and board, and you have the halberd here for this unit. Oh, they look so good. It's awesome. These are old models just being brought back. Those are the Pegasus Knights. These are the old Knights of the Realm, which honestly are still pretty good models. They look totally fine. Peasants here as well. And on the bottom side, we got Peasant Bowmen. I love that they have palings in the front row. That's really cool. Yeah, here's the Handmaiden of the Lady. Yeah, and here's the new characters that they've done as well. So you have the Paladin. You have the two Paladins, I think. And then you have this is basically the Fey Enchantress. It's the Fey Enchantress 300 years ago. It's like, you know, it's close enough. And then you have a what appears to be a standard bearer or some sort of a knight on horseback, probably a named or a character, and the dreaded trebuchet, which is made of resin. Oh God, that model's probably a nightmare to work with. But dude, how exciting is this? Oh, this is so much better, dude. I hope it does so well that it just overshadows and it gets more support. It looks so good. It looks so good. Look at the frog drum, I know. All right, ladies and gentlemen. It is time. Let the Nurglings feast. So here we are in the next game. Hey, Hammond, thank you for the donation. Are you a beastman? Because I can see myself jabber sliding into your DMs. Oh my God. And we had a donation from Matt as well as a token of my gratitude. Thank you, man. I did miss that during the heat of the game. So thank you, brother. Really appreciate the support. All right, guys. So, taking a look here at Stinger. Stinger's a pretty good high elf player. It's going to be a Silver and Guard front line mostly with a couple Spearmen mixed in. Sisters of Avalorn in the secondary with the Talons of Torquelada. That's a really cool combo. And let me show you. So, these guys, when they hit something, it imbues fire weakness. So, their target takes 20% more fire damage. And then the Sisters of Avalorn will then be getting a 20% buff to their damage, which will essentially put their missile strength up to like, I don't know, like 26, 27 in that ballpark. It's pretty cool. You have an Archmage of Life in the back, going to be spamming cheap spells to trigger the Life Bloom passive on the army, and the rest of the troops of the High Elves are going to be some elite Phoenix Guard. So Phoenix Guard trade pretty well into most of the Bretonnian roster as long as they can avoid Foot Squires. They'll have a pretty good time for sure. So that is it. That is it. Somebody in chat saying new Skaven models. Skaven already have a ton of new models from Age of Sigmar, which are going to be usable in the old world. Yeah. Absolutely. Absolutely. So here in the backfield, we do have the Eagle Claw Bolt Throwers, and they're going to be moving up to do some shooting. Smoking Hot Wife here in chat, hell yeah. King Lewin Leon Kerr is going to be the Lord for Noctrim here. Big armor-piercing fighter, and certainly can heal, is very durable against missiles, so the King of Bretonnia, not messing about. And the rest of the army is going to be Men-at-Arms, Spearmen in the back, as well as Peasant Bowmen, with a bit of a vanguard here on the side. Mainly just a chaff army, so not too many hard hitters in this force. But we do have, yes, I love this. I love this. The Blessed Field Trebuchet here is awesome. It's such a good counter against static high elf positions. Like you shoot it against like Phoenix Guard and archers, and it will just accrue you a ton of value. So honestly, pretty excited for this match. These are both very, very good players here. And Lewin's going to be going for a freebie, and there's not much of a response here from the high elves. They don't have any archers in position. Lewin should just dive here 100% and jump in there. There are some spears nearby, I suppose, but Lewin might be able to take out a couple models here, maybe even kill one of the crew pieces. Although the Sisters of Avalorn have been able to kind of trace him from the tree line here, so I suppose pulling back at this point would be warranted. Trebuchet, what is it shooting into? Nothing yet, can't quite reach. It could move up a little bit, doesn't want to get in range of the bolt thrower though, so we will see. And we do have King Lewin Leon Kerr, who's going to be moving across. On the backside, we got Men-at-Arms, Spearmen-at-Arms, as well as Peasant Mobs, so very high troop quality holding the points here. it's very fitting that we were just looking at Bretonnian models, and now we're we're seeing them in action here in the game as well. Eagle Claw Bolt Throwers shooting into the Peasant Archers. They should probably switch into Spray Fire mode if they want to. And now the Blessed Field Trebuchet is going to be dropping the Blessings of the Lady onto the face of these Lothern Sea Guard, immediately taking out a couple models. And if he's paying attention, if Noctrim is paying attention, you're going to want to switch those targets onto the Phoenix Guard here pretty quickly. Lewin jumping in once again and actually doing some pretty substantial disruption to the Bolt Thrower crew. Does knock them off the Bolt piece, so they're not going to be shooting for a moment. There'll be a bit of a micro tax to the opponent here. And now some Men-at-Arms looks like they're moving over to maybe try and wrestle this objective. Nope, just kind of standing there and eating arrows, which, hey, look, this is not the worst thing for Bretonnia. To have like a 250 gold, 350 gold unit moving in and just eating all that ammunition has got to be kind of cost effective. King Lewin is just kind of rampaging right now, though. The King of Bretonnia is not being disrupted at all. So now some Phoenix Guard going to be rushing over with their halberds to protect the Sisters of Avalorn, but Lewin is going to be piecing out before the halberds are able to get in position. So he's back up in the sky, and the Trebuchets still raining hot fire into the Lothern Sea Guard here. Bretonnia has a very nice foothold on the objectives. I would actually really like to see another Trebuchet. If we got like a second Blessed Field Trebuchet out here for Bretonnia to be shooting into the Phoenix Guard here, and or the Talented Torquelada, the Sisters of Avalorn would be a really good target as well. Probably the best target would be the Sisters, honestly. Because the Bretonnian army quality here is pretty poor. It's mainly Men-at-Arms. There is Grail Reliques, which will give them some staying power, but their capture weight's going to be awful. There's no Foot Squires, there's no Battle Pilgrims, and what is Noctrim even spending his money on? Okay, now we see just more Men-at-Arms, and on the far side, oh, Grail Knights. Okay, I was wondering what was going on here. Yeah, I was wondering what was going on. So the Grail Knights were called in, and they moved around the side of the map, and now they're going to be flanking into the backfield. It's going to be pretty crazy here. Lewin helping out against Spearmen, dropping the Sword of Couronne, which is going to be lowering the armor down to 10 on the basic Spearmen. In the middle, High Elves are starting to wrestle that one. They do call some Dragon Princes of their own. Dragon Prince is pretty good at killing chaff infantry and lightly armored things in general, but the Grail Knights could be really nasty here in the backfield. There are Lothern Sea Guard here, and the Lances are set for the Lady as they get a huge charge in here, and those Sisters of Avalorn probably going to get melted. That's going to be some brutal damage, although they didn't take as much as you would think. That's something people forget about Sisters of Avalorn, is that they do have 50 melee defense. They're actually really, really good fighters, but the Grail Knights are just bouncing around, taking advantage of their mass and their lance formation, and now they're going to be shutting down the Bolt Thrower as well. So those Grail Knights doing some good work, but the High Elves are back on the board. Stingers has gotten his Bolt Thrower to potentially take out this Blessed Field Trebuchet, which is a big catch. And I don't know why the Grail Knights didn't finish off that Bolt Thrower crew. That was a big, big mistake. They opt to charge into the back of Spears, which isn't the worst thing to try and break that formation, but overall, those Grail Knights should have finished off that Bolt Thrower. That was a pretty colossal mistake right there. On the side point, Bretonnia trying to wrestle this one just with sheer amount of troopers. We got more Spearmen at Arms coming across. I don't know why we're not seeing Foot Squires. Foot Squires have always been very, very good in this matchup, in my opinion, but we will see. King Lewin fighting in the middle objective here, and he is grinding it out with Dragon Princes, which is a great fight for Lewin. He does magic damage, so he'll circumvent the physical resist of the Dragon Princes. And also Dragon Princes, unless you're Fireborn, do not have anti-large, so they're not going to be very good against him. Grail Knights moving around could certainly use a little bit of healing. They still have 36 of their 48 models. Awakening of the Wood going down, which is going to be triggering the Life Bloom heal on those bad boys. Not going to be too massive. Value trading is even, but I don't know. It's hard to say. It looks like the High Elves are getting some good momentum on the middle objective. Parking units of Phoenix Guard and Silverins and good quality units here. It's going to be tough to wrestle them. So Dragon Princes are on the run. Grail Knights are hunting them down. Grail Knights will absolutely dominate Dragon Princes in combat. Just absolutely bully beatdown on those bad boys. Lewin to the backfield on top, chasing down these Sisters of Avalorn is a good call for him. He is taking a lot of firepower from the Talons of Torquelada as well as Lothern Sea Guard, but Lewin does have pretty massive armor. Not massive, but 90, and also has missile resist and the Lion's Shield. But this is not what he wants. He doesn't want to be fighting Fireborn. Fireborn's anti-large bonus will add up and eventually do good damage to him. Middle objective still owned by the High Elves. Side objective owned by the High Elves as well. Bretonnia managing to hold on to the back point here. As we do see another Trebuchet crew coming in. No, it's the same one. So Noctrim needs to grab that Trebuchet crew and get them back online like right now. Although I guess there's only one catapult left. The Bolt Thrower was able to take them down, so not going to be the best thing at the end of the day. The Bretonnian King falling back to his reinforcements, luring, it's kind of a bit of a tongue twister there, luring the Fireborn into the Grail Knights here. The Grail Knights will trade pretty well into them, especially with a little bit of spear support, so Lewin is going to be opting to take the fight against the Fireborn right now, and there is going to be a big Earthblood going down here most likely, which will probably hit the Grail Knights, or is it some other witchcraft from the High Elves? It looks like it is going to be either his AoE item. Yeah, it's a Sword of Couronne. Okay, so it wasn't any sort of a heal. Bretonnia calling in Yeomen. So the Yeomen are coming in for capture weight. Yeomen do have 4 capture weight. They're not expendable. So they're coming in to try and wrestle the objective. But the High Elves still have Phoenix Guard, good quality troopers here. And Reavers will absolutely dominate the mounted Yeomen in combat. So the High Elves able to hold the point pretty well. Very cool to see High Elf mains out there. There's not too many of them, although there's a couple. There's a couple High Elf mains. There's been, I suppose, a few in the history of our old community here. On the far side, Lewin gets a good trade, though. He finally does break down the Spearmen and might have an opportunity to get this objective with some of the boys. Grail Knights very, very beat up at this point. Mounted Yeomen going to be charging into the Sisters of Avalorn, and the Grail Knights at -5 leadership might break before they get in. No, they actually get the partial charge into the Lothern Sea Guard. But the Lothern Sea Guard with their spears might be able to trade effectively into them. It's a very interesting field fight. Another flanking charge. Knights of the Realm going to be coming around the side. High Elves calling in Illyrian Reavers to try and fend off some of the Bretonnian cavalry units. As far as the side objective goes, we are going to see Spearmen at Arms and Peasant Mobs moving up. So they are going to start wrestling this objective potentially. But the Phoenix Guard will be very, very tough to uproot. Maybe with Lewin doing consistent armor-piercing damage and having the protection of the infantry, maybe those Phoenix Guard could go down. They're also being shot by archers as well. Big blob fight here. Mounted Yeomen and Knights of the Realm duking it out, but it looks like the Elves are going to be able to hold. The Sisters of Avalorn, like I said, good combat stats in melee, and also there's plenty of High Elf Spears and Reavers nearby, so it's not like they stand alone. And here you can see there's a full health unit of Phoenix Guard nearby, which are just going to be progressively grinding and cutting through the Bretonnian units on this point. Yeah, I would say High Elves are in a winning position right now, even though the value lead does say Bretonnia. The High Elves do have plenty of healing, and they have been casting healing this entire game. So I would say that the High Elves are in a position to take this over, unless there's some sort of a big blunder. Ooh, that's a nice one there. Dwellers Below. That's a beautiful cast there by our Bretonnian champion. So that's going to be hitting Sisters, Talented Torquilada, and Lothern Sea Guard. That was a really, really nice 3v1 right there. If it had caught the Phoenix Guard as well, that would have just been the absolute sauce right there. But it is just going to be getting those archer units and softening them up. So Bretonnia Collins, the Blessed Field Trebuchet crew, a little bit of a blunder. He decides to send them in the melee combat. He should have just unsummoned them and resummoned them back in. But you know what? These Bretonnian Trebuchet crews do not hear any bell. They're going to be moving in there and getting ready to go fisticuffs here. King Lewin doing mortal combat with the Archmage of Life. This would certainly be a play that could get the Bretonnians back in the game. If Stingers does blunder this character and King Lewin is able to pick off the High Elf Lord, which, I mean, he's certainly going to win in a duel. You can see that Archmage is getting absolutely smashed and taking a ton of damage. That would be a way, but the Archmage is going to realize you don't want to be fighting the King of Bretonnia in combat and is going to be fleeing back. Chariot's called in from Stingers on the other side. Not a bad call. Could run over the remnants, the very tattered defenders back here, right? You have this and this, and you do also have some mounted Yeomen. The Chariot could basically solo all of those different units, and Lewin looks like he's got a bit of a hard-on for the kill here. In the backfield, we get Pegasus Knights being summoned in. Wow, really interesting. Hippogriff Knights I would understand. I feel like it would make more sense. But what is the application of the Pegasus Knight in this matchup against all the spears and bows and things like that? Maybe it's just to shut down the mobility, but I don't know. Maybe Noctrim knows something we don't. Pegasus Knights have moved in, and what are they going to do? You don't want to be fighting Silver and Guard. Uh-oh, Lewin does get the gooning attempt pretty successful here on the Archmage. The Archmage could be banished off the battlefield, which would be a big comeback for Bretonnia. That would be massive, and it looks like Bretonnia might even be able to wrestle the side objective. If they can use these mounted Yeomen right here to actually block up the Spearmen getting to the point, this could be an objective, but it looks like the Spearmen probably will make it. Lewin going in once again and gets contact. Okay, this, ladies and gentlemen, is how you get back in the game. That Archmage has made it back into the battlefield, is healing a tiny bit from the Life Bloom passive, not going to be too much, but Lewin, I believe, is a little bit quicker too. He's got 100 speed. He's very, very fast. Absolute hunter of men's souls. Now, Chariot moves into the middle. You see the Chariot running over the Bretonnian troopers. Pegasus Knight's going to be retreating back right now, and you can see the Pegasus Knights being a bit of a weird pick overall. So far, only 255 value, and Bretonnia, wow! Bretonnia kills the High Elf Lord, and now Noctrim is totally back in this game. That is going to be a massive penalty to the High Elf leadership, who they have good base leadership, so it's not like it's like Skaven or something, but even still, it's not good for them. And on top of that, Lewin is going to be able to rampage on other targets. Okay, Bretonnia is 100% back in this game, ladies and gentlemen, with that Lord kill right there. The King of Bretonnia not messing around, and he is going to be fleeing away from those halberds right now. Side point taken by Bretonnia. A lot of mounted Yeomen. Grail Knights still in business. Damsel of Life is here. Chariot is going to be kind of cute, but the Cavalry are going to stuff this thing super hard. You can see the Grail Knights looks like they're maybe trying to get us round on it. It's a little bit hard to tell. Side point owned by Bretonnia. We do see a combination of mounted Yeomen, peasants, and chaff units holding on to that point while men-at-arms keep duking it out here. And Bretonnia is back on the menu, ladies and gentlemen. Currently looking at the store, the High Elves are at 900, Bretonnia at about 700. Bretonnia can win on 2 points, but they're not in a position where they want to be yielding objectives, that's for sure. And the Phoenix Guard would be really tough to remove from that center objective, especially with Silver and Guard fighting there too. Grail Relique still fighting. I'm surprised we're not seeing any Foot Squires. In the backfield, look at this. The Pegasus Knights and the Knights of the Realm actually clean up some of the reinforcements. So there was an Illyrian Reaver in there. So the Reaver came out from the Deep Reserve and it was intercepted by the Pegasus Knight. Pegasus Knight currently sitting at about 500 value. Not amazing, but we'll see if it can pay for itself before it's all said and done. And the unwashed hordes of Bretonnia have arrived. I don't know what that weird effect was, but it looks like some of them were, getting shot by arrows. Sounds very strange. But the unwashed hordes of Bretonnia are going to be coming on to hold the objectives here. So they're going to head to objective 1. Meanwhile, Lewin fighting tooth and nail, but the High Elves could still win this game. If Bretonnia keeps getting objectives slipped like this, that could be a big problem. On the side point, we do see the Damsel and the Spearman at Arms fighting. No Grail Relique here, so that's going to be a tough one. Lewin going to be migrating over to the center objective, which is going to be a very tough fight. The absence of Foot Squires is making this very hard. If Foot Squires were coming in as a fourth quarter reinforcement, they would be able to uptrade into the Phoenix Guard very effectively, but rather Lewin is going to have to deal with them with sheer brute force and Grail Knight cycle charging, just a lot of things that are very scary. All right, guys. So currently, the High Elves do have a double cap. They have the side objective here. Their Spearmen are holding it down. The Archmage of Life was resummoned, so that's going to give up some agency on the battlefield in terms of units. But still having your healing back and the leadership on your army is going to be nice. But Bretonnia might be able to wrestle this point here, guys. We will see. So Bretonnia with 28 models. Yeah, truly doing a peasant tide. Might be able to get these Phoenix Guard down. We'll have to see. Men-at-Arms duking it out and eventually getting the Silverin Guard down. It's the most haggard tactics ever. Just using literally some of the worst infantry in the game. Not worst. I mean, they're cost-effective enough, but just low-quality infantry to try and swarm these elite troops is very, very fun stuff indeed. Men-at-Arms moving up. Illyrian Reavers and Silverin Guard are shaken and surrounded. The King of Bretonnia trying to wrestle this objective, but the High Elves are able to hold it down with some Phoenix Guard as well as Spearmen. Stinger's really fighting tooth and nail here. And look at this. The unwashed masses are moving across. We have a giant, a throbbing Bretonnian horde here who's moving towards the middle objective, and they're going to be trying to get their cap weight over there. So we're going to see how that works out for them. Side point basically being abandoned. Bretonnia needs to do some housekeeping as well and unsummon some units. They could be in a situation where they're going to be running out of units, but the Bretonnian hordes do make it to the point. They do get there, ladies and gentlemen. It is going to be extremely tight. Man, we'll see. Yeah, so they wrestle that one. The High Elves, can they win on a Helm's Deep? I do not believe they can at this point. I think that Bretonnia would win if they get the double cap right now and manage to hold it. High Elves do get some Dragon Princes coming in to try and clear out a lot of this mass, but it looks like Bretonnia is able to get it. So there they go. They do make it over towards objective number 2. The Dragon Prince is probably going to loop around and try and ninja the side point, which would be a really good play. Here we got Silverins and more Silverins moving over to the middle objective. Going to be charged by cavalry, but these are no mere cavalry. These are Grail Knights. The Grail Knights are really, really good micro. Immediately running away from the spears after having gotten some damage before the spears can retaliate. And the King of Bretonnia, he is leading his dreaded peasant horde into the Golden Age. Now on the side point, I like this play a lot. I like the Dragon Prince flank. Bretonnia is going to need to get some assets over here quickly. Pegasus Knights, a pretty good response here. So the Pegasus Knights actually ended up being somewhat useful. Hopefully nobody crashed here. This is too close of a game to replay. It's like, honestly, this is either player's game. Hopefully nobody crashes. Come on, baby. Fight, fight. We would probably just have to give this game to whoever doesn't crash here, which hopefully isn't the case. Somebody may have DC'd or something, but oh, it's such a good match, dude. God, give us servers. CA, please. CA, please. All right, so here comes the movement. It looks like there's like a little bit of movement. We're going to see if one of the players disconnected. No message is going down. It looks like it's more or less frozen. Somebody's computer is fighting tooth and nail right now to stay in the game. I think somebody's internet may have crashed too, but yeah, whoever crashes is going to get the loss here. This is just how it's going to have to be. Currently, yeah, Steam is also down for maintenance. It usually doesn't affect Total War, I don't think. Yeah, I haven't had to be a problem. Let's see here. I'm checking Discord. Nobody else is saying anything about it. All right, tournament chat. Turn. Okay, thank you. All right, all right. Come on, baby. Oh, wait. Was something moving there? He's trying, dude. He's trying hard. Oh, my God. It's so good. So let me just make an objective analysis of this game as it currently stands. High Elves do have the points lead, but they're very light on the battlefield. Lewin is here. I'm of the opinion Bretonnia wins this game. Yeah. I don't see how the High Elves can come back. They basically have nothing. They have a couple Spear units and one Dragon Prince, which is going to be probably compromised by the Pegasus Knights and or a single Cab unit. Yeah, you can already see a Knight of the Realm coming in from reserve. Let's push in there. Steam just took you out of your game. Yeah, we'll see what happens. All right, let's see. It could be a Steam thing. If we have a lot of people who crashed via Steam, we could allow for some replays in that case. I do think Bretonia, if it's both players crashed here, I would probably give the win to Bretonia at this point, if it's both players crashing. Because, yeah, this game's, like, pretty much over. The High Elves have nothing. They have, like, you know, one unit here. They're going to get the double cap. They're going to Bretonia's going to maintain the double cap and win on 2 objectives. Yeah, so this would be probably a Bretonian win. We'll see. All right, so let me go ahead and check the website, see how we're looking here. Do a little refresh. Yeah, I think Bretonia would get the dub there. Steam is down? Yeah, well, gotta love it, dude. Gotta love modern gaming. Are they still fighting? I mean, I'm down to just sit here. Maybe it's gonna come back. We've had tournaments during the Steam maintenance before. Yeah. All right. Yeah. So High Elves definitely have lost this game. We would probably just rule that. And then taking a look, yeah, it looks like some matches are going. Let's see if it comes back. There's a chance it'll come back online. I don't know. It's very weird. Steam failed. Okay. In that case, then we'll be more lenient. Yeah. Looks like it's trying to reconnect. Is there any way to just manually reconnect here? All right. Yeah, this is a Bretonian win, though. Yeah, it's a Bretonian win. All right. Yeah, I guess it's a Steam thing. Yeah, I'm disconnected from Steam as well. I see your hosted game is doing something similar. Yeah. So I'll make an announcement to the tournament once Steam reconnects here and people get back. How long is this going to be? Steam maintenances usually aren't that long, right? Usually it's like 10 or 15 minutes, something like that. Back to the Steam age, I know. We're back to the steampunk technology. A handful of our round games have finished. So what we would do is we would probably give replay opportunities to the players who did crash, and then we can just play a game in the interim. What do we got here? Yeah, the Bretonian Knights haven't moved in a hot minute. The game could come back online, though. I don't know. I'd be curious to see if it just like picks off where it left off. Steam back for anybody? If you guys in chat could let me know how Steam's looking, that would be good. It's fairly quick. Normally that stops you from joining new games, but Total War has weird peer-to-peer. Yeah. Yeah, the peer-to-peer thing sucks. It definitely sucks bad. Here we go. Found your channel recently, loving it. What is your first Total War multiplayer experience? Rome. It would have been the first Rome game, yeah. I was playing Rome multiplayer pretty heavily back in like 2000, when I was in college, 2007. I played a hell of a lot of Shogun 2 multiplayer too. Stingers is out of the game. It's back. Steam back? Let's check. All right. Don't know how to like get mine to refresh. Is there a way to like refresh page here, or is it gonna have to do it itself? Okay, it's trying. It's back for some people. It's back for some people. Yeah, you're back online? Great. All right. Okay, all right, folks. If your game crashed because of Steam, go ahead and do a replay now. Go ahead and do a replay now. If someone was very far ahead and game was essentially over, feel free to give win to that player. If you need me to evaluate to see who was winning, send my way. Look, have fun. All right. Yeah, I'm clicking on the old friends list here. It still says I'm disconnected. Yeah, it's taking some sweet time. It looks like it's like rolling its way back. Have you tried turning your device on and off again? I know, the classic IT fix. Hey, what's up? Yeah, we had a Steam crashed. Or just was like doing an update or something. Yeah, some sort of witchcraft. And looks like it's, my friends list is still not happy. Hasn't come back online for me yet. Valve sacrificed another, I know, dude. I know, God. Couldn't they do like these in the middle of the night or something, Why does it like have to be in the middle of the day? I suppose a lot of people are at work, so this is a pretty good time to do it, so. I get that. Been watching your vids for the past 2 weeks. Great commentaries. This is 5 for you. Thank you, Kevin. Really appreciate it, man. Really appreciate it. Noctrum and Stingers. Cronia has won that game. Very clear. Go ahead and give win to yourself, Nocturne. All right, so yeah, this game is over. Because what's going to happen is Bretonnia has a double cap here. So Bretonnia is going to be reaching 1,000 points before Singers reaches 1250, 100%. With these Knights of the Realm coming in to stop these Dragon Princes, and also the fact that Lewin can bounce over here, Peasants could move this way, Infantry could move this way. It's basically over there. So we are going to do that. And players will do replays as the servers do permit. Let's see if my Steam has come back yet. It's trying. It still says disconnected though, which is wild. So let's jump out of this game here and see if I can get in. Gamers are creatures of the night, it's true. The Nectar's wrath would fall on them if they did it at midnight. Yeah, why not like 3 or 4 a.m. though or something, you know? I guess there would be some creatures lurking there still. Yeah, I still think... You guys want to see even funnier joke? Look at the ranked leaderboards. They literally haven't worked. Oh, they still just don't work at all, so. All right, so where are we at? Good folks. All right, so taking a look at the old tournament page, let's refresh it and see how many rounds we did get through. I'll play a single game here in the meantime to pass the time. So let's go to the news. We have the bracket. Yeah, man, we got, oh wow, okay. So it looks like almost all the games might have finished before the crash. Housecat and Sunny, I'm not sure about them. So I'm gonna shoot them a message here. We restart, Steam crashed. What is he saying? Okay, so somebody is saying he has done it. You have a win on there. So we will keep it that way. I thought you said he dropped. All right, doing a little bit of adminning during the chaos. Steam has still not reconnected for me, which is wild. Yeah, still hasn't done its thing. Looks like we have 1 round left, 1 match. Housecat, let me check with Housecat. Hey, what is planned for your game? There might just be 1 game that's getting a replay. At this point, let me check. You may just get win since he was late to show. Okay. So they just started their replay. I'm still not back yet. So there's only 1 game going right now. It's going to be Housecat. Okay, Sabir. Go ahead and play. Housecat is still going. And then who is his opponent? Make it quick though. I would like to cast their game, but I cannot get back into the multiplayer. Wonder if I have to restart Steam or something. Would that actually help? Has that ever helped before? Let me try this before. All right. So we're going to try restarting Steam. And I need to reset one of the matches. Okay. Yeah, still offline. Man, this is quite a roadblock here, isn't it? Hey, Turin, just curious, how would you counter Empire Mortar Wagons as Wood Elves? Oh, you don't need to kill them per se. You can. There's other ways you can. If you just win on the frontline trades and avoid their heavy cavalry, like you can win that way. Mortar Wagons are just kind of something you kind of have to deal with. It's extremely difficult to shut them down, and it's usually not going to be worth it because you're going to be playing into traps and things like that, right? All right, so I got to reset this match here. So who was this? This was Scrambled Egg Special and you. All righty. Stand by, folks. Next round will start once these 2 are done. The restart god is kind. I don't know about that, dude. I don't know about that. What is the best way for Khorne to beat ogres? Well, ogres are just overpowered bullshit. They're just like, they're buggy, they're overpowered, they're undercosted. It just extremely poorly designed. Extremely poorly designed. So yeah. It's basically like it's just a cursed matchup. But you would want to use Minotaurs with great weapons and those type of things. All right. Score reported off and cool. So we're going to reset that match for those players. Has Steam come back to us, Precious? Wow, it still hasn't. Okay, let me try a full restart here. Shutting down Steam. Your scroll got super sniped by Double Weight Watcher. Oh, really? Just a little stinky rat with like 500 arrows in him. Nano says, hey, Turin, me and my cousin have never played multiplayer and want to get into it. Is 2v2 domination a thing? Yeah, not really. The problem is this game doesn't have... It's peer-to-peer connection. There's no dedicated servers like most actual RTS games have. So the more people you get in, it's going to be super laggy. It's still fun to play, but it's really hard to find 2v2 matches. Like, extremely hard, in my experience. So, not sure how much contact you have with Intensity convince them to play some multiplayer. Yeah, that's fun. Yeah, it's each their own. You know, if he's burnt out on multiplayer, he played for a long time, and, you know... Some people have those kind of personalities where they can grind the same game in a row for 7 years. Some people burn out. You know, it's each their own. You know. How do you beat Khorne with Nurgle? Oh, just bring double exalted hero of Nurgle. Bring Kugath and just like sit on the objectives and cackle. Yeah, you can definitely do that. Khorne is going to try and run away from you and play the other two side objectives, but oh, the friends list is back, baby. All right, Pone. It's time for us to have a land battle duel. Get in here. We're gonna have some fun while or anyone who wants to join. First come, first serve. Because we have the games going right now, and we'll just do a land battles last like 3 or 4 minutes. So we'll do one real quick here. All right. All right, let's go, baby. Come on, who wants some? Land battle in time. Let's do the Galbaraz. It's a pretty quick map. We could do Pillar of Bone, just like a full Royal Rumble. All right, Pillar of Bone. All right, I got a lobby up for anybody who wants to duel. We should have time because those other two lobbies are just restarting right now and going, so should be good. All right, we got Pink in here. So who do we want to play? I don't know. I don't know who could be fun. I mean, Empire is always good. We could play some Sigmar, some Steel Faith and Gunpowder. Vampire counts could be cool. We could do some coast to coast action. Ooh, that actually kind of sounds like fun. Let's play Vampire Coast. Yeah, they don't get too much love, so we're gonna play some coast. All right. Just opening this. God, I can't wait for the hot weather to go away. Is Pink on Bretonnia? Tomb Kings. Oh, this is actually a weird matchup. It used to be very, very good for Tomb Kings, but I don't know what it's like now. So we're gonna find out. All right, so let me go ahead here, do this, and get the art blocker up. Thank you guys for your patience. Sorry about that. And we're gonna play the Tomb Kings against the Tomb Kings. Yes. All right. So let's drop the Steam on that. Let's get you guys a little bit of that as well. All right. So we have a big old army, a big old thick army for sure. And that would be an interesting character. That's with the pistol, and this is with the polearm. All right, so let's do this and this. Oh, it's the other one that has it. Yeah, it's the other one that has that. Okay. So is that the one that has it? No, it's the pistol variant. Noctilus is also not bad here. He's a pretty respectable anti-large fighter. So let's get you, and we can have this and these. We can cut that. Morngul Haunters are pretty cool too. Khorne is actually not the worst right now. They're not the worst. I mean, they're a little bit on the weaker side of things, but overall, you know, they got some teeth. They got some teeth for sure. Okay, let's throw you guys in there. We got you, and we need to get a vampire captain here as well. I think that would be nice. Cool. The Power Stone. And do we want anything with those? Don't really need that. Man, Coast is like, yeah, you can go so wide with Vampire Coast. You can go so incredibly wide and bring some crazy stuff. Yeah, so we'll throw that in there, and then probably want to get you. And do we need like animated Hulks or anything? I don't know. It feels kind of like a waste. Don't think so. We still have 650 in the back pocket. So from here, a single depth guard unit seems kind of cool. It's like a backfield sweeper, you know, but something to consider. All right, so let's get you. in the back. And do we want to bring a bloat to send a message to our opponent to put some fear in them? Could be an idea. All right, good luck, have fun. I'm ready. Hopefully my opponent is too. We don't have too much time. We got to get this going, so. We got to get it going. Luther's good. Yeah, he's good. He's good in land battle. In Dom, he's a little bit less good. In land battle, if you want to be really degenerate and, like, you know, abuse some of the attacking rules of sorts, you can get really nasty with Luther, which is the Wild West. All right, boys, let's get it. Let's have some fun. Mortars have always been pretty good against Tomb Kings, but I brought something very fun for you all. You're going to enjoy it, I promise. You're going to enjoy it. All right, let's get it. The Pillar of Bone quest battle. Let's see when the players are going. Okay, perfect. Appreciate your wife's. Yeah, I'm glad you're enjoying the cast. The Walker troll. Yeah, Hansi, that's fun. We'll do a. I'll talk to Anna. Maybe we could do. It's time to update. We could do like a Halloween themed screen blocker. That'll be fun. We can get like some vampire counts or something like that. Of course, it's Queen Bess. Come on now. Queen Bess all day, every day. Queen Bess is so much fun. Hell yeah, let's go. The one thing my build kind of lacks is like good anti-large, but it's all right. Could be worse. Alrighty, so hopefully my opponent's not watching the stream, or else I could be in some trouble. If you are here right now, Pink, you should feel guilty. I'm just saying, don't do it. Honorable fight. All right, so let's go here, here, and here. Let's get you bad boys ready to go. Here and here. I did used to play Coast a lot in tournaments a long time ago, but that was like that was like the Stone Age. That was like Warhammer 2. Yeah, that was a long time ago. Okay, so that's gonna be the army. We have the Depth Guard boys back here, and also the Krabos will be nearby. We're just gonna like start the game, and there's gonna be like a million units vanguarded on my back artillery. That would actually be pretty funny. All right, so we're gonna like start you guys. Cool. So let's get you 2 and 3. The doggos, and then we have the crabs nearby, which we can do manually. So 2 and 3. So we're just gonna make sure there's no funny business. A single zombie can kind of guard here also. So let's get the cannon scooted up a little bit. Perfect, perfect. And yeah, it's all right. Who won the previous match? It was won by Bretonia. Yeah. All right, good luck, have fun to my opponent. Army size, we're obviously bigger. That's usually going to be the case. And we have a new Shopti Rush. Interesting. So that's going to be cool. Don't know how this is going to go. I might not have enough anti-large, but we do have some crabs. Okay, massive carrion vanguarding on the side. So we need to get you. And then you Krabos need to guard this. Queen Bess will do some damage, but honestly, my build's not super good against their build from what I can tell. Queen Bessie might be able to make some contact. Hey, look at that. Okay. So Queen Bess actually doing some damage, which is good. We're going to start going after the Lord here. And let's get the crabs and you, and go ahead and swarm here if we can, and get the crabs to move in also. And you guys move this way, you guys move this way. And there is going to be some serious backfield diving for sure. So yeah, we'll see if we can defend our pieces. We need to get Lamprey's Revenge back there to go help out. I don't know why they're not attacking. And it looks like they're going after the pistol mobs, which is okay. So let's get you guys to do this, and we can call in the Damn Knights Errant to swarm them and see what happens. All right, so yeah, that backfield play should be good. Overall, pretty heavy swarming here. Let's get the bomber mobs going, and these Damn Knights Errant can go and start clearing things out. And we can drop a fat tide call right here on these bad boys, and hope for the best. Hope for the best. All right, so a little bit of backfield peeling. We have been able to get those carrying down. And the bomber mobs still throwing away. Doing pretty good. Let's clear these out if we can. And Slaughter needs to come back and just party. So those guys have been dealt with. Most of the backfield diving has been partially compromised. Let's get Queen Bessie back online and start shooting at some random spears. If we can, let's pull you guys back. And for the most part, it's just pretty much anarchy, really. It's kind of hard to tell what's going on here. We'll keep these dogs, pull them that way. Cetra is going for the kill on the big ones, so we need to get a little bit of help for that. Let's go here, let's go here. Get our vampire caster over also, and you crabs can move up, and we'll get the crabos to try and stabbo on Cetra. All right, so Damn Knights Errant, you guys bounce over there, deal with that. No idea how this is going. It's pretty chaotic, to be honest, but we will see what we can do. So we're going to jump onto this. Cetra will probably get stopped up by the crabs. We don't really mind if Slaughter takes a little bit of damage. It's not the end of the world. So let's take down these. Frontline fighters are hanging in there. Those Damn Knights Errant summons are so good. They're so incredibly good. Queen Bessie needs to force fire some shots, so let's slap her in guard mode and rip some shots there, which should be nice. Power Stone, and do we want to invo anything? Yeah, we can invo these crabs. All right. So the Crabos can go there. Queen Bessie did get a really nice shot. I'm very happy with that. Damn Knights Errant still holding it down. We don't have any summons, which is a little bit tricky. Front line is mainly compromised. I mean, there's a little bit of fighting there still, but overall, not going to be great. All right, so Queen Bess, let's keep ripping shots into the skeletons, get rid of as much as we can. I don't know what Sloster's on about. She's getting a little bit wild here with this engagement, but hopefully Queen Bess can turn and shoot. All right, let's get our crabs here. Depth Guard need to move this way and get ready to screen. So the Depth Guard are coming, and the crabs need to move there too. And we'll see if we can hold this big old push that's coming. No more Knights Errant summon, but we do have a little bit of Tide Call action, so we could do this. It's kind of tough. The cannon, I don't even know what it's shooting into at this point. Crabos go after the Carrion. Need to shut those down, and now we got the backfield defense going here. So we should have another invo in a second. I'm just going to do a big overcasted one. Maybe we just do it to try and keep the cannon alive. Is it worth it? Oh, man. The cannon, like, its model changed because of that. Yeah, it's tough. All right, so we just need to heal the Depth Guard, basically, at this point. We're okay. Queen Bessie taking out these spear units as they approach is quite cost-effective for us. Zombies over here holding it down. Cannon's going to crumble. Not a whole lot we can do about that. Cannon was definitely one of the weaker links, but having all these Depth Guard fighting the Ushapti is good. Looks like there's going to be an Ushapti summon on top of Queen Bess. All right, kill the spears. Depth Guard, you guys need to carry this game, so we're just going to keep healing you bad boys. They seem to be doing okay. Celostra is an armor-piercing fighter too. Crabs duking it out. Queen Bess still shooting away. Let's go, baby. Yeah, we're just doing a land battle in between games. So it's fast. You know, the games are fast and quick, and, you know, it's fun. Yeah. All right, so we're going to have another invo. Let's get that going in 30 seconds. Crabs are probably going to be able to hold Cetra. Queen Bessie is not really shooting too much right now. Another big invo in 20 seconds. I do not know why these Depth Guard are crumbling. They're literally fighting what they're supposed to be fighting. But it is what it is. Yeah, these zombies need to move in. You guys move in. Crabs are going like champs. We need a big invo right now to save these Depth Guard. How much value are they getting? Only 600? How are Depth Guard polearms not getting more value against Ushapti? That's weird. All right, so yeah, let's get the spear unit. We can do a little bit of this and go up the pipe there. And let's go ahead and invo on the Depth Guard. That was a really good Tide Call. That was a money one. But Queen Bessie is probably in danger. The Crabos are trying to stabbo, but they're running out of steam. So maybe, just maybe, we can beat those guys. Got more zombies coming in. I'm pretty sure we've lost this game, but it's all good. It's what we get for bringing Queen Bess. You know, Queen Bess will usually lose you games. It's not very good. All right, so Celostra, you keep doing it. The Lamprey's Revenge going strong. We have another invo overcasted in a handful of seconds. A lot of healing units. Depth Guard Halberd's very disappointing. The fact that they can't beat these Ushapti is the weirdest thing. I always thought they would. All right, we have some more skeletons back here. We can crumble them, I guess. Yeah, let's just get that cast going. Queen Bessie, drop some big shots here. These crabs are going out. They're going out like heroes. And are we gonna have an invo? Do we have enough for an overcast? We do. That's nice. That's gonna hit like everything. Man, Depth Guard polearms, dude. They were not doing good. Okay, so we get the invo on those. The spears are disintegrating. Slostra and the Vampire Captain fighting it out. If these crabs can endure, maybe we could do something. I don't know. Still a fair amount of spears here, but they're all crumbling down. Basically, everything's just dying. Ushapti, very problematic. We still have a Queen Bess. Not that it's going to do much. It's going to send a message. We can run away with it. Try and do the dreaded Queen Bess pullback. We need to do Game of Thrones tactics and have our artillery in the front lines. I agree. That's where we went wrong. Do we have enough for one more invo? One more invo on the crabs would be very good. Oh, dude, the Queen Bess draw kiting. Let's summon our dreaded land battle tactics. Hell yeah, let's go. It's time. All right, so the spears are at about 1500 HP. Come on, Queen Bess. Get back on your crew. Let's go. The crabs actually could run. They could do a little bit of funny business here. They don't have too much steam left, though. They're crumbling down pretty hard. All right, Queen Bess, is there any spears we could shoot? Let's see if Queen Bess can rip one more shot into the deep. Characters are doing their thing. Let's go, baby. It's like the Baneblade. Yeah, Queen Bess, every time I bring it, I lose. It's just against good players. You can beat newer players and things like that with it, but it's just such a shitty unit. All right, come on, Queen Bess. Come on, give it to me. I don't know why I didn't go handguns. Handguns would have been so much better than the pistol mobs. Pistol mobs are cheap, though. All right, GG, well played. This one's definitely over. A good match, though. Ended up becoming very scrappy. The Knights Errant summon was good. All right, so let me check here and see if they finished their games. So heading over to the website. Where are we at? Okay, today's tournament. It looks like House Cat finished, and we have Scrambled Egg Special, and they had to do a replay as well, which definitely slowed us down. So that's the troll toll that we're paying there. That's how the win rates are doing, too. Well played, my opponent. Fun game. Little quick pastime in between rounds. Wood Elves. Yeah, Wood Elves sitting pretty good at 56%. Wow. Slanesh creeping up. You know why Slanesh is climbing up is because on a lot of these single faction tournaments, we've been banning the things that normally kill them. Somebody's been playing Vampire Coast well, too. Cool to see them at 47%. It's probably mostly melee Coast, like animated Hulks and things like that. Somebody's been doing Sigmar dirty, though. I don't know who it is. Sigmar is supposed to be at 50%, but they keep dragging down the Empire to 45. Heresy, I say. Heresy. All right. So let's get going here. Yeah, no, Best did some damage to spears. It wasn't completely useless. It wasn't. All right. So let's go here. See how we're looking. And checking in. Their last game should be good. Alrighty. Outstanding. Come on, Feral Elves. Yeah. Who was playing Scrambled Egg Special on these two? Let me know when you two are done. Alright, so just send a message to those players, and he was playing against, I believe, this other player here. Hopefully there's no lag. And we'll be okay. All right, guys, I'm going to go grab some water. I recommend you guys do the same. Get a snack. The next round is going to be starting in just a minute. All right, guys, we're back. Let's see if the next round has finished. No, I'm not playing today. No, we're just casting. All right, so they just finished. Outstanding. Perfect timing. And let's go here. All right, so advance to the next round, and we will see who our champions are going to be as we progress here. Sorry about the delay on that round. Steam was just being an absolute troll. Advancing the Swiss to the next round, and we are good to go. All right. So next round is up. We have some good matches for sure. Hadrius was playing what today? He was playing Dark Elves versus Tzeentch. Ooh, I would actually like to watch that matchup. That'd be fun. All right. So we will cast this game from Hadrius. Okay. We will cast this one. So let's see who all of our undefeated players are, by the way. Okay, so heading up this way and going there. So far we have Bear with 3 points. I think that needs to be fixed because obviously, you know, we've only had 2 rounds, so it's just a little bit of a bug on the scoring system, which I'll fix. Housecat, Ghoul, Hadrius, Noctrum, Icarus, and Serkia. I believe it's Wood Elves, couple Tzeentch players, Dark Elves here also. Very cool. So we have a nice variety of factions who are so far undefeated. So let me go ahead and fix that score, and we can go from there. Yeah, just taking it easy, giving my hands a rest. Yeah, I something strained it my annoying injury, so I'm just kind of like taking it a little bit easy. Yeah. All right, so let's go here, go to multiplayer matches, and let's find the game. Tell everyone in Discord that the next round is live, and next round is live. Next round is live. Go, like, have fun. All right, guys, we're back in business. Might need to do a ping because people may have gone AFK. Hopefully not. Let's see if folks are trying to find their next opponents. Hopefully so. Yeah, it looks like it. All right, so people are messaging and getting their games going. All right, cool. So where's the game with Hadries? Should be around here somewhere. The dreaded Professor Pone coming back from the shadows, right? You're not going to let those Way Watchers snipe you. Here we are. Let's go elves. Yeah, dark elves are cool. They're probably my favorite of all the elves to play. They have some really cool faction banners too. So here we are. Okay. See if anybody has any questions or anything. Nope. Looks like we're all good. Fix that. Get the Swiss points all set. We're doing all right, Paul. Yeah, just taking it easy for a couple days. Thank you for asking, man. Taking it easy. Hey, thank you for the donation. Thank you, thank you. We will call you N. We will get it going. Yeah, man, I've been having so much fun with Dune Spice Wars. How many of you guys have played that game? I never played Northgard, though. I heard Northgard was pretty similar. I think it was made by the same people. What is that like? Is that just kind of like Dune Spice Wars, but set in a different time period with, different aesthetics and whatnot? But aside from that, is it pretty much the same? I'd be curious to hear about it. Maybe it's worth a try. All right, cool. Great. So we got Ghoul, which I believe is playing Tzeentch. No, Slaanesh. Oh, it's going to be Slaanesh versus Dark Elves. Oh, that's a fun matchup. They're on Proving Grounds, which is probably better for Slaanesh, but hey, Dark Elves have maneuverable shooting. It's not like it's static shooting. Usually it's going to be repeater crossbows, so, it's something like that. It's Dune Spice Wars, but it's Vikings. Got it. Never played, but I love the books. Did you read them? I've read the first book, yeah, I more or less know the story of several of the other ones. Less politics in Northgard. It is far more slow-paced, yeah. Vikings, a little bit slower-paced. Yeah, the reason why I like Spice Wars so much, I think, is because of the setting. It's like, the Dune universe is so cool. And the politics, I think, are a big part of it for me. Like, I like how there's, like, political avenues for victory, not just somebody builds up a big military and wins. It's cool to have, like, assassinations and political victories and money victories. Yeah. Set in a fantasy Viking age. That's pretty cool. Yeah, it's pretty cool indeed. Well, let's see what the stats are in this matchup here. So going, Slaanesh actually has a favored matchup against Dark Elves at the moment. It's only been played 3 times this season, so it doesn't really mean much, but it's been won by Slaanesh twice and by Dark Elves once. So, I mean, yeah, it could go either way, I think. It could go either way. I love the crazy politics and backstabbing that happens near the very end. I know, it's really fun. It's really fun. Yeah, no, I don't know. I haven't looked into the books by his son. I know that the Frank Herbert's son continued the universe a little bit, so yeah. Let's see how our boys are doing. I know. I think Pone said he lost his second game. He got sniped out by the Wood Elves. Paid the troll toll a little bit. Looking here, yeah. Subutai playing Jeff Bob. Did he actually end up winning his second game? It looks like he did, And we'll be starting to see what the top of the field is going to be like after this round. We'll be going to the 4th round after this, and then we'll kind of see who's playing for the top 4. Ninja, thank you for the $4.99. Greatly appreciate it. How you guys all doing, by the way? Any of you guys seen any good shows or movies that you would recommend? You know what genre, like, I really wish we had more of was the, I love futuristic dystopian sci-fi, but also I think one of the coolest genres is, like, deep space scary sci-fi. Like, very much in the vein of, like, Alien or Event Horizon. There was a movie called Equilibrium, which wasn't, like, amazing, but, like, that genre. I love, like, the deep space scary, like, alien horror genre. It's so fun. That kind of stuff. The Expanse kind of touches on that a little bit. If you've seen The Expanse, it has a little bit of that deep space scariness, with the with essentially like the Forerunners and all the scary stuff on that space station. Burn after reading, yeah. Oh yeah, you scroll tide really quickly, huh? I've seen The Boys. Yeah, I've seen The Boys. Dude, Event Horizon was like one of the first movies that traumatized me when I was a kid. I remember I saw it really young. I was like really young when I saw Event Horizon. So what year would that have been? Hold on. 1997, yeah. So I'm pretty sure I saw Event Horizon when I was like like 9 years old. I saw it on TV, and I remember it scared me. It was pretty disturbing, you know, the subject matter and some of the graphics, and yeah, it was very, very scary. So Event Horizon does seem like it's like a 40K prequel. Yeah, it's like they basically like found a breach in the warp, like in deep, you know, and then it's very much like 40K. Yeah. The new 40K show, Pariah. Yeah, I do want to see that. I'm gonna watch that. Do you remember Gravity? Where they go to restart the sun. That's not Gravity. That's called Sunlight, and it's a really good movie. That's with Cillian Murphy. It's a great movie. I love that genre, like the deep space scary stuff. Oh yeah, it's good. Yeah. Deep sea as opposed to deep space. Yeah. There's been a handful of good movies like that. Event Horizon is where communications is lost with like a ship in deep space, and they go to recover it. And like as they approach the ship, it starts to become clear that something like really horrific happened on the ship, and there seemed to be like a crossing of realities on the ship. Like another reality bled in this like deep space area, and it like created some scary. Yeah, I don't want to spoil it too much, but it's really good. It's really, really good. I was traumatized by Screamers. Yeah, I know that one. Event Horizon is just warp travel without Geller fields. I know, basically. Yeah, basically is. Leviathan as a kid, yeah. Cosmic horror. Yeah, I suppose cosmic horror would be the genre. Good description of it. All right, guys. Oh my god, look at this build from Hadries. Oh, wow. He was expecting big armor, but Slaanesh did not bring too much. Actually, just Marauders with Seekers, Exalted Demonettes, and a Chaos Knight. Oh my god, this is going to be a fun fight. These are really cool builds by these players. And Annihilation, yeah, that was a great movie. So these are two of the top players on the leaderboard. I think Hadries is like number 5. Ghouls might even be number 2 or 3 right now. These are both like 2 top-level players duking it out. Yeah, it's going to be fun. Before we like get into the commentary of this game, the last movie I watched was the Doom with The Rock. Oh, that was so fun. I love the hell out of that. I know it's super haggard, but it was really fun. And it has Carl Urban as like the main character. Carl Urban is like one of the most underrated, awesome actors. You know? He's so awesome. All right, guys. So, taking a look at the Dark Elf army. In the front line, he's got Blackheart Corsair handbows, which are pretty good at skirmishing. So the idea is the Shades with greatswords kill the warriors. They shoot the warriors and the armor to pieces, and then they come in and clean them up in melee if need be. And the Blackheart Corsairs with handbows kill, you know, the lightly armored stuff. In the back, he does also have a Supreme Sorceress of Death. So Buna and Spirit Leech. Buna is what you cast on Seekers. If you cast Buna on like a Seeker or one of the Slaanesh Elite Cavalry or Chaos Knights, it's basically going to one-shot them and take them down, and you are going to pay the Troll Toll. It's a pretty cool, unique build from Hadries. Not using a dragon, a very wide Dark Elf army with some kiting tools. Cold One Knights also in the tree line to fight Slaanesh Heavy Cavalry, and that is it for his army. Now, looking here at the Hordes of Ghouls, Ghouls is going to be using double Seekers. Now, Seekers, in theory, will be good against Dark Elves. If they can get the flank or opportune charges on Cold One Knights, they should win. On top of that, they can kill some of the armored troopers and storm the archers with their 100 speed. The only issue being is that they're super lightly armored and very squishy. So those guys could have a really, really bad time. Now, looking at the rest of the army, it's going to be Herald of Slaanesh, who's going to be spamming the Acquiescence and Pavane of Slaanesh. Pavane is great. You can rampage a good quality unit, drag it in, beat it down. I mean, it is the best, right? It's very, very good. Locus of Grace, and yeah, that's pretty much it. Blissful Rapture, of course, part of the package. Charlatan, thank you for the fiber. Thanks for the stream and energy, brother. Hey, right back at you. All right, let's get it. Let's have some fun. Who do you guys think is going to win? Vote for your champion here. Is it going to be Ghouls or is it going to be Hadries? Yes, yes. Good times indeed. So this map's definitely good for, you know, melee factions, I would say. But Dark Elves, like I said, have maneuverable shooting. Like if you're like a powder faction, let's say Dwarves or Empire, it's going to be really hard to get cost-effective shooting because of the tree lines and the rocks. But some Dark Elves are pretty much bow specific. They don't use any powder. They can usually maneuver and relocate and shoot over things better than a faction like the Empire could, right? Like you could have like a crossbow right here and it could shoot like both these objectives. So it's not going to be too bad for Dark Elves, honestly. Hadries should be in good shape in that regard. Ghoul's going to be creeping up with his Herald of Slaanesh, Chaos Knights also in the tree line. And we do see the Dark Elves emerging from the bushes, Blackheart Corsairs with handbows, Shades in droves, and ye old Cold One Knights are going to be getting ready to support the bows. Because that's what Dark Elves really do, right? Dark Elves will go forward, and then, Slaanesh is going to get angry and chase them, and they'll pull back, and then the cavalry hammer. That's like Dark Elves 101. It's definitely very, very strong. So Buna is just going to be there to kill the big cavalry as well as the Seekers. And I would suspect Hadrius is just going to be saving up for Bunas. That's probably what he's going to be doing all game. There's honestly not too many good Spirit Leech targets. You could start sniping the Herald of Slaanesh, but I don't think that's going to be worth it. Chaos Knight's emerging, so immediately, Hadrius is going to see these Chaos Knights and probably have an absolute hard-on to snipe them with the Buna effects. One of the trickier parts for Hadrius, though, is going to be protecting his Shades. They're very squishy, very glass cannon type units. I mean, they do have melee defense in the 30s, but you do not want them to get charged by Chaos Knights. That's for damn sure. And it's going to be a big aggressive charge. Chaos Knights moving in and immediately taking a little bit of damage. Hadrius is going to move in front of them with the Blackheart Corsairs. And then the Shades are going to just unleash a hellish salvo of armor piercing in tandem with the Buna. So this is really cool. The Shades get a really, really nice crossbow volley. Those Chaos Knights getting pounded. And the thing is, these Shades do have great swords. So in theory, if they're fighting the Chaos Knights in melee, they might not do badly. And the Slaanesh Knights are going to move in for it. And there is going to be some sort of witchcraft from Slaanesh going down. Probably Pavane to rampage them in combat. But Hadrius is probably not unhappy to leave them in combat. Now on the objective, Blackheart Corsair is going to be pulling back, kiting the Marauders a little bit. Side objective comfortably taken by Slaanesh. Slaanesh is going to be getting big flanking charges with these Seekers on the far side, so we have to keep tabs on that. One Chaos Knight unit basically on death's bed. It has been worn down, but it did get the Shades kind of low and also did some okay damage against these guys. So that Chaos Knight's performance wasn't like worthless. It did do a little bit of damage. Aside from that, these players using a similar banner, certainly trolling me quite a bit. Dark Riders get run over by Chaos Knights. But now the Cold One Knights are going to be emerging from the tree line. So the Cold One Knights going to come out and fight the Chaos Knights, and they will win. Cold One Knights will out-trade Chaos Knights all day. Chaos Knights are better, like more of a generalist cav unit, whereas Cold One Knights are a very specific role, right? So both Chaos Knight units have paid the price. Chaos Furies being summoned and called in, trying to dive into the backfield. And now, where are the Seekers? Okay, big Seeker flanking, and immediately the Seekers are going to be finding a prize. So Hadrius is going to be microing his Dark Riders away, trying to escape the Seekers, as another Dark Rider unit's going to be moving in. So he's going to go for a sandwich here. He's going to charge here and then pull around and get the dreaded Slaanesh sandwich. This is a very, very strong play, but good micro from Ghouls. Ghouls sees the trap, he pulls back, and he's laughing all the way to the bank. Blackheart Corsairs trying to run away, but Slaanesh infantry are very, very quickly, and they're certainly chasing down the forces of Hadrius as these Blackheart Corsairs are going to be fleeing the scene, and Dark Riders are now coming out to try and swarm in droves. But overall, Slaanesh seems to be up trading a little bit. Buna going down on Seekers of Slaanesh, which is going to be eviscerating them. Looking at the value trading, it's dead even, ladies and gentlemen, dead even. But Slaanesh does have the advantage on the objectives. That Buna was brutal. Looks like a Buna just went over there and completely annihilated one unit of those Seekers. More skirmishing. Blackheart Corsairs shooting into the forces of Slaanesh here as the Dark Riders kind of fan out and run away. They don't want to be dragged into combat with the infantry. And the middle objective, some Blackheart Corsair infantry do arrive, and they will be able to beat the Marauders in combat, most likely take that objective, pending any reinforcements. In reserves, we got Exalted Demonettes being called in, so there's actually a big amount of fighting in the tree line here. Looks like the Shades with Great Opens have engaged in melee, and they're actually trying to fight back against the Devoted Marauders. And they do have bonus versus infantry, but Exalted Demonettes are going to give them a huge beatdown. This is going to be horrible for the Shades. Exalted Demonettes are one of the scarier infantry units in the game. If they can get into combat with you and not be shot or, hammered by big, heavy cavalry, these Exalted Demonettes are going to win this fight, and it's going to be brutal. Hadrius needs another Buna effect. If he has another Buna, has enough wins for it, and can nail down these Exalted Demonettes, that would be a pretty big power play. Over in the middle, we do see Blackheart Corsairs fighting with Dread Spears, Devoted Marauders, and they should win that fight. As far as the backfield goes, Exalted Demonettes chasing down whatever they can, catching some Dark Riders, but Hadrius appears to have partially stabilized his backfield. The Cold One Knights and the Corsair Handbows are all still alive. For the most part, he's got 3 handbows right here, and that's going to be really nasty. The handbows will be a very effective counter against the Demonettes, but yeah, there's the ho-ho-ho, as we call it, the Fata Buna. And it does nail those Exalted Demonettes. Or no, Spirit Leech actually went down to the Herald of Slaanesh. Okay, so it was a bit of a different spell, but I definitely think Buna on the Exalted Demonettes would have been slightly stronger. But here you see Hadrius has his handbows, and they're all shooting into the Exalted Demonettes, which is going to be very cost-effective. So we'll have to see. In the middle, we do get the Blackheart Corsairs trying to wrestle that point. Not easy, though. They're being attacked by several units of Devoted Marauders. Handbows moving up to the point to try and get a little bit of cap weight. Currently, there's one objective that still hasn't been taken. The middle objective here has not been taken by anybody. Side objective is open, but Slaanesh can respond to those plays very quickly. The Dark Elves have successfully kind of pulled the forces of Slaanesh back, But Slaanesh is really keeping that momentum on. Their fast reinforcement's brutal. Seekers coming out of reserve, and they are going to be catching Hadri's Dark Riders here. Potentially, Dark Riders do have 92 speed. Do they get caught and poisoned? Yes, they do. So the Seekers do catch them, apply poison, and there's going to be massive casualties for these Dark Riders as they try and get away. You can see they're losing models in droves, down to about half health. Seekers are, as their name would infer, very, very good at seeking. And many of the Shades with Great Opens are down for the count. Hadri still does have his Black Art Corsairs with handbows, which he needs to find a way to shut down all these demon infantry that are pushing super heavily into his fields. Exalted Demonettes, very, very nasty as they continue scurrying about. So right here, there is going to be a Fascination. Fascination does lure in the Black Art Corsairs with handbows, and they're good fighters in melee, so it's not the worst thing. Dark Elves do look like they're going to take control of the middle, and then maybe have an opportunity to move over to the side objective and take that. Slaanesh could be running out of steam here. It's a little bit hard to tell. Seekers up in the front battling several units of Dark Riders. Dark Riders are not slouches, and Dark Riders do have murderous prowess right now, so that's going to be active. The Dark Elf army ability is on, so the Dark Riders are suddenly becoming a pretty respectable fighting unit, but Seekers are Seekers. They are absolute just linebackers. Herald's looking really low as well. Dark Elves are not pushing this side too much. Yeah, we do have some more Dark Riders. The shield's coming up to try and reinforce. The middle objective is going to be going to Hadri's and the Dork Elves, so Hadri's does secure this point here, and it looks like he gets a sandwiching charge on the Devoted Marauders. So those bad boys going to be hanging it in there, and over towards Objective 3, we do see more Dread Spears on the way over. Dread Spears are going to be pretty money there if they can make it, especially since Slaanesh is using a lot of cavalry units. Having that spear bolstering on the point is going to be good. Chaos Knights coming in. Interesting. So Chaos Knights are very, very durable against like Black Art Corsair type units. They're going to be able to run through them pretty well. There are some Shades from Hadri's who have rallied. There's only a couple of them, but every armor-piercing bolt is going to make a difference here. On the far side, the Herald actually getting a little bit trapped up. Hadri's does get a surround on the Herald, and that's probably going to be GG if that thing goes down. That's brutal. Hadri's now has a 2,000 value lead, really going back to his Dark Elf roots as he does take down the Herald of Slaanesh. So she's going to be paying the Troll Toll, and down she goes. Banished back to the Warp by the Dark Elves. Only Kane in here, no Slaanesh. Side point spears moving up, and there are going to be some Devoted Marauders with Hell Scourges. Going to have a bit of a wet noodle contest. But at this point, I think Hadri's has probably won the game. This has been a really fast and furious matchup, but it's cool to see. It's cool to see this. This is the nice thing about banning the really sweaty factions, the OP ones, is we get to see interesting matchups like this. That was fast, high micro, very dynamic engagements, and overall was super fun. GG, well played. GG, well played indeed. So let's take a look at the big performers for both sides. Shades didn't do too hot. Cold Knights did good. Corsair handbows were pretty solid. They've remained and kept doing work over the course of the game. Buna was really clutch. And honestly, Dark Riders kind of carried that game. Like the Dark Riders coming in and just constantly fighting up in the front line under the effects of Murderous Prowess was very nice. But Buna was the big carry. This army had so many big expensive targets for Buna. And this was not a meta Slaanesh army. Slaanesh usually spams Hellscourge Warriors, so that's their meta, and this was very different. So it was cool. Seekers did okay, but at the end of the day, it looked like they got shut down relatively well. So GG, well played to those mighty champions. All right. Cool. Okay. Now let's go check over here and see how we're looking in the tournament round. Do we have enough time for a dreaded land battle? Probably not. Handful of games are finishing, so let's see. All right. So Noctrim has beaten Icarus. Scrambled Egg Special has defeated Pink. Stingers has defeated Waterbeds. And on the bottom side, Professor Pone has won his game. And I do not believe our game has been reported yet. So a couple players going to be heading to the undefeated ranks. Noctrim undefeated on Bretonia. So perhaps it is going to be a day in which we'll see a Bretonian victory. Could be. Gorich did well. Well, Pone, you'll have to send me that replay, man. If we get a blessed Gorich replay, blessed be. We probably actually do have time for a land battle. Yeah. All right. So we'll move in here. If somebody wants to play, we'll do a speedy one. There's still, over half the games there. So we'll do like a fast and furious build here and have some fun with it. So Chowie are pretty fun to play in land battle. I always feel like they're a good time. What units do you think the Empire will get in DLC? There's a handful of things. Like Empire has Master Engineers, Celestial Hurricanum, Elspeth, Luther Huss, Kurt Hellborg, Ludwig Schwarzhelm. Ooh, let's see. I mean, there's still a lot of things the Empire has. See the new AoE for? Yeah, I saw the new Byzantine stuff today. Yeah, I saw it. Definitely a definition of a Fast and Furious game. It really was. All right, we got Icarus in here. Let's party. So we're going to be on Galbaraz. What do we want to play? What do we want to play? Let's play a little bit of a Steel Faith and Gunpowder. Let's go to the Empire. So they can play anything they want. Just please not dwarves. Although honestly I don't mind. If you want to play dwarves, go ahead. I don't care. That's fine. We're not going sweaty here. Slaanesh versus Empire, eh? Yeah, that should be a fun one. All right then. So let's get it all set up here. And cool, the blocker is up. Character choices here. I haven't played this one in a hot minute. Okay, let's get you guys, a couple of you guys in reserve. Should be great. Let's get our caster all set up. Buna is definitely pretty good against Slaanesh. Like being able to nail down those elite cavalry units is pretty damn strong. So we will whip that out. Yes, and for our Lord, for the next disappearing act, what do we want to bring? Okay. Wagons have always been very good here, as well as these. And then what do we want in the back? Empire Heavy Cavalry usually doesn't have like a super good time here, in my experience. Yeah, generic Wizard Lords would be really nice for sure. Toddy is respectable. Toddy can do some work. He's got good AP and he regenerates himself, so you don't need to like babysit him too much. Yeah, how does this build look? It's all right so far. Probably 2 of these is good. So we have enough there. Let's get you. Slaanesh getting extra scheming here. I always like wonder about Pistoliers in this matchup also, like how good Pistoliers can be. Like as a utility piece to like deal with like Furies and things like that, maybe. But are they really even going to bring any Furies? I don't know. Doesn't feel like that's going to be the case. Okay. What else do we want? Why is he so expensive? He should just be on foot here. Honestly, save some dough. There we go. All right. Yeah, what if CA just gives us Boris Todbringer as a lord? They're like announcing Middenheim. And then just like the only new thing is Boris Todbringer. Admittedly, that would be pretty troll. That would be very troll. Yeah, just Middenheim. Enjoy. All right, so that looks fine so far. Do we really need that? You know what? Let's actually do something a little bit different. Let's go like this. Sigvald's a bit of a problem to kill, actually, for the Empire. So I have to bring someone that's capable of killing Sigvald. So that could be your boy Franz, is good at that. Franz is not the worst in this matchup. He's not the worst, but yeah, you need somebody who can take on Sigvald. Otherwise, you're going to have a relatively bad time. Okay. Probably just going to be swaths of cheap infantry, I would guess, from these bad boys. Buna is good against like what? Like Chaos Knights, those type of things? Yeah. I guess it is. I suppose it is. Looks okay. You got you guys in the backfield, you. And yeah, let's get this party started. Good luck, have fun. I'm not like super sold on this build, but it seems okay. Like it's going to be able to put up a fight. Yeah. The $35 Boris Boris DLC. Yeah, that's pretty fun. All right, so checking this. Let's see how we're looking in the tournament. I don't want to like start if everyone's like magically finishing right now. Nope, still a handful of games to go, so we got a little bit of time. But my opponent needs to ready up. Icarus, you need to go. We got to get this going. I don't want to hold up the tournament with our match. Thankfully, it's land battle, so it'll be really quick. Come on, Icarus. You can do it. Yes. Good. Middenheim would be a really cool sub-faction. But they've kind of done away with sub-factions, right? Like, we used to have, like, Avalorn, and, like, they had unique units in multiplayer, but that doesn't really exist anymore, so... yeah, not so much a thing. Pone sending me a sweet Gorich replay. Hell yeah. We always enjoy seeing our big, scary corn rat in action. Domingo says, help me please, my record's 0-7. Oh, dude, don't stress it. Just keep at it. When you get that first dub, man, it's going to feel pretty good. You're jumping into a very niche community that has, like, a pretty, you know, solid player base. And, like, there's no, like, you know, we don't have, like, a good leaderboard or anything for you to, like, yeah. So it's going to... Total War multiplayer is definitely, like, trial by fire. It's you know, it ain't easy. So the fact that you're just putting yourself out there and playing, man, is enough of an achievement. All right, let's get you guys, get this, and get this. Cool. So great swords are there to deal with Hellscourge warriors. We have wagons. For the Wagon God, we have our Bunicaster, who's going to be defending back here. Single grenade launcher, and Spear is going to be defending this bad boy. Alrighty. So let's see how this goes. I'm a little bit close. Let's move up a little bit just so we don't get, or not too close to that white line. I don't even know what that looks like nowadays. We have one Empire Knight, and that's pretty much it. 4 and 5 and 6. All right. Good luck, have fun to my opponent. Let's get this game going. Yeah, play Kislev, you'll get some wins. That's right. Just play. You need to play like easy OP factions. Probably going to be a bit of a mass Vanguard. Oh my god, what the hell are these things? Are these like Exalted Demonettes? 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 Okay. We'll happily start nailing those things. Let's pop the Power Stone to hang tight. We got grenade launchers at the ready. Let's take our wagons up and go shooting. Holy shit. Icarus just went with a straight Slanesh Demon Rush. Could be good. He's got cultists too. Yeah, but we're going to move up there. Hopefully the Sunmaker can eviscerate them. Let's pull our grenade launchers up there too. And out of the gates, we do make some decent contact. We have to make sure we don't get rampaged. We do get Furies in the backfield, so we're going to go ahead and defend, and we're going to charge them here. Cool. So that should shut that shit down, no problem. And in the meantime, let's get Toddy to go for the kill here. Wagons just do their thing, and grenade launchers back here. So yeah, we killed the Furies. There is more flanking Fury pressure coming in. So grenade launcher is going to be doing nasty, nasty damage. Toddy probably runs away here. If I get Toddy rampage, I could lose. So Acquiescence is down, and the backfield has been secured. So let's keep the Sunmaker volleys going. Yep, Empire Knights prepared and ready to go. We got you on the side for the Bunas. Let's get you back. Toddy is going to keep running. And now we do have more Furies here. So are they going to land directly on the Sunmaker? Find out on today's episode of Dragon Ball Z. Let's do this, this, and this. And we need to charge in again. Get the Spears to kind of protect him. And Toddy is back in business here. So Seekers, let's get Toddy to help out in the front. Wagon still doing it. Let's shoot these guys. Great swords are peeling. And we do have another Buna. So we're going to save that for like the Seekers when they engage here. All right. So Toddy, you keep doing your thing. Great swords move in. The Demonettes are actually a little bit scary for sure. We're going to go ahead and Buna those guys, just preemptively get it out of the way. Pull you guys around here. Grenade launchers need to go back on the side, and these Empire Knights back. And let's go ahead and get this going here. Kind of losing the duel here. I don't know why he's wavering. He shouldn't be. All right, so we do get the Buna down on those bad boys. And let's get these Empire Knights to charge them. Get you going here. Toddy to come out and help too. Wagons. Oh, he got the rampage on my dudes. That's really strong. Yeah, I might be in a little bit of trouble here, although we are going to crush those Seekers there, which is a great play. And the Wagons are still very much online. We have Great Swords in reserve. Great Swords fighting it out in the front. Let's get you going this way. And those Seekers are crumbling, so let's pull back. Keep dealing with this, and you guys can do that. Wagon shoot here. And as long as we can get like another Buna down over the course of the game, I'm going to feel pretty good. So you keep doing that. Let's get the Wizard getting in there, a little Harry Potter action. And the Wagons need to pull up. Spears do their thing. And the Sunmaker literally hasn't shot in like a minute. It's just doing God knows what here. Like I've had a free target here, but it's just not shooting, which could cost me the game. All right, so let's get here. How are we looking on the Demonettes? Okay, let's charge them with some cavalry, try and break them down. Spears come back in, and yeah, Sunmaker just is like straight up just the jankiest, shittiest line of sight I've ever seen. All right, so let's move the Sunmaker back. That could cost me the game, because it should have melted that unit by now, just shooting at it. All right, let's keep these wagons going. Toddy and company fighting on the side with the Empire Knights. Azazel coming over to party. And the wagons still effectively kiting. Let's get you guys into fight, and you guys into fight here. Wagons keep shooting, Spears move across, and Toddy and company are doing pretty good. The Demonettes should be getting crumbled down in a second. They should. All right, so I'm literally just like moving the Sunmaker to try and get it to shoot, because it's just terrible. Let's see if it can like hit these things now. Keep pulling back and get these Spears to defend it. We'll have a Buna again soon, and overall this fight does go well for us. We have Spears there, so that's good. Let's pull these Empire Knights back. Toddy can retreat a little bit. And is the Sunmaker going to finally shoot? Find out on today's episode of Dragon Ball Z. Can we win with a handicap of 1,800 gold? That's the real question. Oh my god, how is it still not shooting, dude? That's so bad. Oh my god. All right, Toddy's going to get rampaged here, but let's pull these wagons over and support our boy and just start shooting Azazel if possible. We're going to have another Buna soon. These Seekers are a little bit beat up here. We do have Great Swords still fighting in the pits. And Azazel is going to get shot. We'll see if we can get it. Do we have another Buna soon? We will. All in due time. Let's move in. Get these Great Swords to come back this way. And if we can win the duel up in the sky, maybe we can pull something. But yeah, we basically lost the game just because of the Sunmaker positioning. That's basically it. This game was definitely ours to have if that thing was functional, but it wasn't. It wasn't. All right, Toddy's, is he still rampaged? He's broken. Yeah, he's officially broken up. Great Swords are here, and yeah, we're just toast at this point. Let's just keep kiting with the wagons, see if we can support. Maybe do a little something over here. Great swords move back in. Great swords go here. And the wagons, maybe if we could snipe Azazel, I don't know. I don't think it's possible. The Sunmaker is just so weird and buggy right now. All right, let's shoot into the back of these. Pop Azazel here. Yes, get the great swords going. We'll have another Buna in a couple seconds, which we can use on the Demonettes. Come on, please shoot. Please shoot. Please. Please, for the love of Sigmar. All right, so these guys are doing it. And those are not real Demonettes, so we just need to ignore those. My opponent's finally going to realize that now they're working. Azazel is being popped in the face. Hey, look, it's shooting now. It's actually killing things. Nice. Let's take a couple shots here before it gets compromised. And Buna. These are summoned Demonettes, so we're going to say Buna for those other ones over there. Let's just keep going after Azazel. Keep you running and keep these wagons maneuvering. Keep you coming down here. And did we rip some shots? Hey, we actually hit something there. That's nice. So let's grab the crew and run away if we can. Let's just get away from that. Azazel is very, very low. He's on death's bed. Our caster is here. And do we need a Buna for these Seekers? I don't think so. So we're going to save it for the other Seekers there. All right. So wagons, one of them broke, unfortunately. One of them did pay the patrol toll. Be nice to have an old Spirit Leech now, that's for sure. Sunmaker crew might come back, actually, which would be really funny. All right. So keep it up. The CA spaghetti code always hurts ranged units. I know, dude. It's so frustrating. It's like you go into play a game like Age of Empires and like all your shit works. You're like, oh my god, what is this witchcraft? All right, let's go back on the Sunmaker. Not that it's going to do much for us, but we'll take the scraps, dude. We'll take them wherever we can get them. Wagons are good. We still have some spearmen. We don't have any chances of really killing those cultists is the big problem. They're just gonna give us the dirty. All right, so the wagons have come back. Let's shoot Azazel. If we could break him, maybe we could like get some leadership shenanigans going, right? We have a couple state troopers ready. Azazel is fleeing the scene. He's tempting something, but he's still taking HP losses. Let's get these spearmen over here. One of our wagons is rampaged. The rampaging wagon. Oh, God, dude. I didn't bring Spirit Leech. I just went pure Buna, which is probably stupid. Would be very nice for helping to finish this man off. I still have a little bit of ammo. The wagons are going to have to ram. Dude, the fact that our Sunmaker just didn't shoot pisses me off so much. God, it's just like... CA is so bad at doing that type of stuff. Oh, God. Don't make excuses for your alcohol, CA. Yeah, I know. Tell me about it. All right, let's just blast here, dude. Let's see. Can we do something? I don't know. We're gonna troll about. We do have our character here who can do a little Buna action. We're just gonna charge this, see if we can break its leadership, and get the other two to just do its thing here. Oh, another cultist summon. Okay. So we're just gonna run with you. Take fire off Will. Have you guys be sacrificed to the gods. You move this way. The dreaded wagon cycle charging. Yes. Perfect, perfect. It's an angry wagon, dude. The wagon itself, the spokes of the wagon have been overtaken by the dark gods. Okay, let's force you back. Let's keep moving. And in the meantime, Azazel's just doing his thing. We can just move back this way, I guess, and just try and shoot into the cultists, although it's gonna be hard. We could ram them. Do we have our battle wagon? Oh, we do have the spears coming. How long till these guys are gone? 28 seconds? Yeah, we might as well attack here. Azazel's running for the hills. Let's get our battle wagons to just Ramstein. Are we going to even have enough for another Buna? We will eventually, yeah. Oh, battle wagons all day, baby. All right, let's take fire at will off. Dude, the dreaded wagon cycle charging. Renowned across the realm. Unstoppable. Well, the rocket battery was behind a hill, but they have great arcs of fire. They normally, GG, well played. They normally don't have any issues shooting over, but that just straight up cost us the game. Let me message my opponent. Icarus, I'm going to say GG. Cursed thing, well played. There we go. All right. So now we should be in the next round. And let's get this going. All right. So where are we? Where's the brackets? Is everybody done? Oh, there's still one game going. There's still one. We got ye old Big JP versus Catholic here. It must be a titanic duel of fates to be going down in this way. A huge, huge duel of fates. It was weird, for sure. Yeah, dude, that was such a bummer. We could have had like 3 or 4 more units just straight up dead if that thing had shot. I suspect the finals match could be laggy. Oh god, I hope not, dude. I think like every time I have to cast a laggy Total War game, it crushes. Like I think I age like half a year. You know. Empire is really good. Empire's solid. They're like a really good faction. If you play like meta Empire, they can definitely do it. But like Empire runs into some hard roadblocks. Cathay and Dwarves are like such hard counters against them that you just are gonna have such a bad time. All right, let's go here. Let's see. Where is the last match? Is it reported? It's probably lagging, I would imagine. Hey, Josh, I'm glad to hear it, man. Age of Empires 4 is a great game. It's really nice. It's nice to cover a game that's actually like doesn't have that many bugs and things work and you know all that stuff. Oh god. The worst is when you try and have like shooting like I mean the Hellstorm rocket battery usually can shoot. That was a little bit of a weird one, but yeah, there's just like powder in general is just so janky and weird. Like you'll have a unit and just like partially line of sighted and the whole unit won't shoot. It's very weird. Yeah, I'm excited for the Age of Wonders 4. I really am. Stormgate isn't coming out for a while, I don't think. I know they're doing like what, alpha or beta, probably alpha testing now. It's like pretty early, so I would suspect it's still going to be some time. Still going to be some time. They're lagging heavily. So I suspect it would be what was I going to say? Yeah, maybe. I know Big JP was lagging in our game earlier, so yeah, I don't know if we have to put some sort of a rule in about lag. It's hard to tell who it is. You know, there's no like real way of checking that. I've played against Catholic many times in tournaments and have had pretty good success with the connection. He's in Germany. I think he's got pretty good internet. By the way, let's show you guys the leaderboard for the season. So this is the current Total Tavern leaderboard. Tim the Wilder is our number one ranked player with an 88% win rate. Absolutely savage. Ghoul Baby, number 2, 67% win rate. Very good also. Getting a lot of games in. A lot of games there. House Cat of War is number 3. Serkia, number 4. Catholic, number 5. Hadri is number 6 at the moment. Berserk, number 7. Noctrum, who is the Bretonian player we casted earlier, currently rocking number 8. Grombrindle, number 9. Leechlord, number 10. I'm sitting at number 11. Sleepy Lion, Platypus, and I have no idea how to say that. I think it's like bear. And Reginald and Outer Region. Oh, Outer Region started playing again, huh? I know he was like taking a bit of a break from the game. Yeah, I think he was taking a bit of a break from the game. Okay, are they done with their match? I don't know exactly when we started the timer here. Good internet in Germany. How is the internet in your respective countries? So let me know where you're from in chat and like if your internet in your country is good or bad. I'd be curious to see some opinions on this, like on average. Darlin, thank you. Just something, yeah, just like a drink, like a Spindrift or something would be nice. Thank you so much, Darlin. And yeah, the little potato salad thing, if they have it, is always good. Thank you, Darlin. Really appreciate it. I'm the top 10 gatekeeper. I haven't been playing in tournaments lately, though. I haven't. Something happened with my hand. I don't know what. It's really been acted up on me. So House Cat of War has won his game. So House Cat is undefeated. And we'll see. All right. Thank you, Darlin. East Coast US depends entirely. Yeah, East Coast is pretty good. Spain, it's good. It's great if in the country of Texas. Greece, 100 up, 10 down. That's actually not bad. The down, 100 down, 10 up. 10 up isn't too good, but it's not bad either. I always had pretty top tier internet in Western Canada. Nice. Swiss, it's very good. Canada, good but expensive. Oh yeah, just anything you think, darling. Anything you think. Don't be shy. Greece is nice and speedy in the capital. Outside the capital, it's harder to find good connections. Yeah. Greece terrible, Netherlands great. Yeah. All right. So let's see what's up. Check it out. Where are we at? See how the round's looking. Being held up by one player. Yeah, Alabama, it's pretty solid. 9 times out of 10. That's nice. Yeah. I live in a mountain village, and we actually have pretty good internet here as well. So are they lagging super bad? I just shot him a message to see. If he responds to me while he's in game, that usually means that there's really big lag. It's just like, you know, basically a slideshow. Garrett, thank you for the $5. Always enjoyable to catch the games live and trying to get decent with Cathay. Yonbo's good, yeah. Yonbo is really good. Cathay is a solid faction right now. Like, very good. Very, very good. Crowmen are just disgustingly strong, and they have great lords, great magic, good infantry. Not great killing power in infantry, but the other units on the roster certainly fulfill that for you, so. Juanbo, yeah. Yeah, as well. I get terrible reception in the middle of the Mediterranean. Yeah, I would imagine so. Honestly, when we were in Poland, we had good internet for sure. Can always call a draw if the time runs out. I know. I don't quite remember when we started the last round. Let me see. I'm going to check right now. I think I made a post. So I said at 3:45. Yeah, so technically they have 4 minutes left in the round timer. Yeah, they got 4 minutes left. It's a competitive slideshow, I know. Just pure suffering. Maybe there's we can brainstorm this a little bit in chat. What are some methods which we could check people's internet, and see like if that's like, I guess since it's peer-to-peer, is there a way to like check somebody's raw internet? I don't know. Like have some sort of a requirement. Like, cause it's, the thing is if you join a tournament, you have bad internet, you're wasting so many people's time. There's so many people waiting on you and it's rough, Interesting, RK. Interesting. Chattanooga, Tennessee, internet is amazing. Oh, it's one of the cities. Yeah, it has the like Google Fiber type internet. Yeah, that's pretty big. That's pretty big. Okay. So I would imagine. Yeah, I messaged the guys that we're waiting for. Let's see what he says. Got 2 minutes. All right. So I just gave him a 2-minute warning. Let's see if they can get it done. And then I will message the other player. He says they're lagging, but finish soon, I hope. I'm going to get to the bottom of this for sure. I believe it or not, I live in South Dakota and I have 70. Yeah, that's pretty good. That's good. 750 down is not bad. Upload is what's really important for streaming. Like if you have bad upload speed, you just can't stream. Yeah. 1,000 down, 100 up in England. Yeah, that's actually pretty good internet. That's solid. That's very solid. Yeah, it's weird. Like I lived in Los Angeles and we didn't like, you would think LA would be a city that would have like fiber infrastructure, but I would be willing to bet that like some just awful, miserable, like, lobbying took place from like these like shitty internet providers to like keep fiber out of California. Like I would put money on that. You better watch out for my massive ping. I know, 9,000 ping. The dreaded lag switches in Total War. There's been conspiracies that in Total War Warhammer, when people started losing or getting out micro, they purposely lag the game so they can slow things down. Like the Matrix. Yeah, I don't know. Could be. All right. 1 minute. 1 minute warning. All right. So I gave the players a little bit of a warning. Let's see what's going to be going down here. I believe we started just after, so technically they would have like 2 minutes, but yeah, we will see what they do. Okay, did they finish? Come on, baby. Let's get it. It did turn, yeah, fellow LA resident. Yeah, I don't know what it was. It must have been something like that. Yeah, and when I was in Los Angeles, dude, it was just the worst. I don't live there anymore, but like I live in a rural mountain village, and the internet's better here than it was in LA, which is wild. Great. All right. All right. So we have gotten it. They just barely entered the score. Let's get it, man. Okay, so let's get this. And let's get the next round going. Looks like everybody entered their score. So here we are, baby, finally. This is round 4, so this is the final round of regulation. Yeah, it's the final round of regulation. Yep, that's what it's going to be. Okay, so Subutai versus Ghoul could be a fun matchup. What is Subutai playing today? We could cast one of his games. That's actually like a battle for, although we did see Ghouls on Slanesh, so we already saw one of their games. So let's cast something different. All right. Perfect. And whose game do we want to cast? We have Serakia versus Hadries. Noctrum versus Housecat of War could be an interesting one. Let's do that. I'm going to cast that game. We'll cast your spec slot, please. All right. Oh, yeah. I feel like LA's infrastructure is awful. It's like... And there's so many things, you know, I assume it's like this in most countries, but in America, we have a lot of like lobbying interests. So like there will be more optimal services and opportunities for the American people in terms of infrastructure, technology, medicine, whatever, right? There's more efficient ways of doing it all, but these huge corporate entities, whether it's like, you know, pharmaceutical or, you know, like monopoly of internet providers and service providers, they will just crush opposition with lobbying and money. So like you're just stuck in the potato age. That's why oftentimes you see like in more rural areas, there's a bunch of cities in smaller states where we've seen like a lot of infrastructure upgrades with internet, but California just gets karate chopped by that. Yeah, it sucks. It sucks. All right, so let's get this. Let's find the lobby. Join it up here. What's Pwn Dog saying to me? Oh my God, Pwn just sent me a really funny message. All right, hold on a sec. So let me go ahead and find the lobby we're going to get into first. Okay, spec slot's going to be 1, 2, 3, and here we go. All right. Oh my God. Let's see what he's gonna do. Yeah. All right. So Pwn ended up having to play the guy who was lagging really bad, and he just dropped instead of having to suffer through that. Oh my God, because he has no way of making the top 4 anyway, so he's just gonna chill and watch. That's actually really funny. Oh my God. Okay. All right, let's see here. So let's do this, and all right, so we're gonna do that, and let's do the drop. Hey Will, thank you for the donation. Have you ever played? No, I haven't. No, I haven't played that at all. Kind of janky, but middle ground between Total War and Company of Heroes. I have not played it. I have not. All right. All right. Let's see. Okay, perfect. So here we are. I was accidentally showing the build. It's all good. We got Nocturne versus Housecat of War, a classic one, guys. It's going to be Warriors of Chaos versus Bretonnia. Let's get it. Let's go. Yeah, sorry. It's fine. We needed a blocker, but Housecat wouldn't cheat anyways. Yeah, Housecat is a very, very, you know, high integrity player. I've talked to him quite a bit. He would never cheat, but just to be safe, we'll do that. Neither had a chance. Yeah, it's not 4 really. Okay, there we are. And here we go. Just showing the build for the whole world to see. I know, I apologize. It should be fine. The players, Housecat would not cheat. I'm pretty sure Housecat's in Discord with all of his clanmates right now anyway, so yeah, they would that would not go down. I live in the southern U.S. in Indiana, and I don't have internet. The only option here is satellite. Oh yeah, that's tough. That's tough. But are you just going off cell reception to chat, Christopher? Yeah, could be. All right. Yes. First game. All right, cool. And let's keep the good times rolling, man. Warriors of Chaos versus Bretonnia. Foot Squire is very good here. You need him, at least in reserve, to deal with Severed Claw. Severed Claw is amazing against Bretonnia. Fey Enchantress is an option here too, but it seems like Noctrim is more of a Lewin man. It seems like he likes his King Louis, so I suspect that that's what we're going to be seeing going forward here. Did you know that New York always seems... Let's see. Yeah, I didn't know that, RK. Yeah, it's interesting. Thought we were watching Scooby-Doo. No, not today. Not today, no Scooby-Doo here. Yeah, what would I bring here against Chaos? I'd probably go Fey, double Paladin, with like 3 Foot Squires, a Grail Relique, Peasant, Spearman, Chaff units. Although Lewin is really good because he can kill Festus. So if Chaos comes in with Festus, you know, he can fly overhead and like torment him, and he can also chase down Soul Grinders. Soul Grinders of Nurgle are not bad in this matchup, so maybe Lewin is actually the more optimal way. The more I think about the matchup, the more I'm starting to kind of think about that. Yeah, probably a Lewin pick. We'll see. Noctrim was very good with Lewin earlier in that game, so... Oh, it's going to be Fey. Okay, my initial assessment was closer. And it's going to be the dreaded double Mortis engine. So we have Festus the Leech Lord, as well as a Mutalith Beast. Festus is going to be healing the Beast, and a Burning Headcaster, which is very good against Bretonnia. You basically just cast Burning Heads, and you toast down all the Men-at-Arms and Haggard Infantry and all sorts of stuff like that. This map wouldn't be good for 4 Blessed Trebsbone. There's too many trees, and on the sides you have these like little neat like kind of nooks and crannies where you can hide behind the tree line there. So yeah, it's good. Let's go, baby. Oh, Screen Blocker. Yes, of course. I was getting all hyped talking about the army there, but there you go. Now we can see it. Okay, ladies and gentlemen, here we are. It's going to be the Warriors of Chaos coming in rocking... no surprise, Chaos Warriors. Chaos Warriors are a solid heavy infantry unit. They're pretty well priced at 750 gold. It's going to be Chaos Warriors, including 1 Hellscourge Warrior. Festus is just going to be there for his support. He's not going to be the caster, so he just has the Mortis Engine and the Healing Aura, which is very good, actually. We got a Chaos Sorcerer with a Manticore on fire. Yeah, Firecaster. Okay. So flying, burning heads, terror routes, a good enough fighter to maybe disrupt a paladin depending on the situation. So that's pretty rad. And then one of the most OP monsters in the game, which is the Mutalith Vortex Beast. This thing is insane. It should cost 2,300 gold. It has no weaknesses. It's literally good against everything, large and infantry, because of its Mortis Engine. So yeah. Pretty cool. Good Chaos Army. Certainly going to be tough for Bretonnia to crack without Foot Squires. Now, looking at Bretonnia, they are going to have a full front line of Men-at-Arms with Grail Reliques, Peasant Archers in the back, a single Blessed Trebuchet to shoot into the Chaos Warriors. And honestly, Chaos doesn't really have too many methods with which to compromise a Blessed Trebuchet unless Noctrim really messes up the control, right? Because if you try and get back there with Poison Hounds, they can call in a Yeoman, they can call in a Knight of the Realm, Knights Errant, whatever, and they're going to be able to shut down the Hound play. So Bretonnia is pretty good at defending its backfield against Chaos. The best way Chaos can get to the backfield is by pushing straight through, usually. But yeah, Fey Enchantress, double Paladin, Goon Squad's really good. The Paladins can at least put up a fight against a Mutalith Beast. And very, very lucky for the forces of Noctrim here is the fact that Housecat did not bring healing in the form of Fleshy Abundance for the Mutalith Beast. Festus can heal it with his aura, but there's no big fat, healing or anything like that. One sec, guys. Just gonna open a window real quick. It's getting real sweaty in here, guys. It's getting real sweaty. All right. Yeah, it's a really cool map. This is the Arachnarok Lair. We got 3 objectives. It's kind of like Itza in some ways. I think it's a little bit bigger than Itza, maybe. No, it's about the same size. But the difference being is that it has some terrain, so factions can hide from gun lines. They can hide from shooting. Over here, for example, they can move in and be obstructed from the archers as well as the trebuchets. It's a very good map, very well balanced. I like this one. I think this would be a good one to add to the core game. By the way, quick update. That's something I've been working on. I've been trying to work with CA on getting maps added to the game, and there's been some progress. So I think it could happen in some of the next patches. We could get like a handful of maps added up there. So could be fun. Could be fun indeed. All right, so the battle is on, and in the backfield, more Peasant Archers coming in, which makes sense. When you see a big, scary Mutalith Beast, you're going to want bows to shoot that thing down. And Fey Enchantress is pretty good against Mass Infantry, too, for 2 reasons. 3, actually. Chalice of Potions, Dwellers Below, as well as the Mortis Engine that she carries, which is the Mist of the Lady, which is 8 to 16. It's not a bad Mortis Engine. It's not the strongest, it's not the weakest, it's somewhere in the middle. Festus, for example, is 12 to 24. She's 8 to 16. But she is faster, right? So she can kind of be all over the battlefield a little bit better than your boy Festus can. Going for freebies here. I really like that. It's going to be the Fey Enchantress and the 2 Paladins coming to punish some of these Marauders. The heroes of the old world united against the haggard Northern Barbarians. I'm kind of sick of looking at Marauders, honestly. I'm building a Chaos Army in tabletop right now, and I just finished painting like 15 Marauders. It's just suffering. Oh god, just like painting those like hordes of infantry. Like, I don't know how you Skaven players do it, man. It's just so much. Although I suppose Skaven are a little bit simpler, huh? Trebuchet is shooting into the tree line. Chaos is just going to wait for the objectives to open up before they push. We do get Armored Chaos Trolls coming out. So the Armored Chaos Trolls are pretty damn good against Bretonnia. They'll bash Foot Squires. They'll bash a lot of the Bretonian heavy cavalry in a straight-up fight, unless they just eat a huge charge, for example, in open field. So I do like the Armored Chaos Trolls, and of course they do have healing as well. So Sam asking, is Bretonnia underwhelming? No, Bretonnia is a very solid competitive faction. They're not like top tier, but they're very well balanced. Bretonnia is like good. Where they are is I would say great. Burning Head, going to be roasting some of the peasants here. So it's going to be, taking a very unfortunate turn. That was. It still gets them down to half health, but that Burning Head could have actually done a lot more damage. And look at this. Oh man, the Chaos Sorcerer getting caught by the dreaded Pegasus Knights. Up in the sky, the Knights of Bretonnia, they will be your shield, as this Chaos Sorcerer is going to be attempting to land on the ground to try and get some support. But man, if that Chaos Sorcerer gets routed this early in the game, that is going to be a huge, huge loss. A huge, huge loss. So here, these guys force back. The Fey Enchantress and the Paladins running away from the Mutalith Beast and the Trolls, which makes complete sense. And the Chaos Sorcerer does get brought down to about 60% of his health, which is a very, very good start for the lady. Bottom objective being held by a lot of Bretonians, but ironically, this is only like 600 gold worth of units. It's about, now, 1, 2, 3, plus 250. Oh, there was shields. So okay, it's about 800 worth of units there, but... The big fighting on this map is going to be in the center. So there's going to be a big Mortal Kombat in the center. For Bretonnia, it's going to be supremely, supremely important to keep those peasant archers alive and make sure they can continue putting pressure on not only the Mutalith Beast, but also the Trolls. And we do get the Trolls overextending a little bit. This would be a good opportunity for Noctrum to turn around and bash those Trolls with the Paladins and the Fey Enchantress. But it looks like he's going to be eating a charge a little bit here. Peasant archers are on the run. And where are the Knights of the Realm? Where are the heavy cavalry to stop this? A Knight of the Realm would squash these Trolls in open field if they could find their way, but it seems like Noctrum just called in a bunch of infantry, and there's no heavy cav to be seen out of reserve, which is very weird. Like, one Troll is basically routing back all these archers. I guess we do have the Pegasus Knight, so the Pegasus Knight's going to descend, and they get a big surround. The Pegasus Knights get a perfect surround on that unit right there. That guy is having a bad time. The Pegasus Knights probably going to get a kill on the Chaos Sorcerer here, which is going to be a huge setback for House God of War, who I believe is one of our top-ranked players in the leaderboard right now, sitting at, like, I think in the top 3. Mutalith Beast has made its way to the middle objective and is going to be a nasty, nasty Mortis Engine. Lots of peasants on their way in, and the Chaos Sorcerer is officially broken, so that is a big grab right there. No heavy cavalry coming in from reserve. Very, very strange. Letting the heavy Trolls kind of just troll around in the backfield, but it looks like the Pegasus Knights are going to be able to clean them up. Fey Enchantress and her Paladins going to be heading to do battle with the Mutalith Vortex Beast, while the Fey Enchantress over here lends her Mortis Engine against the Chaos Warriors, and certainly is going to do a little bit of draining against them. 2 Paladins of Bretonnia going after the Muty Beast, which is being buffed by the healing elixirs, so that's very, very good. It's going to be healing 0.10, so that's a pretty fat heal, but nonetheless, the Paladins in tandem with some of the Peasant Archers who've come back online. So what we have here is a really, really nice position of Peasant Archers who are shooting up and into the old beast. With the Paladin supporting, that's incredibly cost-effective. And we do see Noctrum definitely pulling ahead in this game, doing the lady proud. Knights of the Realm called in, no Grail Knights. So Noctrum seems to really, really like to use Grail Knights, which is cool. And yeah, they're going to rout and kill these Trolls. And the Pegasus Knights are actually doing really good. I mean, the Pegasus Knights arguably may have won Bretonnia the game by killing that Firecaster. Oh no, but it came back. He didn't chase it off, so the Firecaster's back. Burning Head going down. Roast the Archers. Nice recovery by House God of War. Side objective just barely being held by the Peasant Hordes, but now we got some Hellscourge Warriors coming down here. Certainly going to be putting some hurt on them. Fey Enchantress still Mortis Engineering down in the middle, but a little bit isolated. Mutalith Beast slightly beat up here. 2 Paladins slightly compromised here by the Trolls and Festus, but are going to be getting a nice Earthblood there to keep them fighting. Fey Enchantress better be careful, though. The Mutalith Beast kind of eyeing the prize here. Looks like it wants to come over and maybe go after the Beast. Who knows? Grail Knights circling about, going to be intercepting. Oh, Knights of the Brazen Throne versus Grail Knights. That's metal. Look at that. Big cav charge as those 2 armies collide. That's really, really cool looking. And the Knights of the Brazen Throne probably going to lose that. I mean, I don't know. They have a charge bonus of 105. But, yeah, I don't know. Grail Knights so far performing. Their anti-large bonus is no joke. Grail Knights are one of the scariest anti-large cavalry units in the game. But, yeah, Knights of the Brazen Throne not doing badly. Those Skull Crushers of Khorne. They have huge AP values, high weapon strength, and the Grail Knights are currently poisoned. So that's going to be giving the Knights of the Brazen Throne probably a slight edge in that dueling situation. On the side objective here, Pegasus Knights once again chasing down the Fire Sorcerer. It's shaken and stirred at about 900 HP, and the Pegasus Knights might be able to get in there and finish them off. 800 HP, 700, a lot of damage coming in, and it looks like this is going to be the end of the road for that Fire Sorcerer. So Pegasus Knights, who would have thought that they would be solid here, huh? In the backfield, another unit of Grail Knights called out. Grail Knights going to hammer the Knights of the Brazen Throne with the other Grail Knights. So now there's 2 Grail Knights on the field, but the Mutalith Beast is back here. He's pissed, and he's going to Mortis Engine down a lot of these units. What Bretonnia really needs to do is they need to get their Paladins away. They need to get them up and around and come help finish off this Beast. Because if this Beast and the Knights of the Brazen Throne are able to fight together, that's going to be really, really bad. Although Peasant Archers have somehow found a position to fire from, and they are getting good DPS into the Mutalith Beast, who's steady, but just barely. 3,000 HP, plenty of anti-large nearby, but Chaos Warriors with Hell Scourges are providing some buffering, so if you really zoom in, the Chaos Warriors are holding the Grail Knights at bay and making sure they can't get us around. Mutalith Beast at about 2,000 HP. It does get on top of the Archers, and the Grail Knights are going to have to find a way out. They're going to have to move like up and around. So currently Bretonnia is up on value, but Chaos is certainly holding the points pretty well with their durable infantry. Chaos has really forced Bretonnia to fight in the backfields. Mutalith Beast probably sitting at about 3,000 value right now, I would guess. Oh, no, only 1,300. Wow, a little bit. Oh, big Chalice of Potions with the Steel Chair. Nuking those Chaos Warriors in the middle. Brutal. Negative 31. They're going to be turning and running. And now the Paladins and the Fey Enchantress might find a way to go in. And look at that. Pegasus Knights in the distance going to be closing in to go after the Mutalith Vortex Beast. And they do have anti-large. They could definitely finish it off if they get a good engagement there. They do get a couple attacks, 1,800 HP. Paladins need to kill that Mutalith Beast. The longer the Mortis Engine is online, the worse the game is going to be for the lady. So here we see it shaken. It is being healed by Festus, doing battle with the Fey Enchantress right now. Grail Knights and Pegasus Knights, a little bit tied up back here, but it looks like Noctrim has managed to rally some of the Grail Knights, who probably will come across and go after the Mutalith Vortex Beast. Objective play, middle looks like Bretonnia has a slight chance of retaking it. On the side, Bretonnia is fighting for it, but the Chaos Warriors and Marauders obviously are going to be defeating the Bretonnian infantry. Bretonnia should not be winning the infantry fight against Chaos. And the Pegasus Knights got the Firecaster off. Big hammering charge against those Chaos Warriors. Muty Beast at 500, you got to finish it off. Because if you don't finish off this Mutalith Beast, Chaos is going to rally it. They're going to sit it next to Festus, and they're going to heal it. And then suddenly it's a huge threat you got to deal with, right? 300 HP, 200 HP. It's got 199. It's probably going to shatter here. Muty Beast's going to be going down to the stinky arrows of the Bretonnian archers, and it falls back into the warp from whence it came. GG, well played. Really, really cool death animation. Yeah. It's funny. Total War is like, every time you get like upset about how janky the mechanics are, you see cool shit like those animations and like Grail Knights charging the Skull Crushers, and you're like, oh, hell yeah, it's awesome. It's like such a love-hate relationship, you know what I'm saying? It really is. And honestly, Bretonnia is probably going to win the game now. Mutalith Beast is down. Festus being bullied by the Fey Enchantress and the Paladins. Her Mortis Engine still very much viable. Bretonnia going to be wrestling the middle objective back. And Noctrim is certainly on a mission today. And one thing I'm very shocked we didn't see here is the Severed Claw. Severed Claw is hands down one of your best assets against Bretonnia. Mortis Engines don't do anything against it, and it dominates most of the Bretonnian cavalry in combat. But overall here, Festus the Leech Lord is going to be shattered. Chaos is going to be leaderless. And now the fully erect Grail Knights of Bretonnia are going to just absolutely annihilate these trolls. The Grail Knights do, of course, have the charge order. They're going to be going after these bad boys. You can see they're zeroed in. Yeoman also going to be riding with the Mighty Paladins. It must be a pretty epic moment for them. And the Grail Knights get in there, and these trolls are going to fold like a piece of paper. So there they go. And we do see ye old Chaos Armored Trolls sitting at 8 leadership there, so they're going to be going down. Middle objective is probably going to be taken by Bretonnia here. They do have the Grail Relique, the Paladin, as well as some Spearmen. And now Bretonnia basically just needs to methodically fight on the points and get their way back. You know, it's weird. This Bretonnian player has a very different playstyle. He likes to use chaff infantry. Like, I would lean very heavily into Foot Squires against, like, Chaos Warrior type things, but he just uses the Grail Knights and, you know, some of the other units. And also, he makes Pegasus Knights look really good. Like, the Pegasus Knights arguably won him this game to a large extent. They did kill the Firecaster. They took care of several Armored Chaos Trolls, which was really cool. And Questing Knights here will be pretty good at clearing off the objective. Questing Knights are excellent at killing Chaos Warriors. They have good armor piercing and a nice little charge bonus there. So this objective is going to flip. Side objective, or middle objective is going to flip. And this one is also in danger of flipping as the Grail Knights basically just annihilating everything in their path. Yeoman coming in, Men-at-Arms going to be heading to the objective. And the Fey Enchantress is going to be an excellent tool for running around and just mortis engineering and draining all these bad boys down. Yep, see this one's flipping. A couple of Chaos Infantry are going to be trying to get there out of desperation, but they're just going to be being fed to the lady. We just see all these. Look at all the Bretonnian Knights just swarming. Double Grail Knight. Talk about overkill on Marauders, right? And the Grail Knights are like, they're not even worth our time. Let's leave them to the Questing Knights. So the Questing Knights going to be earning their stripes here as they cut these units down. And the Grail Knight's going to be heading over and across. Mounted Yeoman starting to flip that point. Very, very close. Obviously, Chaos does have a point lead, but it's not going to matter at this point. It's a triple cap, and Chaos is never going to be able to field a big enough army to come back. And Bretonnia has been doing a ton of healing this game, too, with Earthbloods. So that's another variable to take into account. I'm surprised House Cat of War hasn't left the game yet. I mean, Bretonnia pretty much has full battlefield control. This one's looking very over. House Cat of War still may make it to the top 4, maybe. But, yeah, it depends on his tiebreakers, which should be pretty good, considering Noctrim has gone undefeated. So that's going to be a nice tiebreaker for him. So, dude, so cool seeing Grail Knights back. Like, Grail Knights are balanced now. They're expensive, elite, and if they're microed well, they do their thing. They're one of the coolest units to see in execution. Chaos moving up with Knights of the Brazen Throne again. I don't know what they think they're going to get done. The Questing Knights and Paladins will take them down. So GG, well played. Bretonnia going to be claiming victory. Noctrim for the lady. Very cool stuff. You know, Games Workshop just showed all the cool Bretonnian models, and now we get to see them in action here. So very neat indeed. All right, so let's look it up here. Look at the value for these bad boys. Mutalith Beast held the 1700 value. Firecaster taken down early was a big loss as well. Knights of the Brazen Throne, an interesting pick. I feel like they could be good against Bretonnia if you had healing for them, like a Fleshy Abundance. But as it currently was, they didn't feel too crazy. I mean, they did get 1300. They did. So Enchantress was a raid boss. Chalice of Potions, Dwellers, Paladins did really good. Grail Knights came in for the lady and did awesome. 1900, 2400. Pegasus Knights at 2000 value, dude. He just made all of his centerpieces work super hard. Yeah, Wyatt, we were looking at those models earlier on stream. They're really good. All right. So let's go to the old brackets and see how we're looking. House Cat of War will likely still make top 4. Likely will. All right, all right. So here we are. And a couple people still have to finish. So let's look here. So Noctrim defeats House Cat of War. Serkia and Hadri still playing. Bear has defeated Prepare for the Bear. Icarus has defeated Jeff Bob. Waterbeds has defeated Stormrunner. And Pink has defeated for Poland. And then on the bottom, we do have Honey, was able to win over the Kite. And yeah, looking like a handful of games still wrapping up here. Looking at the current leaderboard, Noctrim is definitely going to be going to top 4 with Bretonnia. House Cat of War likely still to get there. He has an excellent tiebreaker. Because, you know, he played hard opponents and only then lost to a really highly ranked opponent. So his tiebreaker is going to be pretty good. So the Warriors of Chaos will still be there. Hadri's likely will have a good chance. Who's he playing? Yeah, Hadri's tiebreaker will actually be 12. So his tiebreaker might even be better than House Cat's. And yeah, Bear is probably not going to make it simply because he's 3-1 and his tiebreaker isn't that crazy. How's Bretonnia doing anyways this season? Yeah, Bretonnia is like balanced. Like 52% is great. They have good matchups. They have bad matchups. Like, you know, it's good to see. It's good to see. All right. Good times indeed. That was my favorite Bretonnian build I've seen in a while. Turn. What do you think holds back Grail Guardians? Grail Guardians. I think it's just the damage output, really. Because the Lance formation really benefits charging. And like charge impact, it does a lot of damage, right? So Grail Knights just really reward your micro more. Grail Guardians are not a bad unit per se. They could use a cost reduction, probably. I don't know. Let me look. They should cost the same, basically, I think. So let me go to Bretonnia for the lady. Yeah, so Grail Guardians should cost the same as Grail Knights. Yeah, so these guys are better in sustained combat. But Grail Knights, man, that charge bonus and anti-large is such a valuable stat, you know? And Grail Knights still do kill infantry well, too. It's kind of a tricky situation. Plus, Grail Guardians have a lower model count, which I guess helps with, like, percentage-based healing. Yeah, Grail Knights, just that charging is so good. And the anti-large bonus, it's too much. Why does Bretonnia struggle against Tzeentch? Because of Mutalith Beast with Kairos. It's really nasty. And Screamers. Because Tzeentch has many things, right? So if you're in, like, a Dom game... Right, let me like just come up with a build real quick. So we'll do that. Mirror Madness, forgot that existed. No, I'm not actually playing a land battle, so don't join this right now. We're going to be getting to the top 4 soon. So I don't play Tzeentch, but if I were to play Tzeentch against Bretonnia, like you probably go with Kairos, okay? You go with just Blue Fire and Regrowth. You would want to bring probably this, and as far as his abilities go, they're all pretty good. Yeah, they're all pretty good. So yeah, you bring Kairos, you bring a Mutalith Beasts, and then you can just go with a couple of Marauders in the front, and then bring Zangors, and then from here, yeah, we just go like something like this. You could just spam out Screamers, because Screamers wreck Bretonian Cavalry. You just get like 4 of those, including these guys to kill the light infantry. That's like really hard. You would want a couple of these, probably get another Zangor in reserve, a couple Marauder Spears. Like this already feels like a really strong build against Bretonnia, like very strong. You could even cut this, go Marauder Spear and something else, but yeah, you probably just want like the Zangors here. Like this is nasty. This is nasty. Domingo, your opponent dropped out. Who's your opponent? You need to message me in Discord. Shoot me a direct message in ye old Discord if you could. I don't see anything from you, so let me know the details and we will get it. Did you get your first win? Or did they just no-show? Hopefully it was your first win, my friend. I'm looking in the tournament. I don't see anybody that drops. Are you Love Guru down there? Shoot me a message and let me know the circumstances and I'll take care of it. Yeah, Grail Guardians are still a good unit though. Like I think Grail Guardians could surprise people. Yes, I did see the Byzantine reveal. I'm super excited. But the Holy Roman Empire is always going to be my favorite faction. I just think they're so cool and so thematic. Yeah, they're fun. I need to do an Age of Empires tournament too. That'd be fun. Warhammer, no, we have bugs in this game that have been there since Warhammer 2. Yeah, Warhammer 2 is like a beautiful disaster. It's like one of the best looking games with some of the coolest engagements and like units, but it just does have a little bit of a janky unit coding for sure. It's all right. Sounds good. So, all right. You're welcome. Hit me up if you have build questions. All right, so just had to do a little bit of admin work. Looks like that should work out. And over here, we have 2 games yet to finish. We have Subutai versus Ghoul Baby, duking it out for all the marbles, and then Catholic versus Stingers. Some heavyweight matches. So High Elves versus Dark Elves, and Subutai, I think, was he playing Cathay today? He might have switched to something else. Versus Tzeentch. I think Ghoul's playing Tzeentch. Noctrim is our top-ranked player, and Serkia. So we have Wood Elves in Bretonnia. How cool is that? It's like awesome seeing the faction diversity shine, you know? No, Gensitz, I'm not an aggressive player in RTS games. I'm more of a defensive counterpunching player. Like if you watch how I play this game, like when I really want to win, I go Sweaty Empire, and I like to lure people in and then counterpunch them. I usually, although I do play Chaos too. I prefer to counterpunch though. Yeah, I like that more. That's why I like Holy Roman Empire. You go castle, you gather relics, you defend yourself, and then you just get rich and push back. It's very fun. House Cat of War for sure is probably going to make it. We'll see. It could change. Hadri's at a tiebreaker of 10. Hadri's likely to make it. So Dark Elves, Wood Elves, Bretonnia, and Chaos. It's a nice range of factions. Completely different. But I believe Ghoul's lost the game. So Ghoul is here with a tiebreaker of 8. So beating Subutai would give him a tiebreaker additional of, I think, if he wins 2. Yeah. So that would put Ghoul's tied with Hadri's, and then Ghouls would be higher on the leaderboard, so Ghouls would take that spot. Subutai, on the other hand, basically has no chance of making top 4, as far as I can tell. And then the other matchup is going to be Catholic and Stingers. So Catholic is currently here. Catholic would go up to 10. It depends on their leaderboard position, because the way tiebreakers work is it's obviously it's your overall score followed by your opponents, the combined record of all your opponents. And then if you still have more ties after that, we reward people for being high on the leaderboard. Because if you're putting in the reps, you're winning tournaments, that is, I think, good. And obviously we're limited by what we can do on Total Tavern. We don't have like an ELO system or anything like that, which obviously would be nice, but it's Like I spent a lot of money getting this website set up, so we're chilling now. We're good. Maybe if CA puts in some more effort, you know, I'll do something like that, but I don't think that's going to happen. Have they nerfed ogres yet? Right. Who's the best player right now, in my opinion? I mean, the leaderboard, he hasn't been playing as much, but I mean, I think it's safe to say Houseplant is probably one of the GOATs, like, of Warhammer 3. Like, Houseplant has won pretty much all the season finals. Like, not all of them. He lost a couple in the early days to, like, Void Laws. And, you know, Void Laws, yeah, it was Void Laws. But ever since Void Laws stopped playing, basically, and, you know, obviously was caught cheating, Houseplant's been pretty much dominating. He hasn't played too much this season. Houseplant usually lurks in the shadows, and then he'll just come in at the end of the season and win like 4 tournaments, and then he qualifies. Yeah, Professor Pone is probably the right answer, though. Just hands down the best player. If we go to the dreaded Professor Pone profile, you guys ready to see the profile of the gods? Here it comes. Oh, it's not loading. I guess we can't check it. Here we go. The Dark Lord himself. Look at him, dude. He's lurking. He's always in the wings. He's always in the wings. All right. So let's check it out here. Do this. Don't need it. Yeah, well, yes, Adam, yes. It was smurfing on multiple accounts. So basically, I'll explain this really quickly, but I'll give you guys the details. So basically, he was playing on 2 accounts, and he would get 2 accounts ranked to the top of the leaderboard because he was that good. And then when a season finals would come around, which had money involved, he would enter both of those accounts in the season finals pretending to be different people. And he would play on both accounts during the season finals to give himself the maximum chance of winning this prize money. So he would lose on one account, and then, you know, he'd make an excuse for the other one, being like, oh, I have to go to the store or something, to delay the other game. And then he would just jump onto the other account if he lost on his one. Or he would have a friend jump in and play for him on that account who was also a very good player. So that's pretty much it. But yeah, it was unfortunate. It was unfortunate. But he didn't need to do it. Like, he was one of the best players of all time. Like, super good. Like, terrifying opponent. But, you know, some people just, you know, can't help themselves. It's a shame. He was such a good player. Like, I used to love watching him. All right, so we got our top 4. Let's check it out. And it looks like it's finalized. All right, so we got Hadri's, Housecat of War, Serkia, and Noctrum. All right. So taking a look here, guys, our top 4 is finalized. Noctrum, Serkia, Housecat, and Hadri's. Some close games, but at the end of the day, that is going to be it. Those are our mighty champions. So I will advance it to top 4. Let me just make sure there's no issues on the back end. And go over here. Go to the tournament chat. Looks good. And let's go ahead and advance the top 4. Here we go, baby. How was he caught? He ratted himself out. He actually told us. Yeah. Apparently there was someone, I don't know if somebody else was gonna, but he told me about it. He DM'd me one day. I was grateful. I was like, oh, thanks for telling me, man. I appreciate it. But it's like, that is cheating. So, okay. So we've gotten to our top 4. Let's finalize this. All the matches are done. Cool. And let's finalize the tournament, this initial round, and then we jump on to the grand finals. Bretonia's in top 4, dude. They've done really good, Zane. They've done really good. All right. So Hadri's versus Noctrum and Serkia versus Housecat of War. Oh, so is that a Wood Elf versus Chaos? Oh, that's going to be fun. I want to watch that. I want to watch some Wood Elf. Sam, thank you for becoming a channel member, dude. Welcome to the Dukes of Haggard, brother. I greatly appreciate you. So let's tag these players in their respective matchup. All right. So we got Hadri's versus Noctrum. And then we have Serkia versus Housecat of War. We haven't seen Wood Elves yet today, so we're going to watch that matchup. Housecat had a good enough tiebreaker despite losing in the last round to still make it. Yeah, at least he was honest, for sure. Yeah, at least I was told in the end. I definitely gave me more respect. All right, so we will cast their game. So I'm going to message Serkia. We'll cast yours. Lobby code, please. All right. So let's get these lobbies all set up. Then we got Housecat of War. Outstanding. And let's get it. No, in single faction tournaments, it's usually best of 1 all the way through. Yeah, it's usually best of one all the way through. Yeah, that's how it is. The tragedy of Darth. Yeah, it truly is. It was some Sith shit. Yeah, it was some it was some Sith stuff. All right, so we're gonna spectate this game. Yeah, there's been a lot of shenanigans in Total War. Like back in Total War Warhammer 2, there was a fair amount of cheating drama for sure. Like during the World Championships of Warhammer 2, we had some cheating accusations and rule breaks and things like that. It was pretty funny. In land battle, it's more of a problem because like people can cheat in the engine easier. It's not even like dual boxing, but you can like really break the attacking rules or like really like barely follow them and then like make an argument that you're following them. It's like really obnoxious. Yeah. Ogres have not been fixed yet. No, they haven't. So we got Warriors of Chaos versus Wood Elves here on Glade of the Everqueen. Should be a fun match. Do you think Nurgle is competitive? Yeah. I think Nurgle is competitive. Not like top tier, but like lower mid tier. Like about a month ago, I played in a set of 2 tournaments and I got to top 4 twice with Nurgle and could have potentially gotten to the finals if I didn't play like a potato. Yeah, Pwn, absolutely. Yeah, absolutely. Who was it that always had the accidental rule breaks? I mean, there's a lot of people, and it's because they were like barely following the rules to get the biggest advantage they possibly could. There was a couple like, so there was a really haggard bug for a long time in multiplayer that kind of went under the radar. This is one of the worst ones. So I was casting a tournament replay, and what was happening was, so if you're playing Skaven, okay, and with the Lord Plague, every time you cast a spell, it lowers the vigor of your opponent's entire army a little bit. So what some really dirty tournament players discovered is that they could alternate casting spells with the Skaven caster, and if the spells don't finish, it still counts as the lore passive going off. So I remember watching like, you know, a super high level player like in a tournament cheating this way, and like he would bring his opponent's entire army down to exhausted because before the fighting even started at no wins magic, and he would move up and fight, and like people weren't noticing it for a while, but then eventually someone caught on to it, and it was just like it's just like awful, dude. It's awful. Yeah. Yeah. So there's that. There's definitely been some conspiracy theory talk of lag switching. There was a handful of players that only would ever lag when they were losing. So when they started to fall behind in a battle, the game would start lagging horribly. And this is very easy to do. You can run OBS, right, in the background and set your bit rate to like a ton, and then you start it, and it'll instantly lag your game. It'll lag your internet if you overdo it, and then you can then slow down the game and micro super easy. Yeah. So yeah, it's there's been a lot of stuff like that. You know, and that's the problem. Like in Age of Empires, you can't really cheat. There was some cheating in Age of Empires where people would like memorize or they would somehow know the map seed ahead of time, and they would like know where all the sheep were. But I'm pretty sure that's been fixed. But like aside from that, like, you know, StarCraft, Age of Empires, like, you know, but Total War is very rife with those kind of issues because Creative Assembly is not a multiplayer company. We the community have made an awesome, great multiplayer community. I look forward to playing this game every day. We the people, we have made this together, all of us. And, you know, because of our efforts, CA has started to support multiplayer a little bit. You know, if we hadn't done all this, we wouldn't have gotten domination mode. We wouldn't have gotten a lot of stuff. But we the people have done it. Yeah. Wild times. Wild times. Oh man, I still lose sleep. I think I've legit had like a nightmare about a rule breaking thing. Not like a really scary one, but just more of like a frustrating thing where I was having to deal with it again. Only Warhammer 1 ladder people would force timer draws running around the map with Cav. Oh, that happened in Warhammer 2. That actually happened to me recently. I was playing a land battle like 2 weeks ago, and I was playing, what was I? I was the Empire, and I was playing against a Wood Elf player. I killed his entire army, got him down to army losses, and all he had left was Orion, sitting at 15% HP. I had a massive army of spearmen and huntsmen and Marcus Wolfhart, and he ran in circles with Orion because all my cavalry had died. He ran in circles with Orion for like 17 minutes or something like that. It was awful. It was awful, dude. Oh, God. Now, that doesn't happen often. Like, I would say of the last, like, 10 land battles I played, maybe 1 or 2 were like that. People are usually pretty okay, but it does happen. Yeah. Domination mode must have given color back to my hair. Yeah, a little bit. Although I'm getting older, so it's getting gray anyways. I have some gray beard hair now, so yeah. Yeah, good times. Yeah, I should have casted that replay. That was pretty funny. The Haggard Drawkite. Interestingly enough, that was actually my very first experience with Void Laws ever. I ran into Void Laws on ladder, and I was playing Greenskins against his vampire counts on Warhammer 2, and I ended up killing everything in his army. I had 2 giants and Grimgore, and I ended up killing everything on the roster that he had except the Mortis engine, and he draw-kited me around the map for 20 minutes. That was my very first interaction. It's good times, good times. But since then, Void Laws and I had a lot of great games, and he was always pleasant enough to me. But that was my first interaction on ladder. Yeah. Good times, man, good times. The only prescription is more trebuchets. I know. Let's go, baby. Let's get it. Oh, yeah. Archaon the Ever-Chosen. Sign me up for this, dude. Sign me up. House Cat of War coming in with the big man and some Tzeentch Knights. Oh, all day. All day. Let's get it. Oh, it's going to be good. Warhammer games are usually objective-based for a reason. I know. Like, if you play Warhammer Tabletop, there's objectives, you know? Because, like, how are you going to balance, like, a game, like, of that style if, like, the Tau player or Imperial Guard player can just sit everything in the corner and just nuke you, right? And the same thing goes for Total War. That's why we have player-made rules, right, in land battle, because it's you can't play land battle without player-made rules. It's just nonsense. Oh, yeah. All right. Anyways, enough of the fun times, enough of the shenanigans and discussing all that. Here we are. Let's take a look at the armies and break it down. So it's going to be Archaon the Ever-Chosen, Lord of the End Times here for House Cat of War, and he's great. Magic damage is awesome. He can take down dragons and big monsters, and Burning Head is excellent. He does also have an Exalted Hero on horseback who's going to be partying with him as well. And we got Marauders into the sunset with Chaos Warriors, which is very good. Wood Elves do struggle against these type of infantry, so just swarming and taking the objective is going to be very strong. Hey, Hammond, thank you for the donation. Greatly appreciate it, man. Thank you, thank you. Over here in the tree line, we do have Archaon the Ever-Chosen and the Exalted Hero. Chaos Knights of Tzeentch are really good in this matchup. The fact that they do magic damage gives them a bonus against like Dryads and a couple different units on the Wood Elf roster. And Chaos Knights have always been really, really good in general against Wood Elves. Wood Elves can counter them with Way Watchers, Dragons, Great Stag Knights. If they get an opportune charge against them, can win it. It's very fun. It's very, very fun. Now, looking at the forces of the Hardwood, this is probably the best Wood Elf player in our community. Yeah, Archaon does have more HP than Karl Franz. He literally, on the Deathclaw, even on his horse, he's got like 1,500 more HP. Good times, good times. But Karl Franz is going to get updated in this next DLC, I would wager. They're going to get the Bretonnian treatment. So we do have the Glade Lord, and we do also have another dragon, which I love. And Nerexa, a.k.a. Serkia, in the brackets, is hands down one of the best, probably the best Wood Elf player we have in the community right now. Very, very good. Also, a fair amount of skirmishing. So we do have some Glade Riders with Hagbane tips for a little bit of poke and stroke. And their applications here, yeah, they can play objectives a little bit. They can slow your opponent down, just overall be annoying. And the rest of the army is going to be relatively low quality because of the prevalence of the Eternal Guards and all that sort of good stuff like that. Hammond, thank you for the another 5. I remember when Chuck Norris picked Tretch Craventail versus Archaon and Archaon Shattered. I know. The Chuck Norris jokes are very... I remember playing World of Warcraft in like 2000, like what would it have been, 2005 or 4? Yeah, in that, no, I think it was 2005. And like actually experiencing Chuck Norris jokes in Baron's chat. Because I played both Horde and Alliance. I would always lean more towards Alliance, but I had characters on both. And yeah, Baron's chat was truly a magical thing. All right, guys, back to Warhammer. Sorry, a little bit of a nostalgia tangent right there. And yeah, whoever said that Skirmish Cavalry were dead in domination, certainly the top Wood Elf player would beg to disagree, as he's got a handful of those Glade Riders. And they're not going to do crazy damage, but overall, they will still cause some disruption. Breath Attack attempt on the Chaos Warriors does miss, and it looks like this Forest Dragon is going to be landing and doing a bit of poke into those Marauders. Now, why this Glade Lord is really, really good is because he has the Call of the Woods for +5 melee attack and the Banner of the Hunter King. It's crazy. So basically, he gives all nearby units +10 melee attack, which is so, so good. So if he's fighting with Eternal Guard, they're going to be rocking 36 melee attack, which puts them up into another category completely, right? Wood Elves holding the back objective with some Eternal Guard. Chaos Warriors going to be making their way over. And the Dragon Goon Squad certainly outmaneuvering Archaon. Archaon on his fat, chonky horse is trying to catch him, but so far the Dragons have been able to slip away. And man, these Chaos Warriors are getting mulched by that Dragon. Dryad's on the way up, and it looks like Archaon is finally going to be catching his prize. Oh, he kind of gets caught up on his own Marauders. Does not make contact, and the double Exalted Heroes are now out. So the Dragons do have some pressure on them. Archaon the Ever-Chosen getting big damage there on the Glade Lord. Glade Lord needs to escape. Lord of the End Times will decisively win in combat there. So Great Stag Knights being called out of reserve. Wood Elves actually going to be opting to fight here, and man, that Glade Lord got punished by Archaon, which makes sense. I mean, Archaon's supposed to be one of the scarier fighters in the entire setting, right? But now what I'm seeing is a bit of an overextension. If these two Exalted Heroes get surrounded by the Great Stag Knights and the Dragons pounce on them, it could be really nasty. But good reaction from House Cat of War. He is able to pull back with his Exalted Heroes, but not before they take some dragon damage. 56 melee attack on this dragon here is pretty respectable. Now on the side, we have the Chaos Knights of Tzeentch moving up. Dryads taking down the Marauders, but Chaos Warriors will dominate these Eternal Guard pretty well in combat. Dragons pulling back once again and getting a buff from that old Earthblood. Or no, Regrowth actually, so only Regrowth. Burning Head cast by Chaos. Nice one there on those Eternal Guard. Going to be breaking the Wood Elves off the objective. As far as value trading goes, House Cat of War is doing a really good job. Basically, House Cat is just following around these two dragons with his Goon Squad. He's just got the Exalted Hero and Archaon, and they're hunting. They're coming for that booty for sure. I don't know how the Wood Elves effectively deal with this Goon Squad. Skirmishers here still shooting. Glade Riders with Hagbane Tips just shooting into the Chaos Knights and applying poison. Great Stag Knights and Dryads actually trading very well, forcing back the Chaos Knights. And Great Stag Knights with support can actually do very good against Chaos Knights. You don't want to fight them unsupported because Chaos Knights will give damage back to them pretty well. But overall, it's a really nice piece. So, Wood Elves may be in danger of losing their back objective. Archaon, Archie's just going bananas here. But now the Dragons have him a little bit isolated, and Archie could take a little bit of damage here. We'll have to see. He does get hit once. Looks like it was a bit of a tertiary shot from the bow of the Glade Lord. And then he makes full contact with Archaon, but I don't think this is going to be a super good engagement for the Wood Elves. There is a regrowth probably on the table in a second from that Spellsinger. But man, this is tough. So right there, it looks like the Helm of Discord going down, which is an activated item that the Glade Lord does have. It lowers the melee attack and melee defense on those units. And here, the big Forest Dragon actually nibbling at these characters. And the Elven Fighting Corps is doing well. And Christmas is coming early, ladies and gentlemen, as the Great Stag Knights pile in to support the Dragons. And now, this is going to be very scary because these Great Stag Knights are going to have 10 more melee attack because of the Dragon character, right? So both Exalted Heroes are really, really beat up. Great Stag Knight's going to be pulling away from that engagement, looking at the other side of the battlefield. Chaos Knights pressing these cavalry, and it looks like he had a bit of a lapse in micro, and the Chaos Knights actually caught their prize. But overall, they didn't take too many casualties. Going to be luring the big, chonky Chaos Knights through the tree line there, which is going to be a very, very good play. Now, over towards objective number 3, we do see the Wood Elves do somehow still have that. Do they? Wood Elves... Wait. Oh my god, Chaos didn't get the objective! Oh, it's just so close to flipping! Look at that, but it hasn't flipped. Oh, that's so unfortunate. That triple cap would be very, very strong. That's really going to allow Wood Elves to play a bit longer. So another engagement here in the backfield. We do have the Great Stag Knights battling it out. The Dragon character is going after the Exalted Heroes. Archaon still anchoring his boys as the Stag Knights sauced up by the stats of the Great Hunt from the Dragon character, like I said. In the tree line, Chaos Knight's going to be pulling back, and now Chaos is going to flip this objective here. So they're finally going to get it because Chaos has triple capped the Wood Elves. Wood Elves do have a value deficit as well, which is tough. And now the objective has been officially flipped. And the Lord of the End Times effectively pushing back the Dragon character. Wood Elves need to find a way to get back on the point, man. I mean, if they were out value trading, that's one thing. And the regrowths have been pretty on point. They've certainly been healing up these characters. But House Cat of War has been doing an excellent, excellent job keeping his characters alive and keeping them together. Because the Wood Elves would want to isolate you, right? But the fact that they're able to kind of keep rolling is making it hard for these Dragon characters to really shine. So Wood Elves appear to be making a play for this point here. Dragon Lord probably going to be flying in to attack these Chaos Knights, which is a good call. Chaos Knights will not like being attacked by a dragon. And a Great Stag Knight flank here is very cost effective. That's going to plow down a bunch of these Chaos Knights in combat. Archaon, Archie, and his boys are coming. So the Exalted Heroes are going to be coming across as the hordes of the Dark Gods continue descending here on the Wood Elves. Other Stag Knights here have met them in the trees. And I believe the Great Stag Knights, do they have any benefits for being in the forest? Yeah, they do have the Woodsman trait. So the thing is, the Great Stag Knights will not suffer a penalty for fighting in the trees, whereas the Chaos Knights will, which is really badass to see that actually like in play here. Other Great Stag Knights beating the brakes off these Chaos Knights here. Absolutely awesome. And Erebos, thank you for the 49, dude. Thank you so much. Thank you for keeping the old engine going, brother. Really appreciate the support, and hopefully you're enjoying the sweaty, hot tournament action we've been having today. It's been a great event so far. Archeon in a bit of danger. Helm of Discord. His stats are going to be slightly lowered. Exalted Heroes are nearby. If Archeon were to die soon, the Wood Elves would certainly have an avenue, and they are getting back on the value. Wood Elf mobility, swinging about, and this is where the Skirmish Cavalry can be really nice. This is essentially 12 capture weight right here that can move up on this point and ninja. They can move to the back point and ninja that. Dryad's also coming up. So Skirmish Cavalry are very good for that. If you can keep them alive, they can kind of stick and move. Archeon getting a little bit beat up. He's surrounded by Stag Knights. The Chaos Knights folded up like a piece of paper. They got wrecked in the woods fighting against those bad boys. Archeon sitting at 3,000 HP, taking a bit of damage from those great Stag Knights. And here the Glade Lord is trying his best to take down the Exalted Heroes, both of whom are shaken. Archeon down to 2,800 HP. The Forest Dragon connecting. I mean, 58 melee attack is really, really good. And Archeon could be in danger. And this could be the turning of the tide. Wow, what an excellent scrap here from the Wood Elves. Getting back in, luring the forces of the Dark Gods into the trees where they have the advantage, punishing them, and then potentially getting a kill on a bunch of characters. Archeon is really low, 1,000 HP, Burning Head attempt. It kind of misses the Dryads a little bit, but Archie is going to get away, but he is broken, and the Dragon is right on his tail. Foe Seeker going down from the Forest Dragon. This great Glade Lord might be able to actually claim quite a skull for the Wild Hunt, as the Lord of the End Times probably going to be routed off the battlefield. I suspect that the Dragons will continue chasing Archeon. Maybe they won't. Nope, looks like they're going to leave him be. Dryads moving up, and on this point here, we do see some Armored Chaos Trolls. It's going to take them a while to get through these Dryads here, but the back objective has been taken by the Wood Elves, and the Wood Elves do have plenty of time to work with now. They have the 2 Dragon characters, and the Hero Core of Chaos has been completely broken by the forces of the Wood Elves. Wood Elves are a really cool faction. Archeon is back. Definitely an unsummon from Housecat would be the play. But the thing is, the Glade Lord can... Oh, he's up and he's using his bow. He's going to try and snipe Archeon. He's got his bow. Is he going to rip the shots? It looks like he's coming in for the kill. Chasing Archeon down. Housecat has not noticed this. And now he notices, and Archeon is running. Is it too late for him? He's pushing his Chaos Warriors out of the way, certainly leading by example, as he is going to get toasted. Archeon the Ever-Chosen, 200 HP. And the Lords of the Woods looks like they're going to be descending on Archeon, and he is going to be fleeing, but not before getting some really good value. I mean, Archeon got almost 3,000 value this game, and now the Dragon characters for sure are going to chase him off the battlefield. So Nerexa is going to be using the Glade Lord to chase down Archeon, while the other Dragon is going to be maneuvering back this way. Back objective owned by the Wood Elves, plenty of time left, and now Nerexa is in a position where it is a triple cap situation for sure. But will Chaos be able to hold on his back objective? That's going to be a very, very tall order. I wonder if there's any Way Watchers in the build or any shooting that could come out. It looks like it was mostly like a Dragon-focused build. Oh, yeah. The big, big hitters are coming. The Blade Singers. These ladies do not mess around, and they look super, super cool. The Blade Singers are going to be able to chop through quite a few units. So they're moving up right now, and this objective is going to be flipping to the Wood Elves. Chaos is going to be massively behind on the field right now, considering there's been probably 4 or 5 regrowths on these Dragons. The value is probably actually favored for the Wood Elves, and Chaos is also leaderless. They're going to be taking a penalty for their Lord having fled, so that is something. That is certainly something. So Blade Singers versus Zangors. Zangors going to get pounded. Objective flipping to the Wood Elves here. The last of these Zangors being called in, but nothing that the 2 Dragon characters are not going to be able to handle. And Housecat of War is just going to Helm's Deep on the back objective because, yeah, this is a triple cap situation. And there's a small chance that Housecat could win on the back objective. I personally think that Nerexa is going to have enough time to play this how they want to. The more Eternal Guard coming up. Blade Singer is doing a good job against Zangors. Unsummon going down on both sides for both players. And the Dragons have cleared the objective. So now it's time to just hold on the back point, guys. The Redheads have arrived. They have. I know, they're pissed off for sure. I feel like they dye their hair. Like, why would all the Blade Singers have red hair? It must be like a war paint or like a war dye. Kind of how Slayers dye their hair orange. You know, obviously, all those dwarves don't have naturally bright orange hair, right? So there's got to be something going on there. Dragon characters moving up. Chaos calling in Chaos Knights once again. That's a good call. They're very tough to uproot. But Blade Singers should be able to get the job done. Eternal Guard cruising for a bruising. Zangors in the bushes going to be unsummoned as the Trolls probably pull back to the point. Chaos Warriors trying to fight and keep the Wood Elves off the point here. But the Dragon character is going to be very, very menacing. And the Blade Singers will actually do good against Chaos Knights if they can get them in sustained combat and not get charged. They have good stats and good AP. So, you know, what more do you want? That's very, very good there, right? And if you could just sick the 2 Dragon characters on the Chaos Knights, that's probably your best recipe for success. Granted, I suspect Wood Elves maybe have 1 more regrowth. I wouldn't probably expect more than that. So Dryads will beat Marauders, and Blade Singer is going to eat a big charge. Good targeting by Housecat of War. So House God of War realizes the Bladesingers are nearby, knows they rely on their physical resist, and is going to be getting a nice charge, but some sort of a heal going down here. And it looks like that could be a regrowth or an Earthblood on the Bladesingers. Oh, wow. Opting to regrowth the Bladesingers is a curious choice when the dragons still have a lot of health, but I guess you want to keep your sustainable infantry alive so you can grind up on this point. Oh my god, look who's back! Oh my god. It's Archaon! He's back, dude. You know, it's very classic. Archaon is like a main character, and he would probably have plot armor. Like, these are generic characters, and then the plot armor lord comes back. So Archaon is back for round 2, and Burning Heads are going to be really good here. I mean, Housecat is creeping his way towards victory, and having to deal with Archaon again, certainly not going to be fun, but Bladesinger's doing good against Chaos Warriors. Archaon might be able to bully these dragons. Oh my god, what if Archaon gets it, dude? That would be nuts. Look at the ninja on the back objective, some Chaos Warriors moving up. Wood Elves desperately trying. Burning Head, nice Burning Head on the Bladesingers. Absolutely clutch as the Chaos Knights do pile in. Eternal Guard are fighting nearby, providing some AP. The Forest Dragon getting a little bit beat up here. That Glade Lord might want to get away. Armored Chaos Trolls nearby. And this has been a really great game. Just solid back and forth. It's truly a testament to like how good both of these players are. House God of War has gotten to the semifinals of the season championship several times, losing a 3-2 series against Houseplant, right? So like these are both top tier players. And Serkia has been in pretty much every season grand finals as well. So yeah, both very good players here. So will the Dragon Blob get it done? Probably has good chances with the Eternal Guard having a big stat increase. The Chaos Knights not loving it. Getting pushed back a little bit here. Great Stag Knights have come around the bend and are probably going to be trying to pick off those Chaos Knights if they can. Going to be a big nasty fight. So yep, you can see the Great Stag Knights looping around, coming after the Chaos Knights. Archaon still in good health as the Glade Lord. What kind of value are we looking at on the Glade Lord? We'll have to look as we progress through this game. Yeah, currently 2100. It's been more of a supporting role, but Great Stag Knights coming around. Chaos Knights a little bit trapped up. Oh no, that Burning Head's going to be brutal by Archaon. That's nasty. It hits everything and goes right through all those spears. He's lucky it didn't go a little bit to the right. That could have been way worse. As the Great Stag Knights hunting down Chaos Knights, he is, the time is getting a little bit precarious here. Got some Chaos pressure on the side objective. Marauders looking like they were going to be going for a ninja. He is getting closer and closer here. Obviously, this is a situation where he is triple capped. Oh, wait, he lost his home point. Okay. So the Wood Elves got Chaos's home point. So this game's probably over now. Because currently it's a triple cap. I did not notice that they took the home objective. I was too excited in the heat of combat. But overall, the fact that Chaos lost their back point means it's not a triple cap situation anymore. It's more of like a desperate power grab for Chaos where they need to find multiple objectives. And I don't see that happening. The Dragon characters are still alive. Stag Knights are still pretty functional, running around chasing Chaos Knights down. Dryads are all over the battlefield. Wood Elves are a little bit more of a responsive faction, like they're fast. So they can get where they want to go very quickly. Zangor's going to get some breath attack. Not bad. Does get through their shields and also does some HP damage. But here we do see the Wood Elves getting that objective. Trolls and Marauders moving back. Chaos Knights coming in to try and get some cap weight here. We do see the Wood Elves rapidly catching them in score with this triple cap. They're getting 3 victory tickets a second, which is going to be incredibly brutal. And up in the sky, the Glade Lord going to be descending from the skies. Here he comes. And what kind of work are we going to get done? The Chaos Knights not having a great time. Yep, this game's probably over. I think we're going to be seeing Wood Elves advance to the finals. That was crazy. It kind of looked like Chaos might come back for a second, then the Wood Elves were able to micro their lords away and get safe. Even if the Warriors of Chaos do get Objective 1 back, it's not going to be enough to win the game. They would need to get another objective, because currently it was just not enough. He would need a triple cap, so yeah, awesome indeed. Yeah, so objective number 3 here being held. Chaos going to be sending some Chaos Warriors up to the point, knowing they need multiple points. Wood Elves kind of looking a little bit beat up now as well. Could Chaos find a way to get back in this? I don't think so. Not with those Dragon characters. He still has a lot of full health units here too that could fall back onto the point, which is probably what they should do at this point. Great Stag Knight's going to be hustling over there, preemptively getting Dryads out of Vanguard. Dryads will do okay. They do lose to Chaos Warriors, but they'll hold for a period of time. Certainly long enough to win the game. And now we do see the Wood Elves creeping up in score. It is going to be within 30 points right now, and the Hardwood is going to be passing the Forces of the Dark Gods. Archaon going around for round 2, man. He is just causing havoc. Great Stag Knights hitting it almost 3,000 value, which is from multiple summons, so they've more or less paid for themselves in both of their lives. And here, the Dryads clean out these Marauders. The Dragon character causing terror, basically just avoiding Archaon. Archaon gets surrounded by Stag Knights, which is pretty good for the Stag Knights. They have 69 weapon strength, the blessed number of Slaanesh here. So Slaanesh working against Archaon, it would seem. Dryads going to fight the Chaos Warriors off the point, and this is going to be the Wood Elves officially passing Chaos here in this game. On the back point, Marauders fighting Dryads, more Dryads pushing up. The Dryads could actually threaten this point if Chaos doesn't reinforce it. More Stag Knights coming out of reserve. Archaon the Everchosen getting brought down to about 3,000 HP. Dragon coming in to help out the Dryads. The creatures of the forest rising up. Nature is super pissed off as they move in and they start tail whipping down all of these Chaos Warriors and these Dryads. Very, very cool indeed. It's been a great game. It's been a really, really good game. Great Stag Knight's going to be hustling up here, and these Chaos Warriors are doing a glorious battle. Archaon the Everchosen hunting down this Glade Lord right here, but it looks like the dragons have been super maneuverable this game, I have to say. Nurex's Dragon Micro has been super impressive, and we're getting close to a single cap situation for the Wood Elves where they could just win on 1 point. Chaos desperately trying to fight and get up to this point, and I mean, they are making some progress. These Chaos Warriors will eventually push back the Dryads, but those Great Stag Knights flanking in from the side, we have the Great Stag Knights come in with a hammer like this. We're able to get it. Archaon with a little bit of cap weight on the point. He's slowly working it. Don't think he's going to be able to do it on his own. The 2 dragon characters just basically punishing these Chaos Warriors, and more Chaos Knights are coming out of reserve. This is getting, actually, man, this is a very, very tense game. Will the Dryads eventually make it over here? We do have a unit of Eternal Guard and Dryads fighting in the middle in no man's land. If they could find a way to maneuver over to this point, they might be able to ninja that. Chaos Knights have made it onto the point. The dragon character's on the run, and Chaos actually getting a little bit of respectable capture weight here, as Chaos Knights have arrived to the point, and there's basically no Wood Elf capture weight. No way. He needs to get his infantry onto the point. Oh my god, is Chaos going to find a way to get this? Let's see. Oh man, this is really close. This is a really, really tight game, ladies and gentlemen. If he gets this soon, if it's more than double the amount, I think the Wood Elves might just... Okay, Wood Elves will win on 1 now. Wood Elves will win on 1, just barely. Chaos gets the point back, but the Wood Elves need to helm deep on their back objective. I don't know if he knows this, but the Wood Elf player will win on 1 objective just barely. Just barely. Literally by like a point. It's going to be super close. A couple Eternal Guard moving up. Dryads and Stag Knights still fighting it out. Chaos does manage to flip the point. Spears moving into the Chaos Knights, but the Wood Elves do have nice capture weight here. They got Dryads and they got some Blade Singers moving over here. And the 2 dragon characters are going to move over to the point as well, most likely to support it. Chaos does have some troops coming out, but they're deep in reinforcements. Those Marauders are going to take a hot minute to get there. Dragon characters should probably run over there and help secure that point. Eternal Guard are back on here. And this is just getting so scrappy, guys. So scrappy. The Chaos Plot Armor, I know. It's here. The Dryads are actually getting the cap here, but a couple Marauders are going to stop that. So Wood Elves look like they're going to be going for a play on objective number 3, trying to wrestle that one back, which isn't a bad idea. Archaon getting really beaten up here. Looks like the Great Stag Knights in tandem with this Forest Dragon, who's been an absolute just beast this game. 3,000 value on the Forest Dragon is going to be dragging down Archaon. Archaon's heading at about 1,200 HP. So Archaon dying twice over. Looks like the Wood Elves are going to flip this one back. Currently, it's so close, but if this flips back, it's 1,000% over. And Chaos doesn't seem to have any steam on the point. They do have some Marauders coming out of reserve. Wood Elves do get the point back, ladies and gentlemen. They do get it back. Yeah, we're not seeing a lot of Marauder Horsemen at this build. That's right. That could have been a little bit helpful. And with that, the Wood Elves claim victory. GG, well played. What a great game. Definitely one of the better games we've had in quite some time. Super back and forth. Certainly one that we will see again. All right. So taking a look at the breakdown for the armies, we have Ye Old House Cat of War, played a great game. Dude, Archaon with 6,400. He was summoned twice, to be fair, but that's got to be some sort of a record. That's a lot of value for a single unit. Chaos Knights were great. Honestly, both players played super well. That game really shifted when the Exalted Heroes got killed. When they got lured into the trees and the Chaos Knights overextended, the Wood Elves were able to punish them in the woods and pull that one back, which was really fun to see. Dragons were just on point with micro. And yeah, the great Stag Knights too. Look at that, 3,400, 23, and 1,200. Stag Knights performing really, really well. All right, guys, hopefully you enjoyed that one. Let's head to the grand finals. So, checking here. Let's refresh the scoreboard, see how this looks. Well, you can see how exciting this game can be when you ban the overpowered factions, right? That's what's really fun. Oh man, we have an Elven mirror match, or an Elven duel in the grand finals. So let me do this. Turin finals. I will host this one. Then I gotta let my Chihuahua out. She's barking very angrily. She's like, "Hey, you gotta let me outside." Okay, so let's get Hadries. That was a great game, man. And let's get Hadries back here. All right. And the map for the grand finals is going to be... it's going to be Imperial Road. All right, a little bit of flanking action. Imperial Road is the map. And let's get it going. All right, guys, I'm going to go grab some water. We'll be right back. And yeah, here we are. 2 players duking it out. Wood Elves versus Dark Elves. All right, guys, I'm back. Let's get it. Are they coming? Yep, joining in a second. Thank you guys for joining. It's been a fun tournament today. Good times. I'm thinking tomorrow we're going to do a, I don't know, maybe tomorrow we'll do a Dune Spice Wars tournament. Tomorrow's Wednesday. I'd have to see how many people we could actually wrangle. Is it possible to make an overhaul mod focused on multiplayer? I think that we need to make the company do it. And we have made progress with CA in terms of like actually balancing things and fixing things. So, because when you get like people, there's too many subjective opinions and, it's tricky. That was great, man. That was really good. All right. What else versus Dark Elves? When was the last time I saw this matchup in Dom? I can't remember, honestly. It's been ages. Bretonnia did lose to Hadries. Yeah, Hadries took down Bretonnia. He took down Noctrum, yeah. He did it. Vote on who wins? Sure. You guys want to put it to a vote? We can do that. All right. Winner. Wood Elves or Dark Elves? All right, you guys can vote. I'm curious what you guys think. Curious what you guys think indeed. One day we'll have a Forest Nothing game. Oh, are you talking about the Black Forest in Age of Empires? Just like a choke point game of misery? Yeah, it'd be fun. It's weird, yeah, an Elven Mirror match in the Grand Finals. I did not expect this. These guys are both very good elf players, though. Hadries has been more playing non-elf factions. He plays very meta. I would say when Hadries plays Dark Elves, that's him not playing meta. Because Dark Elves are good. They're balanced and pretty mid-tier. But usually Hadries will play very meta, but today it looks like he's going back to his beloved Dark Elves. In Land Battle, this was massively Wood Elf favored, but I don't know about Dom. Dom's a completely different game mode, so many matchups do carry over. For example, like Skaven annihilate Dwarves still, but like, it's tricksy. Company of Heroes 2 is rather a balanced game, and it's balanced by the community. Yeah, if there ever comes a time in which CA stops supporting this game, it would be if I'm still covering it heavily at that point, I would consider doing like a balancing mod at that point. But right now, it's not my job, Like I already, I feel like, I don't know. We've given a lot of suggestions to CA about how to balance the game. We put together a document with some like loose feedback on like things that need to be buffed, and let them run with it. Let's see what happens. Yeah. Oh God, Ethan, that sounds miserable, dude. That sounds miserable. Hadries will probably do a lot of like Dark Riders, Coldwood Knights. Corsair Handbows and Corsair Infantry and Bleak Swords and Dread Spears would be my guess. Malice could be interesting here, but you wouldn't have too many targets. Would you want a Soul Stealer, Dragon Lord? I honestly don't know, dude. I don't know. Wood Elf just runs Mask Blade Guard with good cab micro. They're quite favored. Yeah, I played this with Serkia quite a few times, and Wood Elf won 90% of the time. Makes sense. Makes sense. I hear you, Toxic Fireball. Serkia is very good at Wood Elves, and I would imagine you're good at Dark Elves also, from what you're saying. But Hadries is very good when he's on point. If he's not getting tilted on himself, he is one of the best players for sure. So we'll see what he can do here. Fast Slob will rise. Oh my God, I know. The legendary like 24-hour long Age of Empires 2 games. Yeah, I think Max Dark Riders, literally 8 Dark Riders. With like Corsair Handbow Infantry are good because they're pretty resilient and they can poke a lot of the lightly armored Wood Elf units. Maybe some Dreaded Dread Knights, but probably not. You need to bring something that can kill the dragon characters too. I feel like maybe like 1 or 2 Dark Rider repeater crossbows would be warranted just to like keep the dragons honest. I don't know. We'll see, man. We'll see. Yep, you got the Wood Elf badge. Evan, that's what's up, man. Hey, Wind, thanks for being a member for 11 months, by the way. I just saw that. Thank you. Yeah, bolt throwers are good too. Yeah, just going like spray fire on the infantry and then a single bolt against the bigger targets. God, I can't wait till the weather cools down, dude. I was like, the reason I haven't been streaming early for the past couple months is because of the weather. It's like super hot, and even if you were to put AC on, the rooms would still be like super hot. It's been like in the 90s pretty consistently. And like it's literally almost the end of October, and it's like today it's just like, hey, let's be like 93 degrees today. Let's go mid 90s and just make everybody suffer. Yeah, the Warlocks are terrible. Doomfire Warlocks are just like absolute shithouse units. They need a buff. They need a huge buff. Because there was a massive influx of magic damage in Warhammer 3, and Doomfire Warlocks, you know, have 40% physical resist. That's how they survive. They could be reduced by like 200 gold. Ethan says, turn it siege paint. Yeah. It's pretty damn hot. Our neighbor's dog got into our house. I hear it. Hold on, guys. I'll be back in just a second. I'm going to go see if my wife needs help wrangling the dogs. We have a neighbor who has like a really cute chocolate lab, and if we leave our door open or our garage open, she just like ends up in our house. She's really sweet. All right, I'll be right back. All right, we're all good. No Mortal Kombat between the dogs. Dog raid. It's incredibly wholesome. Dude, so the town we live in is like, the town and neighborhood, it's like time traveling back to the 90s. Like, instead of a Target or a Walmart, we have like a local department store. Like when you go out in the neighborhoods, it's like a bunch of like, you know, people riding around on bikes and like our neighbor has a couple kids and who are like, I think like 10, 11, 12. And there's just constantly like people showing up and hanging out. Like, because back in the 90s, you would just kind of like show up at your friend's house sometimes. You just ride your bike over and hang out, like even without calling sometimes. But where we live, it's like a time capsule to the 1990s a little bit. Our town has a specific law by the city council that bans chains. So we have, I think the only chain we have in our town is like a Vaughn's Market, which has gotten some sort of an exception. But aside from that, we have no chains whatsoever. So like everything in our town is mom and pop or like owned by, you know, not huge chains and corporations and things like that. So yeah, it's really a magical place to live, aside from like the super hot summers. All right. Yeah, the Beastmen have invaded our house here. All right, guys. Let's get it. Let's have some fun. Let's break down the builds. So taking a look here at the old forces of the Druchii, going to be helmed by Hadri's. We have a Supreme Sorceress of Dark Magic. So the strategy with this Sorceress is basically just to spam the Power of Darkness on yourself, which is going to give Winds of Magic reserves and power recharge to your army. And then you just unsummon her at some point. It's kind of a neat strategy we've seen from Dark Elves. Or you can just leave her in the back, whatever you want to do. And then a Sorceress of Fire is basically going to be helming the army here. So that is that. Yes, yes. The rest of the army is going to be Corsair Handbows, really good. They have decent armor, so they can survive Wood Elf missiles and melee units like Dryads for the most part, and also do put some good hurt onto those units. And the rest of the army is going to be Blackheart Corsairs. So that's pretty much it. Yeah, Blackheart Corsairs are amazing. They beat Dryads, they beat Eternal Guard. They will be a little bit vulnerable against like Starfire Shafts and those type of units, maybe like Great Stag Knights, but overall their armor will serve them extremely well in this matchup. Extremely well. Dude, that's awesome, but it is better. Yeah, the town's a little bit more expensive because of that, for sure. Yeah, that's the only downside. All right, now, looking over at the Wood Elf army, it is going to be a mighty champion, Nerexa, the Lord of the Woods, the Master of the Wild Hunt. It is going to be Deepwood Scouts. So Deepwood Scouts do put good hurt on light armor, but they're not going to do a ton of damage against the armor of the Corsair troops. However, they can outrange them and still probably wear them down over time. In the backfield, we got Dryads and Eternal Guards and Draika. Okay, so Draika is going to be here to party with Melkoths and Pit of Shades. Melkoths is very good at just wearing down armored troopers, and if there's anything of quality, that's when you call out the Pit of Shades to try and nuke them down. So very cool. And there are some Way Watchers and Hawkeyes of Jakira. This right here is where the real damage is going to come. These two units right here. You guys thought I was going to draw it, didn't you? But those two are really, really the breadwinners in this Wood Elf build. Way Watchers have always been pretty good against Druchii. They can outrange all their bows and are very, very disruptive. So we will see how this goes. Burning Head. Hadri's going to need to be pretty on point with this, getting those fat burning heads down the line against the Way Watchers and or the Deepwood Scouts and Dryads and all that sort of stuff, so we'll have to see. And now the main army is going to be cruising for a bruising. So here they go. Objective opening up in a minute and 17 seconds. Pretty good connection here, not to put any sort of a curse on it. I believe Hadri's is East Coast, US. He's over in that realm, and I know that Nerexa, I believe, is in Germany, and then I'm in California, so yeah, seems to be connecting pretty well indeed. Truly blue balling us. I'm sorry, I had to control it for once. Bolt Thrower is being called out by Hadri's. I like that, and look at this, the sorceress. It's kind of funny. She's just back here like chanting some dark rituals to support her army, and it's very, very fun flavor. Hawkeyes of Drakira moving up, getting some nice shots into the Black Art Corsairs, and Deepwood Scouts also doing this. So this is very much going to be a game of bows and arrows and all sorts of stuff like that. Reaper Bolt Thrower in the backfield, scooting up very slowly. Going to be looking to eye the prize on those Way Watchers and start getting in spray fire mode. Corsairs are juking to the best of their abilities, but still taking quite a bit of damage. And I wonder when Hadri's will sound the bell and move up his Corsairs. He's going to be moving into quite a bit of firepower. He could just wait for the Bolt Thrower to get in position, and I would suspect the Bolt Thrower would be summoned here. Like right in the middle. That would be the sweet spot. He summoned it pretty far off in the corner here, and now is it going to be in range to shoot? Currently, it's in its multi-shot rounds. Let's see what kind of work it can get done. I'm very curious. So a couple of Dread Spears moving over here, pushing back these Deepwood Scouts as these Corsair Handbows move up into the trees. Not a bad idea to try and hide in the bushes. And it looks like Hadri's is going to be moving up. He doesn't want to let the Wood Elves get the objective for free. So he's going to be going up to contest that and try and make sure, even if he's at a value deficit, that he can, do okay for himself on points. So Dark Riders being called in. Dark Riders, and now it's time for the Skirmish Cavalry to fight. It's going to be Dark Riders doing battle against the Wood Elf Cavalry. And man, Nerexa is the Dark Lord of the Great Stag Knights. He really, really likes those units. Dryads engaging, Corsairs coming up. And now the Dark Elves actually going to be flipping this point back, it looks like. Yeah, so the point's going back to the Druki. As the Spears and Bows and Corsairs move up in every direction. Currently, Wood Elves do have a bit of a value lead, but it's mainly been somewhat inconsequential. It's just been on the Black Art Corsairs. The Bolt Throwers probably want to put them on single fire mode against these Great Stag Knights. Stag Knight's going to be quite nasty. Coldwood Knights being called out from Hadri's as a tool against the enemy cavalry units. Glade Riders and Spears also being called out, and the middle objective is going to be going to the Druki, and they are going to be eating some shots pretty hard. A Winterheart Guard going to be battling it out with Black Art Corsairs. Black Art Corsairs will probably trade very cost effectively here into the relatively expensive unit here. Winterheart Guard are, I think, like 800 gold, something like that. They're not cheap. Way Watchers and Deepwood Scouts, though, shooting the Corsair Infantry is not bad. We do see the Deepwood Scouts being hit by the Bolt Thrower here. So the one Bolt Thrower from Hadri's has so far been the big breadwinner. On this side, nasty, nasty charge. We get the Great Stag Knights engaging against the Black Art Corsairs. In tandem with the shots from the Hawkeyes of Drakira, just instantly breaks them. But the Great Stag Knights stay a little bit too long. A bit of a lapse in micro here from Nerexa. Now, Hadri's is going to punish this. He's got Coldwood Knights and Dark Riders all over them. And Spears also nearby. And those Great Stag Knights could start wavering. They're taking massive casualties, ladies and gentlemen. That is not good. Oh, but the Pit of Shades counterplay. Look at that. That's going to be so good. So then Dryka gets a big Pit of Shades, punishes the Dark Riders and the Dread Spears, and also the Coldwood Knights get caught in that to an extent. Look how many models are caught in this Pit of Shades right now. That is brutal, brutal damage. Beautiful cast there. But as far as the value trading goes, Hadri's pushing back, and the Bolt Thrower doing a good job against the Deepwood Scouts. He's got a nice little envelopment. He's kind of controlling the top. The middle is controlled by the Corsair Infantry. More Dark Riders coming in, and as expected, it is Dark Riding time. And you need Dark Riders because they're a very good light cavalry unit. Their stats are amazing, and when Murderous Prowess procs, they become so good. Their melee attack goes up over 30. It is no joke. So the Great Stag Knights here did get punished, but Hadri's was able to, or not Hadri's, but Nerexa was able to get a really nice Pit of Shades, which kind of helped return the favor a little bit. Stag Knights chasing into the trees, being shot. Corsair Infantry battling the Glade Riders here, and now fighting is going down on the middle objective, which looks to still be owned by the Druki. Heavy backfield pressure as Dark Riders do get on top of Deepwood Scouts. There's going to be columns of Glade Riders with Spear, so a bit of a lapse in micro, but now they're both going to respond, and those Dark Riders should get peeled. Hadri's also pushing Dread Spears into the backfield to just be obnoxious and screen out the cavalry, which is really smart, because, normally you would deal with backfield pressure with cavalry, but now you have Spears back here, right, with shields, which is going to be very tough to deal with. Some more Black Art Corsairs on the way up. Over in the tree line, looks like Hadri's able to take down the Great Stag Knights pretty effectively. Probably Unsummoned's going to go down on both sides, a little bit of housekeeping. Bolt Thrower, I'm not sure what it's shooting. It's moving up. Very easy mistake to make for sure. As the Wood Elf counter push comes up here on the top side, Glade Riders trying to overwhelm the Dark Riders with a little bit of infantry support, and both the archer units are more or less online here. So we do have both of those Deepwood Scouts as well as ye old Way Watchers. So yeah, all the Wood Elf big missiles are still functional, but we're running out of ammo. The Hawkeyes of Drakira have gotten only 1,000 value, so they haven't paid for themselves, and they're about to run out of ammo. Granted, they are going to get unsummoned, so Middle objective owned by the Druki. Very, very close fighting. Value is dead even, guys. It's right in the middle, and neither of them have healing. So this is like a truly accurate representation. But now it is time for Kane's Blessing. The entire Dark Elf army for a period of 1.5 minutes is going to be on steroids. If you haven't seen this, they get melee attack, they get armor-piercing missile damage, they get leadership, and they also get vigor replenishment. So basically, Kane is like, hey, we need you guys to just like get even angrier here and do a little bit of evil shit, which they'll be great at. So now these Corsair infantry are going to be dominating. You can see they get a nice little stat increase from the Murderous Prowess, and the middle objective looking pretty good for the Druki as Hadri's immediately starts to pull a value lead. He goes up 400 value. Dark Riders coming around the side, trying to stop the Unsummon. Are they going to get it? No, the Unsummon does go down. Would have been a nice one. And the back objective actually being threatened by Hadri's as well. I think the Dark Elves might be able to start to get some momentum now as the power of Kane and the Burning Head going down on the Dryads. Oh, it went through all three of them. Applied the burnt debuff, is really doing good work. Dryka, though, will be a good fighter on the middle. Currently, the value lead is looking to be about 700 or 800, so Hadri's is pulling ahead for sure. Dark Riders get on top of the Way Watchers. Brutal compromise. They're not going to get unsummoned, and now they're going to get farmed. And the Wood Elves are looking to be on the back foot a little bit. Hadri's swarming his Corsair infantry. The magic targeting has been very, very good. The Wood Elves have been often pushed back in this game, and now ammunition is going to start running out. We do see the Deepwood Scouts looking a little bit dry here, as the Wild Hunters of Kurnus are the call-out, which I like that. They're a little overpriced, but they do have anti-large and wreck Dark Riders really badly in combat, so that's not the worst choice in the world. On the side point, Hadri's looks like he's going to be pushing for a triple cap. He does have a couple units up here who are tattered, but still can make a play on that objective if he's paying attention. As a matter of fact, he could just go grab that real quick, and that would be a brutal play for the Wood Elves. That would really, really put them behind on points, and that could be really, really tough to come back from. Lots of unsummons, ammunition running out, Glade Guard Starfire Shafts called in. Hadri's paying very close attention, though. He is swarming all over the field with his mobile cavalry and just all over these missile pieces. He really needs to focus on getting this top objective right now if he can. Middle objective could flip. Dryads and Dryka fighting very well there. Call-ins are going to be Dread Spears and Coldwind Knights. Coldwind Knights will do well against Glade Riders as well as the Wild Hunters of Kurnus. Bolt Thrower a little bit vulnerable, but it is ripping some nice anti-large shots into the Wild Hunters of Kurnus. If you've been paying attention here, it has been picking off models, and it's about 700 value, which is more or less what you're asking for here. Not bad at all. High ground objective is going to be going to the Wood. So the Wood Elves do get that, not Wood Elves, excuse me, the Dark Elves do get that one, and that's going to be a huge pain. Like, the Wood Elves are calling it Archers, but the Archers aren't going to get it back quick enough. Hadri's not only has a value lead, but also does have his opponent triple capped here. And like I said, when Hadri's is playing well, man, even if people maybe consider this a harder matchup for Druki, I don't know. I feel like in land battle maybe it is, but in Dom it seems a little bit more even for sure. Deepwood Scouts going to be chased down by Dark Riders. That's a really rough compromise here. A couple Spears, Winterheart Guard come out. They'll be able to reclaim this objective eventually, but the Dark Elves do have a lot of mobile presence on the battlefield. And Dryka is basically just going to be tar pitted in Spears and probably won't do a whole lot more this game. I would imagine the Winds of Magic is running a little bit lower for Dryka. I haven't seen any Pit of Shades, or there's probably going to be a Melkots right there. Yeah, so casting one of the cheaper spells, which makes sense. Coldwind Knights trying to get an engagement versus Wild Hunters of Kurnus, and that's going to be a really good fight for the Coldwind Knights. They have armor. Wild Hunters of Kurnus do lack AP. And granted, they'll still trade okay into them, but the Wild Hunters are probably going to be finished off here. Although there are some Spears nearby and Eternal Guard, and both sides do have a little bit of support. Melkots did do good damage. So currently, Hadri's is approaching 1,000 points. Probably looks like he is going to be able to win on points alone, even if the Wood Elves do find a way. He just has so much more on the battlefield. He's all over the place. We do see the Blade Guard with Starfire Shafts back here, trying to move up and get this Objective 1 back. The Winterheart Guards might find a way to get Objective 1 back, but, Hadri's, what he's going to do is he's going to Benny Hill his opponent. He's going to run in circles like this and just maintain capture weight for as long as he can to really, really be disruptive. Deepwood Scout's kind of an interesting choice. I'm trying to think. With the prevalence of all the shields, maybe a more melee-focused rush build for Wood Elves. I don't know, like Bladesingers or something. I don't really know. I'm terrible at Wood Elves, so, Orion is clearly the answer. Yeah, we need Orion. Blackheart Corsairs chewing through the Eternal Guard. Wood Elves still being pressed into their backfield by just really, really fervent and aggressive Dark Elf troopers. The Murderous Prowess is gone, so the power spike that the Dark Elves got has been diminished. Coldwind Knights up in the high ground, screening out these Glade Riders, making sure they can't get back to that Bolt Thrower, and the Bolt Thrower is ripping some pretty good cost-effective shots. Dark Riders hustling up. And wait a second. Oh, Murderous Prowess is active on those guys? Maybe it's because if they're in reserve, they get it for when they come out. That's really interesting. I never noticed that, but no, kind of a curious thing to see there. I'll have to do a little bit of testing on that. Coldwind Knight's going to be cruising for a bruising downhill as the Dread Spears and the Blackheart Corsairs move up. And the handbows holding the point. Hadri's eclipsing 1,100 points here. He does have a double cap. This is clearly a triple cap situation, and I don't see too many chances. See, these ones have Murderous Prowess also. Interesting. So when a unit's summoned, they get a use of it. All right. So each unit will get like a one use of that. Yeah. So now they have no uses. So if a unit had been in reserve, it has one like in the bank. And then when it comes in, it gets to use its one use of Murderous Prowess, which is actually really, really strong. I did not know that it worked that way for the Dark Elves, but yeah, I'll do a little bit of testing and check that out. I will check it out indeed. So far, Wood Elves trying to push back up, you know, trying to fight, but they're not going to make much ground. The Dark Elves do have superior quality infantry. The Blackheart Corsairs will just crush these Eternal Guard in these different units, right? Dryads will take some sweet time to get through the Dreadspheres, who have, you know, good melee defense in the 40s. And the Dark Riders are just doing such an excellent job on the battlefield. Excellent, excellent job indeed. A couple Glade Riders trying to fight over here versus the Dark Riders. Now they're Burning Head going down right there. Dryka just kind of sitting in the middle. She's just like a angry tree waving her little tree arms all over the place and trying to get that point back, but I don't think that's going to work. Both are probably eclipsing 1,000 value, about 900, which is very, very cost effective. And yeah, Wood Elves are basically in tatters. The last of their units are just kind of getting roasted down. We have a couple skirmish cavalry around, but nothing that Hadri's cannot match. And now we get some Dark Rider repeater crossbows, which I like that he has one. Because if the Wood Elves had come in with, let's say, like a weird Tree Man build or some sort of a big threat like that, and you didn't bring armor-piercing missiles, you could actually have a relatively bad time fighting on the points. But it's always good to have like at least one or two of these in reserve. I would say two, but yep, Dark Elves up in value massively. It's going to be a 12,000 to 8,600. Dryads are going to be called in, but they're basically just going to run into a stiff wall. Up on the high ground, we do see Hadri's making a play for this objective again. The Coldwood Knights in tandem with the Blackheart Corsairs do fend off the Deepwood Scouts, and there are going to be some Dark Riders coming in. Yeah, Hadri's had even more in his opponent's backfield. Wow. So, excuse me. Need some water. I'm too weak. He's just going to get this point here. GG, well played. Yeah, that was a really, really great game. Solid match. Some people in chat, Reginald Puggington, one of our great players here, giving some feedback about Wood Elves maybe doing more Glade Guard Starfire shafts. I agree. They're very good against Corsairs. They have armor piercing and excellent range. So probably would have been a little bit stronger, like old school Prey of Anath Rema with a you know Glade Guard stack. Yeah, that could be really fun. Dark Elves do ninja the back point, and I wouldn't be surprised if Nerexa taps out. That was a great match, though. Hadri's going to be claiming the dub in tonight's tournament, bringing victory to the Cult of Excess and the Dark Elves. GG, well played. Congrats to Hadri's, man. Solid win. That's his third win of the season. And he hasn't even been playing that much. He's been taking a bit of a break, so just a testament to how solid he is. And I have to say, big shout out to Nerexa. That was solid Wood Elf play, really fun. Some of that last game, the Wood Elf versus Chaos game, was masterful. That was just a masterful game by Nerexa. So shout out to our Wood Elf player here too. Great game today. Awesome stuff. So GG, well played. Hopefully you guys enjoyed that one. I'm going to go hang out with my smoking hot wife. If you enjoyed the stream, do drop a like on the way out. It helps out quite a bit. Thank you to all of you guys who donated and to our new channel members. It really helps keep me going. So thank you guys so much for becoming channel members. And yeah, that's going to be it. GG, well played for Kane all day indeed. Putting on a clinic with those Dark Elves. All right, guys. See you next time. Take care of yourselves. That's going to be it for tonight. And Sigmar bless this ravaged body.